Welcome to episode number 73 of the Kimbra Podcast.
Woo! Where we don't share our chocolate with the homeless.
Rude. Wow.
That's your...
But what do you share with the homeless?
Right.
Everything else.
Oh, okay.
Just not the chocolate.
You're a very
Right.
generous man.
Yeah,
I take
yeah.
it all back.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You know, they could.
I was wrong.
I'm just a big fan of chocolate.
Right.
No reason to
Alright.
share.
There's a good lesson here in reading too much into what someone says.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
And jumping to conclusions.
Right.
Yeah.
We assumed he won't give one certain thing to the homeless.
Right.
He won't give anything to the homeless.
Right.
Right.
But it's
Obviously
really just
wrong.
that one
And I
thing.
really, I clumped you guys in there because I.
Oh,
I
you give us to the homeless.
no.
Is that what
I
you
thought you
will.
meant you lumped us in with everything else.
Right.
no. They think
He
you
clumped
guys
us
don't
in.
think-
Oh, he clumped us
Yeah,
in.
yeah. Not
Starring
lump.
Eddie Murphy. Sorry, my bad.
Right.
My bad. There's a big difference between lumping and clumping.
Yes.
As we
Yeah.
know.
You need to be careful with that.
We all know that.
Well, you guys don't give chocolate to the homeless either because I said that. How I introduced it, I said we.
I don't know that I
Man.
ever have.
I see how you lumped us in.
Yeah.
That was not cool, man.
Right.
You know, that's what it is.
I have not. I feel like the base needs like all the other food groups come before chocolate
Right.
when
Yeah.
you need food. So
Right.
They might need some sugar though. What if they're like a weird diabetic and they need?
a weird
They-
A
diabetic?
weird diabetic?
What is the opposite of a diabetic? Is there
Not a weird diabetic.
Yeah, that's not...
It's
Is
not
there-
the opposite of everything. Man, this mountain's really high. This valley is really weird high. I don't think that's how it works, dude.
This valley's a weird mountain. Yeah, that's a variation on the same thing. It's
Whatever.
not the
Weird
I
is
like that
different.
though. I would
do
like to
too.
see like a
weird.
very weird episode of Sesame Street where they're like this and this ball is black and this one is weird black.
It's just a white ball. Yeah. All right.
That cat is weird black.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Which by that I mean it's a white cat going
It's
by.
a white cat.
Yeah, you're weird black cat.
We talk about that cat maybe on every episode.
every episode.
I suddenly felt like part of a tradition
noticed
because I've heard you guys talk about
That's
the cat.
amazing.
Because he'll either meow, he'll walk
Mhm.
around us, he'll do
What's
things.
the cat's name again?
Oscar.
Oscar. Okay,
Oscar.
cool. Sesame Street. Got
Right.
it.
I was just gonna say.
Yep.
Look at that.
Synergy.
I don't know.
Coming
Oh,
full square.
Making
wearing 2 rings
connections.
today.
Oh,
Normally,
you
I
can get
do,
the clink.
I do this a lot. To
Mhm.
like,
Is that a sign that you're evil?
what I'm doing is no, it's
Yeah.
not this.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
For
Oh, that's true.
For the audio listeners,
yeah, for the audio
it's
listeners,
not tips of fingers touching.
it's a clasping.
clasping of hands.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Much
And
more
typically,
positive.
right. I do this to signify a merging.
What is
or,
each
And
ring
synergy.
mean?
And there's no the clink usually.
Right.
So
Now,
why
there's
do
a
you have
cl-
2 on now as opposed to 1? Is one fashion?
Good
Do you
question.
get married again?
No.
Do you put on the other hand?
Not remarried,
No.
bonus marriage.
Yeah.
Because it's on the other
It's
hand.
weird married.
Meaning not another marriage.
Right, exactly. This one my friend Hudson got me in Russia.
Ah, good old
Oh.
Hudson.
And
So you
sometimes
got
I wear
married
it.
in
It's nice.
Russia.
No.
Oh.
I've never been.
Oi.
To Hudson?
There's a cat.
Oh, I see.
I've been
You-
to Hudson.
Wait,
What's the
been
question?
to I'm talking
been-
about the person Hudson.
Yes.
Not Weird Hudson, which
Not
is
Weird
the opposite
Hudson.
of a human.
The opposite
yeah, is
of
a
him.
place. I'm really stretching opposites here.
Yeah.
It's
that's
not
okay.
That's probably going to happen throughout the episode.
fair enough.
It's just
I
a
wanted
forecast.
to. Yeah.
It's a podcast, Brett. Good try though.
Oh my gosh, I'm so angry.
Keep screwing this up every time.
It's going to be hard to get
Forecast is
It's not a forecast.
through. Is it?
sometimes.
What did I say?
You said a
Which
forecast.
it's a podcast, not a forecast.
Right.
Okay.
You said that was a forecast.
I don't even know if that's what I meant to say.
I have stupid questions.
We didn't even introduce our guest.
Oh yeah, true.
Oh,
Very
that's a good
rude.
call.
Very rude.
I also
He just
also
felt so natural.
oh, that's nice.
I agree.
When I was when I was on the outside, like I'm coming. When I was the weird inside.
Weird path.
When I was on the weird inside of this building, I love it.
I'm starting to really like it.
I think it's gonna be a thing, at least for the next like however long this podcast
Yeah,
is.
for sure.
But when I was coming in, I was thinking to myself like, I don't know anymore. I was thinking something about podcasts.
Yeah.
Things being natural and being part of, because I was thinking like, I was literally thinking about when I'll be introduced. Because some podcasts
Yeah.
I've listened to, they have a guest and they instantly go, this is our guest. And
Yeah.
some podcasts, they go like 20 minutes and are like,
Right.
oh yeah, we have another person here.
It's like,
Yeah.
You guys did pretty good, but I was like, I was like, oh yeah, no one knows who I am right now.
Yeah,
I didn't get to bask in the anonymity. But
I feel like
right.
That I mean, for a little bit, but I feel like I still haven't gotten very good at introducing when people are on the podcast.
I mean, we seem to pull it out pretty well.
The first one Rachel was on, I failed miserably.
Yeah.
I hated that. And then
again, it's just assumed. It's like, this is someone very close to me, so I don't need to introduce them.
Right, everyone knows who she is.
Yeah,
even if they can't see her, so they don't know.
Yeah, and it just always feels weird.
Well,
but at least people see me, on the video podcast,
right.
They did a facial recognition match, and they know.
Yeah,
but I guess
into the database.
It's simple, right? So our guest is our friend Andrew.
Hey guys,
Andrew's here.
It's me, Andrew.
Then I feel like there should be more.
Describe
and there is more.
Is there?
There is.
You mean like there's more about me?
What's your title? Your self-proclaimed title.
Oh, genius. Obviously.
Nice.
Genius.
If we can self-proclaim that, I am a genius.
Absolutely. Absolutely you can.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm a PC genius. Just to be really...
Right,
I'm a weird Mac
You're
genius.
A weird Mac genius.
Yeah. You're on I like it. You were on that.
Yeah. I like that.
It's good. But anyway, I don't know, title, musician, music teacher, nerd. So that's why I love this podcast.
Yeah.
It's a person who likes to talk about stuff I'm excited about. Fan. My other title is fan of TKU.
This guy over here.
I love it.
Good. I'm glad. Not creeped out by it.
No.
How many times will I have to say I'm a fan to creep you out?
I don't think it could.
Oh, watch out for the next hour.
I'll
just be like, I'm a fan. I'm your biggest fan. I'm such a fan.
I'm your number one fan.
We listen back later and it's just sprinkled in, but we didn't notice it in person.
I'm like talking and I'm just like, oh my gosh, yeah. No, I'll literally be like dropping it into conversation. Like, oh my gosh, I'm such a big fan of Thor Ragnarok. Like the Marvel series in general, big fan. Remember that scene where his hair was blowing like there was a big fan behind his hair? Or like when his hammer spun around like a big fan?
Oh, that
Guys,
happened.
by the way, I'm a big fan of the podcast. I'm just gonna really.
Is that a fan over there?
Yeah. Is it a big fan?
You have no fans in here.
I don't.
It's a good temp though.
Does it get stuffy?
It's a good temp, so it doesn't feel.
Is.
I don't know.
If those doors are open, it gets really cold. But we only have one door and 3 bodies, so it makes it warm.
Right now.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about
in general.
Yeah, and I was just confused about who we were.
This is the exception.
Right.
We are the exception. We make it warm.
Right.
Keeping it warm.
Keeping
with Brett, Tim, and Andrew. That's our podcast.
Yep.
Sorry, audio
Whoa.
listeners. We all just did finger guns.
Yeah.
How often do you guys do finger guns?
Here's the deal.
Tell me.
Story time.
Hit you?
No. Now you did.
Oh, sorry.
Weird. You were like, did I hit you? Grab my leg.
Yeah,
It's
right.
like, no. It's fine if you hit me.
cloth.
Just don't grab my leg.
I apologize.
No, I was just kidding. So anyway.
Awkward for the guest.
No, it's fine. It wouldn't be. Whoa. We're spreading the weirdness around.
Yeah.
All right. So
my hands were just
that was weird comfortable.
AKA uncomfortable. I like it.
Ayo.
That was almost like too redundant because you said weird.
Yeah.
And that was weird.
Weird.
Yeah. Anyway,
Finger guns.
The finger guns.
Yeah.
So the relationship I have with finger guns is I love them. I do use them a lot. For a while, at my job, I teach music, and I used to. Whenever I would have a student, I just got into this habit of walking down to like where people were sitting and then going like, "Hey," snapping my fingers and pointing finger guns and being like, "All right, ready to go? Time to teach you a lesson."
I know that move.
I don't say that. Time to teach you a lesson. You gonna learn, boy. Like, what did
I'm gonna learn you.
I'm gonna learn you a thing or two. Time to get schooled. Like I walk down and go like, "Hey, how's it going?"
Yeah.
Or like, "Ready for your lesson?" Yeah. Ready?
Bone saw is ready.
All right, brother. I'm gonna teach you a thing or two.
Be a great first impression.
Yeah, would I come down? How's it going, brother? You ready to get in the ring? Like, rip my shirt off, just like tear it apart,
and then just break character. All right, let's go learn some music. Let's go.
Let's teach some guitar. So I used to snap my fingers when I did that. My boss likes to nickname people. He calls, and sometimes they're like awesome nicknames, and sometimes they're weird. One of the best ones is he calls the drum teacher that teaches at North Main Music, which is where I work. I just threw it out there.
Ew.
Thankfully, I'm not going to say anything bad about it because it's positive.
Yeah.
But he calls the drum teacher who works there, Patrick, he calls him GTA because he has like the look of a character from GTA. He has like always wears shades indoors.
Really?
And it's I always thought it was just because he was way too cool, and then I thought it was maybe because like he was smoking up and hiding it. Like I was like trying to theorize, why would you wear sunglasses indoors all the time?
Right.
And then we're at a Christmas party, and he tells me, "Oh, like I'm really sensitive to light. Like my eyes are overly sensitive to light, so I wear shades." I just thought he was one of those effortlessly cool guys.
Right.
And he is. His personality is. Anyway, he's called GTA. My boss started calling me Snaps. And so I still have that name.
That's not bad.
It became such a name that I literally have a T-shirt with a caricature of me. And my boss did this extravagant, like, crazy, like, prank/gift one Christmas at the Christmas party, and I walked into the Christmas party and everybody had T-shirts that had my caricatured face and said Snaps on.
Are you serious?
Yeah, with like I still have it, and I have like the sketch art of it too. But it was like it says in quotes, "without further ado," because that's what I would say at every student concert when I hosted them.
Yeah.
And it's got me like snapping, like it's great.
That's
so
amazing.
That's
so cool.
my relationship with finger guns is, as soon as I started being called Snaps, I became self-conscious of doing that and stopped for like a year.
Oh, no.
Because I was so like, every time I'd walk, I'd be like, "Hey," and my boss would just be like, "Hey, Snaps," and like I'd be like, "Ah, crap!" Like I felt awkward about it.
Yeah.
And then I stopped, and literally like, it's funny that I'm on the podcast now because like 2 weeks ago I started feeling confident in the snapping again, and I started doing
Snaps
it.
is back.
And I started being like, "Hey," you know, like it's just so funny. So now I love finger guns again, but I had a literally like an arc with them. Like I loved them.
Right.
I became aware that I did it all the time.
Yeah.
And felt weird and didn't
That's
feel
so
natural anymore. And it felt forced, and now I do them again because I'm feeling it. So.
Return of Snaps.
Return of Snaps.
I like that.
What it is, what it does, what it does,
Yeah,
what it
it
doesn't.
is.
Yeah,
What it
whatever.
do. Return. Yeah, whatever.
Return to the snap. So, finger guns. I
Tim?
think we just made finger guns. That was where that whole thing came from. Yeah.
I just want to keep doing them now.
Yeah, it's fun. That's why I do it, man.
I'm saying.
I also did it because I'm saying.
Yeah, I apologize.
Watch yourself,
You're the guest,
counselor.
you say.
So no, I do the snapping. Also, I used to like walk. There's more than one reason why I was called Snaps, because I also used to walk down the hallway and snap because I'm not very good at whistling. So
Really?
and I wanted to, like, I had like, you know, you like whistle while you work because you're like kind of like just passing
True.
the time, bored. You don't want to like
That's
just
real.
constantly talk.
Yeah.
You know, so I would, but I wasn't a great whistler. I can like, but I can't like, this is the best I've ever done right there. That was like
He's
3 notes
killing
in the
it.
same key. Like, what? Guys, I can whistle. This is a miracle podcast. I can whistle now. Wait. No, never mind. Okay.
No, I was gonna- No, can't.
No, I can't.
Whoops.
Oh, crap. Well, you just witnessed history.
We have it recorded.
Yeah, that's
So-
That's amazing. But that's why I started snapping as well, because I couldn't
Okay.
whistle, so I just started like doing it as a habit,
Yeah.
and then, you know,
More of a
escalated
percussion.
from there. Less of a finger guns thing.
Right.
And then it added to that.
Gotcha.
Now I literally walk in and like shoot my boss with finger guns.
Yeah.
Like we have quick draws every day. It's pretty fun.
That sounds incredible.
It's fun. We walk in. It's like it's the only place I've worked where it's at all like iconic at all. Like every other job has been the most boring, like
Yeah.
stupid day to day, and this one, like I walk in and I'm like, bam, gotcha. And I feel like I'm in a lame like pilot of a TV show where a guy walks in and is like, whoo, and the guy's like, oh. You know.
You
It's
got
just
me.
so funny. But it's fun. Yeah, it's fun. So finger guns are great.
Okay. I'm glad.
Good question, man. That's not a stupid question. That's
No.
a good one.
Thank
That's
you.
a good one.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tim's the one responsible for stupid questions.
I'm excited about them. I am gonna ask to like try one because
Absolutely.
I'm such a big
Absolutely.
fan that I literally have a bucket list of things I want to do.
That's fine. We will help.
Does this make you guys
succeed.
feel special that you have like
Yes.
podcast lore or like podcast
Yes.
traditions?
That's what I'm so happy about, that you remember them.
I
you
know
Guys,
the fact
oh, are
that
you
everybody-
kidding? Well, you're at number like what, 73? Is that what
Yes.
it
Yeah.
73,
is? So you're pretty close to 100.
we
like,
are pretty close.
like you're
That's
you're,
weird.
you're
That is
breaking off
weird.
another chunk. You're at 25, 50, almost 75.
Yeah.
So like 3/4.
Whoa, that's weird.
Pretty cool.
It's weird.
But so I've been listening for the viewers / listeners. I've been listening since episode 1.
Yeah, you
I
have.
haven't listened to every single one. There were a
okay.
couple where I literally felt guilty because I'd listened to almost everyone. I'm a completionist. But then I
Oh, me
I
too,
was
yeah.
like, it was literally just spoilers. And now you guys have like wonderful like at this time,
Yes.
like you have it in the description, right?
Yeah.
But at the time it wasn't there, and I was
Yeah.
like, I can't. I tried once, and I've just gotten burned with podcasts where you go like, I'm gonna like listen, and I'm gonna like when I hear spoilers start coming, I'm gonna turn it off.
Oh yeah.
Or fast forward. Never works.
No.
They always go, and then this guy died, and it's out of nowhere. They're like in that movie where, and then you're like, and you miss it.
You can't.
So I've not listened, and I've thought about going back, but I haven't listened because at the time I hadn't watched or heard that thing, and it was like the focus of the podcast. Like The Flash, I've skipped a couple with The Flash because I watched all the way through season 1, part of 2, and then haven't finished season 2 to watch season 3 yet.
Yeah.
I've been watching all the other like a bunch of the Marvel shows. Yeah. Like right now I've like beginning of Defenders, and now Punisher came out. So
I know there's so
Flash
much.
is still on my list, but I have skipped some of those just because I'm like, you guys talk a lot of Flash, which I get because there's a lot of Flash to talk about.
Great. That's our bad. I think we've gotten better at it.
We've definitely noticed or have slowed down on the whole Arrowverse conversation because
I mean, it's cool. Like, it's obviously something you want to talk about, but that's just me personally. I listen. I watch sometimes, but mainly I just listen to all podcasts. Like that's
way quicker.
Yeah,
it's easier.
And that too. Yeah,
audio's better.
I love the video format.
I wish because of how you talk up the video, I'm always like, why don't I watch the video more? It's literally because of when I'm listening to it is always in the car.
Yeah, and you can't watch it. It makes sense.
But the Sonic music.
No.
I'm really mad. Can I vent one thing as a fan?
Absolutely.
Brett, you gotta put the Sonic music in.
Every time I hear it,
you gotta learn to put it in.
I want it in there.
Yeah, but you don't. Not enough. You don't want it enough, Brett.
I know. I gotta get it from you. Whatever. But
Tim, you're at fault too.
Really?
No one here is blameless.
Andrew's just coming on in school.
I'm sorry. I wasn't going to do this. It's because I feel comfortable now.
It's kind of awesome.
I was going to only say the positive things.
It's kind of like when
it's my only gripe.
If I got to go on any podcast that I listen to regularly, I'm like, listen, guys, here are all the things that I think you need to fix because
I feel bad. Like I came in with like positives, and I was about to talk about more positives, and I was like, and by the way, you guys need to.
I agree. Sonic music
I know
needs to be
tried it once. I think we did it for a few weeks and then just never did it again.
It's another thing to add in. I get that to add to a routine.
But it's not that bad. It's because we're on a different we're on a different editing schedule. I think that's the main.
That makes sense. Yeah. So you don't deal with it at the same time. So yeah.
But we're gonna get there, and I appreciate you holding us accountable.
At least hashtag Sonic Music by 100. All right, that's the hashtag.
Yeah,
when you buy episode 100, gotta have Sonic music.
All right.
Sonic music by 100.
I'll go 75. I'll say on episode 75, I'll start putting in Sonic music.
That wouldn't make my life. Please do it.
Right, so you gotta get through.
That's the only. That's like the thing about the video podcast. I've literally thought just as an excuse to watch it. To go back and watch all of them just to get the Sonic music because I don't know when it's gonna come in at exact moments. So I'm like, I gotta just. I need like timestamps that say
a compilation
40. Oh, I'd also love that. But like adding that in would just be the best. Then it would like in my ranks of podcasts, you would like go up level.
Like music
you
every
could
week.
literally, and I think because I know there are other Sonic fans out there, I think you'll see a bump just in general.
If you just put Sonic music in the title of everyone.
This TKU versus Sonic music, and then other things every
wonder
week.
if we'll get in trouble eventually for using Sonic music.
Oh, sorry, shush. Never mind.
Every
Never
one
mind.
of our podcasts.
Never mind. Crap.
You can. There's the copyright policies. As long as in your description you say like, we don't own anything in this video.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So you're allowed to do it up to like 30 seconds.
So now I got to add that in every description.
I don't know.
I don't think for podcasts it's the same.
Okay.
I think you'll have to check.
But I almost want you to pick songs because there's a lot of songs I know. So I'm like, oh, this is.
All right, you want me to just do it?
I think so.
But I don't know what you've used already.
Well,
I can always listen to a couple of those or a lot of those more than once. So as a fan, I won't care.
All right.
And it's also so random that it's not like you're going to keep track. It pops up in such a random moment, and you don't know what's going to happen. So it's not. I don't think it's like.
I haven't doubled up on Sonic music yet, but it's getting difficult because there's a lot like. Because I don't know.
Really, you actually have done a different one every time.
Every single time, it's a whole new song. It's a some from cartoons, from the movies, from.
I'm impressed.
Anything.
Have you done the Sonic Underground theme song?
Yes.
Okay, because I was like, that's a deep cut, but nope.
I got
to known Tim.
That's a deep cut.
There's nothing off limits.
I like it.
I will do any Sonic song.
I gotta say, like the first.
You're gonna eventually throw in that really hyperactive Sonic Forces song. That's like, you can show the world what we can do. Like that like super hyper one.
Man,
it's like the new.
Oh,
Sonic
Brett,
Forces song.
Sorry, this might be a lot of cross talk
That's
about
right.
Sonic music.
We'll get there for sure, but yeah, I think it'll be good because as a person who's like not super into Sonic, it'll be interesting for you to listen to a song.
Me?
Well, I mean, you like it, but you're not like.
Nah, Brett, come on, fake fan. Just be honest. Sorry.
Well, because every week it'll either be Marble Zone. He'll just put that in every episode.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Oh.
I'm gonna go back and edit every podcast. of Marvel Zone and
Oh,
every
not even
single one
going
of them.
forward. Just
All of them.
retconning all of
Yep.
it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
What was the first one? I think the first one was from Sonic R.
Nice. Which one was it? Living in the city.
That's
I know all the
that's such a
songs,
good
man.
one.
That's
When
a
did
good
you
one.
do Eggman?
Oh, God, I don't remember.
Man.
We love that one. That's a good one.
I love all of them. I'll sing them all.
Yeah,
Oh,
seriously.
so
it
great.
is.
But to be fair, right now we haven't actually invoked Sonic music, right?
Right.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
We will.
Not doing it now, though.
All right. I won't.
We know what's on the bucket list.
It's up to Tim. I know. But so anyway,
We'll get there.
going back to positives about being a fan.
Yeah.
And my things, my bucket list. 2 of the big ones.
Okay.
One is to be able to ask a stupid question.
It's gonna
Of course,
happen. It's
absolutely.
gonna happen.
I also feel like it's a win-win because if it's a good question, it's like, oh, it's a good question. If it's
Entertaining,
stupid, then I
yeah.
did the thing. You
That's
know.
fair.
And then the other big one.
Mhm.
Well, can you guess, Tim? What's something that you get to do that I would want to do as
and
a fan?
Babel, for
Yeah,
sure.
and Babel. I
Absolutely,
100% want to
It's
join
good,
you
it's
on
good
that.
to go off with a person too. 'cause
Good,
then
good.
You babble. You just go for it.
All right,
excited
I'm
about
so
this.
psyched.
I'm so happy that I'm so happy you notice all these.
I'm
things
glad
that
I'm earning my
regularly
keep
happen.
as like a fan/guest host because
yeah.
that's what I
Yeah.
bring is like knowledge of the podcast.
That's so great.
Uh,
I'm so excited.
We'll have
Yeah.
you like on the sidecar, like if there's anything like from podcast 42. Do you remember Andrew?
Oh
what-
no! No, this is gonna turn into like Andrew pop quiz, and I'll be like, crap. Suddenly, my mind will go blank, and I'll know
Yeah.
nothing.
You'll just say
You'll
Sonic
be like,
music,
what's
that'll
my
be-
name, Andrew? I'll be like, Tom.
Franken beans.
I gotta go.
Freaking beans. This is
What
an
is
end
the cat
babble.
doing?
He got scared.
He's just running back and forth.
Oscar.
Yeah.
Remember the cat's name is Oscar. That's a trivia
That's
fact
true.
now.
Yeah.
Trivia for you at home. Remember,
Mhm.
cat's
Remember.
name is Oscar,
Oscar.
and it's a weird black cat.
Yeah.
It's weird black.
Weird black.
You got to emphasize it right, like you just did.
Weird
black.
It's
Not
weird black.
not a weird black cat.
Right. It's
Weird black.
It's a
Right.
weird black.
Oh man.
Weird black.
What color? Weird black.
Let's not make weird black the thing. Let's make
No,
just weird
yeah.
opposites.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's pick.
I don't
maybe
like that it's
other
being
things.
narrowed in.
Yeah, it's a little
Weird
too
black.
narrow. Moving
That's
on.
weird.
Yeah.
I gotta say, like early on when I started.
Sorry, never mind. Okay, I was gonna do more weird things. Go on. Go on.
Okay.
I will cap it.
When
We're
I-
gonna do normal things then.
Weird normal, which is weird.
Okay.
Right.
So there you go.
Oh, weird normal is just weird.
That's right.
I'm confused.
I live by that.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say when we first started the podcast and I did some editing, I used to listen to the podcast front to back and edit it like that, and then I would add clips in of things. Like my favorite thing is in the first episode we talk about how weird Evil Dead 2 is, and there's a really
Wait, weird evil? Good dead? Sorry, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
how strange Evil Dead 2 is, and there's a laughing scene, and I take a clip from the laughing scene and put it in. But like to do all that, I had to like find a way to like rip it or record it and then put it in, but it made for like a better
Yeah. Is it
listening.
tough for you? Like when you're talking about the whole, because you both edit
Yeah.
different versions of it.
Yeah.
I'm seeing now why it might be tough. This fan is like understanding the struggle because I was just like butthurt about it. Like, why is there no Sonic music? But I think it must be because you're both doing it separately, so it feels like
Yeah.
you're doing all that work again or making someone else do all that work
You're
all
kind
over
of-
a second time.
Yeah, like when he goes through
As
and-
opposed to if you just doing it, it's on your time, so you're like, I want to add this in.
Yeah, like when he goes through and adds a bunch of visual stuff, it's really
Right.
a different experience for each one. But like I've watched some of the videos and they make me laugh because like you'll pop up a video or like a meme or a clip of something.
Yeah.
and, like
That's what
dude.
I wanted to be two different experiences.
That's
So
cool.
like the people who come to the video
yeah.
podcast.
That
can-
is nice.
can enjoy certain aspects.
Look, Sonic music is the only one that I think should be cross-platform.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I
That's
don't.
gotta be there.
Otherwise, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's because I hear you yell Sonic
Right,
music, and
it's-
in my head, I imagine
You
like
hear
the
it.
What
clip
song did I
kicking
pick
in,
this time?
and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
And it's not
no,
there.
I'm not experiencing.
It's a
that in my
buzzkill.
car.
Sure, so many audio listeners like
They just
know
think you
the
have
magic.
Tourette's. They just think you're like,
once an episode I yell it. and
Yeah.
that's
yeah,
the end
Sonic
of it.
music.
There's like
Anyway.
no music or
I
anything
know.
do.
Yeah, it's just silent for a second, and then you're like, Brett's like, oh man, Sonic music. Like,
Yeah.
that's
Great.
my experience. So
Yeah.
in my head, it's always this great moment.
75 episode 75. I'll
Hashtag it. All
I'll
right.
start doing it.
Yay.
All right.
Sonic music at 75.
Shall we move into
Stupid questions.
Stupid questions. All right.
All right. Welcome to Stupid Questions.
Oh,
yeah, yeah,
boy.
yeah.
Oh
Where-
boy.
Who's going first? You going first?
Yes, I'll just throw out the question.
All right.
We'll let the guest ask. his
Thank you
question.
so much for letting me be a part of Stupid
Oh,
Questions.
absolutely.
It's
Anytime.
on the bucket list.
You know,
Anytime.
I don't want to be the only
Cross it
person
off.
to bring the stupid questions to light. You know.
Yeah.
I like it when other people do it because
My back hurts. Thanks.
Oh, not the appropriate response, Tim. Not the appropriate response. I know you guys are like related, but that's rude.
But that's
rude. Not cool, man.
From the thousands of years we've known each other, it only makes sense.
You still haven't learned that when someone when Brett has a back issue, you don't slap it back.
Slap it. Which part hurts?
At least disguise it as a massage, like whack whack. No, just slap. It's good.
All right, folks.
All right,
time?
stupid questions.
Okay.
All
Go
right.
ahead, Tim.
Okay.
So
Yep.
when a
I do.
princess
Mm-hmm.
kisses a frog,
Mm-hmm.
becomes a prince.
Yes.
Yep.
What does a prince kiss to get a princess?
Wow.
That's actually one of the best stupid questions you've
That's-
asked. I think you're on a roll lately with stupid questions. You keep asking like
Glorious.
somewhat profound.
That's what I
Right.
want to hit. Is those profound?
that.
Yeah.
These
That is
things.
You know,
good.
I listened back, and I'm pretty sure the one about blind people finding Braille was offensive.
way.
I'm sure because I listened to it as it came out. I was like,
That
wow.
That was amazing. I don't care what you guys.
oh, it
say.
was entertaining
I like that
to the
one.
max. It was
I don't
hilarious.
think they're offended.
And-
I think it's a normal question for people to know how to braille.
I think it's
how to-
perfectly.
Braille people.
I think it's
people find braille.
Yeah.
Braille people.
All right, my bad. We don't need to revisit it.
So
how
it's already going bad again.
I
We
know.
start calling them Braille people.
I know.
Oh,
Those eyeless freaks. I don't
try
know.
for you blind people, you know.
Sorry.
That's ignorant and offensive. Eyeless. They have eyes sometimes, mostly.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
Anyway,
yeah.
sorry guys.
So a princess.
Sorry you guys had to see that. Anyway, my bad. I'm digging the hole. Let's keep going. What does a prince have to kiss to get a princess?
Right.
Yes.
My instinct is immediate, and this is horrible because I don't know where it came from, is a termite. And I say instinct in the loosest sense because it literally, or no, in the best sense, because it literally was like just a guttural like instinct of like first thing I thought of termite. It has
wonder
no
why-
meaning.
Huh.
It has no meaning.
That's what I'm curious. Why
I
your
think it's
mind
because
went
I know
there.
where my mind went there because my mind first went to a rhyme and went dog, and I was like, that's dumb. That's just a rhyme. So I went, what's so different from a frog?
What's weird?
Termite.
Termite.
What's a weird frog? Yeah, that's a termite.
Weird frog.
The opposite of frog is
Yeah.
termite.
What's a weird rhyme? That's a weird rhyme.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I just realized another thing about saying weird something
What's that?
is you said it the first time it was perfect. Instead of saying a weird something, just say weird something.
Right.
Like
that is
that's weird frog
right.
is
Right.
That's what that
is
is.
a termite.
That's weird.
So
rhyme.
I don't think that's the right answer. I think
Right.
that's a bad answer.
That's just what your mind.
but
Termite.
that's where my mind went, and I had to say it.
You're right.
You know, stupid questions deserve stupid answers sometimes.
Of course. You
Yeah.
know, it's
It's part of the
whatever-
process.
Yeah.
I
Whatever
feel
your
like it's
brain
some kind
wants.
of bird.
Oh, because like
Yeah.
frogs are like clinging to the ground and like hopping, and they were like
Yeah.
slaves to gravity because they're like. They
Yeah.
just hop. I probably
Right.
that was a lot of plosives. Sorry.
Yeah.
You're gonna hear that back, and it's just gonna be like, like, that was probably worse. Whoops.
It may have
Oh, speaking of digging holes, but anyway, birds. Yeah,
been.
I
Maybe some
mean,
kind of bird.
I can see that because it just feels so opposite of a frog.
yeah.
And
trying to
as
think
we
of-
know, men are weird women. That's the facts, right?
They're weird women.
That's pretty quotable. I like that.
That's great.
I don't know if it's words to live by, but it's
Yeah, I don't know.
words to say apparently.
I'd put that on a shirt.
Yeah.
Men are weird
Out
women.
of context, it just says men are weird women.
That's the ultimate conversation starter shirt.
Yeah.
That sometimes you may not want that conversation to start at
Right.
all.
Yeah. You're like,
Depending
"My
on who
bad."
reads it.
Oh, yeah.
It's almost as bad as blind people are braille people.
Yeah.
Like,
That's.
Love 'em.
We be careful with our t-shirt.
yep, we gotta be
line.
careful with our t-shirt line.
What do you think?
Yeah, what do you think, asker of the stupid question?
I
Yeah.
think it has to be something elegant, like
Oh,
Oh my.
frogs, of course, being elegant.
right.
as
think
what's
frogs-
as elegant as a frog?
I'm thinking frogs are a reflection of what men are thought of.
Slimy,
Okay.
live in mud,
So
Right.
I feel
hop
like,
a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
that's-
get it.
yeah, we eat flies. You know, we just
Duh.
Right.
yeah, we're just
Who
we're
doesn't?
frogs.
Women don't eat flies.
No,
Weird.
Unfortunately, not.
Ugh.
That's weird.
They're-
What a life.
They like caterpillars, so
I
Maybe
got
it's
it.
a caterpillar.
no way.
Oh, okay, my
Because
bad.
you would like eat
Butterfly?
Dangerously,
When you
like
went
this is
to-
dangerously close to end babble.
Yes, I know.
Just like-
Seriously, we're not there yet, Tim.
I would say either a deer or
Oh.
or a rabbit.
I really like deer.
I
I
like
like
deer.
rabbit too, though.
Mhm.
Rabbit because it's more like a frog. It hops and it's so different from a frog,
Mhm.
but it hops
Oh.
and it's something that if you kissed, it would be kind of cute. you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I say we go rabbit. I like deer,
yeah.
but I think rabbit fits the mythology better. Like it feels like a fantasy thing.
And it has to be something that is like easy to catch like a frog. It can't be like a butterfly.
Have you ever caught a rabbit?
I was gonna say what?
That's
Frogs
the
and
criteria.
rabbits. Like, have you played a Mario game? Like, those are like the most
rabbits are
frustrating
tough.
parts
Yeah.
of Mario games is chasing a freaking rabbit
Oh.
in a tight circle, like
Yep.
for 10 minutes.
Oh, Mario Odyssey loves to do that.
Oh, haven't played it yet, but I can't wait.
Tim's about to
My
go
brother
off
loves it.
on it.
It's
We'll get there,
amazing,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, I think a rabbit, and that's why we never hear about it in stories because nobody can catch a rabbit.
I will.
Ah.
I'll back
like it.
that
Mm-hmm.
because even though rabbits are difficult to catch,
Mm-hmm.
but so can a lady be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right?
Whoa.
Ew.
Just like men can be slimy.
That's right.
It's
Right.
good.
Ew.
It's all working.
Sonic.
Good question. Oh, not yet. Not yet. Dude, we're gonna be on the edge of that all episode too. Like we're gonna be. I just like my finger guns. I became self-conscious. Now we're like Sonic. Wait, is it time to do
Is it
that yet?
guys?
Is it too soon?
Guys.
Too soon.
No.
Hashtag too soon.
Hashtag too soon.
Hashtag
The
Sonic
time
music
will
at
come.
75.
The time will come.
Yeah.
Bunny. All in favor?
I
Okay. Good.
love the
Okay.
idea.
There
That-
we go. We solved that
Woo!
conundrum.
I mean,
That was
that's
a good one.
Is that the first stupid question we've just answered?
I think so. I mean, well,
Wow.
every time I'm always like definitive answer because we like never come to.
You
a
do. That's right.
conclusion.
That's right.
This time it was
Yeah.
easy,
It was.
concise.
Concise. Okay.
Huh.
Andrew, I think it's your turn, my
Yeah,
friend.
you got your.
All right,
fun
this is pretty
question.
stupid. Oh, it's not fun. It's stupid.
All right.
All right.
Here we go. I'm ready.
Mhm.
So, obviously, a fanny pack
Of course.
is a container.
Mhm.
Oh.
It does not hold what it says it holds at
Right.
all, regardless of whether you're from England or America. It
Yep.
does not hold that thing.
Sure.
However,
Mm.
that being a given that a
Mhm.
fanny pack is a thing that holds small things other than a fanny,
Right.
then then what would a rat pack hold?
Oh.
A rat pack.
You like my level of stupid because a rat pack's not a pack. I mean, it's a pack of dudes. But what? But no, it's not.
But-
I just answered my question. Crap, I'm too good at this. All right. No, if a rat, here, let me say it in a more stupid way, and I hope it'll work.
Okay.
If
here
a
we go.
rat pack was a real pack, like a fanny pack, what
Right.
would a rat pack pack? Say that 10 times
Right.
fast.
Rat pack.
A rat pack.
I would think it would be like almost like a sack, like
A rat pack sack?
Yeah, rat pack sack.
A rat sack.
Yo, this is my rat pack sack rap. Okay, no.
Rat sack.
Yeah, I think it would be like almost like it would be a dirty, destroyed bag. Like it would have holes in it and stuff. But
I can see that.
you hold it over your shoulder and you just hold like
Like a continental
gross
soldier.
things in it, like
Gross things?
like garbage or
I feel like it's a thrown together travel pack of some
oh,
sort.
rat pack, so
Oh,
it's
rat
like
pack.
Like a rat pack.
I feel like I get where you're going, but at the same time, I feel like the connotation's too negative for that. I think I know what it
Okay.
might be.
What is it?
Because a pack rat is a hoarder.
Right?
I think a rat pack is what they bring when they go to hoarders, and they're like, put everything you're going to keep in this one bag. And then they're like,
Okay.
I can't do it. And they go insane. Well, they are insane.
Right.
But it's because, sorry, braille people and hoarders.
Is that
But anyway, no, but like not, and you're not even the same. I'm so,
Yeah, you just threw them all
this is
together.
horrible.
There.
That's
Just
it.
threw them all
I
together.
just clumped them together.
You
Crap.
clumped
you
them in.
braille
I
rats.
clumped them in. You braille rats.
Braille rats would be a sick
Braille rats.
band
That's
name.
dope. All
Can we
right.
start a band called
You can
Braille
use
Rats?
it. If you don't, I am.
3 blind
Braille
rats.
rats.
I don't know.
Braille
Three.
rats too. All right. So,
Braille
yeah, I
raps.
think
back to the sewers.
the
That's my movie I'm making. Braille rats too.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna make the first one.
No.
That's up to you, my
But
friend.
you've already called the second one.
Yeah. So I think it's like it's because it's the opposite of a pack rat. You don't want to hoard anymore, so you put it in your rat pack, which is like, I'm done with this pack rat hoarder life. I'm putting only the things that I need in this, and the bag is like a fanny pack size. It's so small.
Whoa.
Because this is a reality. This is hard reality. It's
Right.
like you have an addiction, you have a problem, you got to stop
Making
piling your
changes.
house full of stuff. You have to fill like this tiny little bag with everything you
so
need.
a rat pack.
Rat pack.
Yeah,
It's
that's
a-
what
it's a-
that's mine.
a rat
If we have
pack-
other ideas, I'm open to them.
It's a turning point. That's what a rat pack
Wow.
is.
It is.
It's a rat pack in the road. It's
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
a fork where you just like
Right.
I am either gonna put things in this rat pack, or I'm gonna keep living this life.
You're gonna keep living the pack rat life.
Yeah,
It's
am I
either-
gonna be a pack rat or a rat pack?
That's it.
That might be it.
I think
Those are
that I feel good about
Those are
it.
options. I feel great.
I did like yours, Brett.
Yours is
though.
good. I started to shut it down. It was good.
No, it's
It was
clear
elegant, simple.
You had no interest in it, and that's fine. That's fine.
So, yeah,
I can't deny that, but I still feel bad. Not gonna pretend that I was not into it. I was not into it. Sorry.
That's cool.
Anyway.
That's cool.
Yeah, but I appreciate you answering it at the same time.
Yeah, thanks for letting me participate.
in Tim's thing that is part of your podcast. I really,
No,
I
you killed it.
Yeah, thanks, man.
That's a great.
Do you have a stupid question, Brett?
I
Do
typically
you
don't.
abstain? You tend to abstain. I noticed.
Yeah, I don't think I have. I've had a couple.
You're good at the answers. I will give you that.
Sometimes
You
they're
like
hard
to
'cause
talk it
Tim
out.
will just set me up
just
for
slap 'em
failure.
down.
Oh no.
Some are just unanswerable. I wish we
Yeah.
could talk. Like the opposite of running. What do you think the opposite of running is?
Oh,
Weird running.
weird.
Could I not have come on at a better time to answer that question?
Weird running.
Shoot.
That is the answer, my friend.
Didn't we answer that one?
Definitive. Weird running.
It's weird running for sure.
I mean,
Sorry.
yeah, but no, we didn't really. We asked the audience actually to see what they thought.
Okay, I want to keep up T-shirt now that says weird running, and it's like a
I
guy
love it.
running forward, but all the speed lines
But
are
are going
in front of him.
backwards?
Yeah.
Please make that. All right.
do
I'll
have-
literally pitch in money for it.
For our intro, we
Or
do
I
have
guess
that
my
stick
Patreon
figure
money.
guy.
I'll
right.
I'll get
So-
back on Patreon and I'll use it. It can only be used for that
That's
T-shirt
fair.
or any
We
T-shirt. I
should
can
do
just be
that.
part of the T-shirt fund.
That
Yeah.
would be great.
Yeah,
I know we have to rework the.
I'm more
Patreon.
financially
Yes, we do.
stable now. I should get back on Patreon.
Hey,
yeah,
man,
I'm a real
no
fan.
pressure. You're contributing to the production of the podcast.
Right now I am, so I feel
You're
good.
in
I
it.
feel like
Yeah.
I'm
on
definitely
it.
pulling my weight right now.
You're doing a great job.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
You didn't
Yeah,
do so good
nice.
in that segment, but no, just kidding.
Sorry, you're a little weak this time around.
You didn't
Brett,
give a
but,
question or a satisfactory answer that we picked, but you know.
you know.
Okay.
Wait, was your answer the one
no
we picked
Sonic
for the other
music.
thing?
No.
Rabbit? Oh,
Bunny,
that was Tim.
him. That was Tim. I don't even
Just-
know what I'm doing here.
You added a lot to the conversation, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I made
A lot
some
of
noises.
crap.
You're the fluff.
It's just you're the fluff in this peanut butter and fluff sandwich.
Oh, delicious.
That's a positive thing. There you go.
What's your favorite peanut butter companion within a sandwich?
Ooh,
Cheese.
actually, honey.
Is that a stupid question? It wasn't that stupid.
No.
It's a food
It's
question.
a genuine
Did
question.
you say honey?
honey?
Honey.
So good. Have
Dope.
you
Try it,
No.
man.
I will.
spoonful of peanut butter? Just drizzle it with honey. I'm just saying.
And
If you
Dude,
don't have time
make
for
a
the bread.
fatter day out of it.
Oh.
Make like hardcore, like
It's happening.
covered
Peanut
in
butter.
everything, and like with Reese's cups.
Yep.
I
It
mean,
just
you do.
came to
You're the
me.
master, but
It's-
like
It just came to me.
Well, 'cause when I thought of it,
I always picture him having a dream, like a vision, like seeing a mound of food, and he's like,
Waking up.
I
out of
must
dead
sculpt
sleep.
this out of a pantry.
I
like,
draw it beforehand.
I
I'm
already
like,
see the food. I already see the fatter day. It's already there. I just have to sculpt it out.
I picture you sitting
Raw
up out of your
materials.
bed, like you're dreaming, but then you see it and you just go.
I
Oh.
do see that. That is
So
what it is.
what are you gonna
What do
make?
you see
What do you see?
Oh.
Tell us what you
for
see.
the fatter day?
It's
Let us know
so
the vision.
It's gonna be a tall, like maybe 4 or 5.
Oh, right.
decker
Many layers.
sandwich.
It's gonna
Yeah.
have all the things that
But
you'd put with
each
the peanut butter
sandwich
jelly
will
sandwich.
be different
Ah.
things. It'll be jelly. It'll be
Oh,
fluff,
all
it'll
the
be-
peanut butter and things. You could do that.
Yes, and be
It's-
a big tall.
It's a
tower,
peanut
but-
butter and like jelly and fluff and
And
honey
honey
and
and
cheese.
Honey
and-
over the top of it,
Oh, like
Just-
Drizzle
honey
it, yeah.
glaze,
or
powdered
syrup.
Sugar on
But one of the
top.
Make
layers.
it with French toast.
Oh man.
Shoot, that's gonna be some prep. Oh, but Thanksgiving is this Saturday.
Oh.
Or
No,
it's Thursday,
Thanksgiving.
but
Yeah.
so I'll do it after.
Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving to Tim is just a
Oh
fatter
no!
day. It's-
Thanksgiving fatter
Oh,
day.
no.
That's
Okay.
too big for one Instagram post.
That
Thanksgiving
gives
fatter
you a
day.
week to
Day.
plan.
Right, because
Yeah.
all I need is bread and
That's it.
eggs.
Yeah. Dude, a French toast peanut butter mountain.
That's awesome.
That's
like
killer.
that's
That would
really
be good.
good.
Peanut butter
And
jelly.
I do recommend, but only because we both love the peanut butter and honey. I
Yeah.
think you should have at least one layer that is peanut butter and honey,
And
as
honey,
well as
for sure.
drizzling.
Yeah,
It's so good, dude.
Mhm.
But that's a really good one, actually.
I'm excited.
I'm
Yeah,
glad
about
we got to be a
that.
part of that.
Yeah.
I didn't. That's another like. I didn't even think that could be a bucket list thing because like this is not part of the podcast, but it is now.
Now
It
it
is.
is.
Good old
Awesome.
Glorious.
Good old
Nice.
Saturday.
You guys will get a special mention. For,
Oh,
for
man.
helping with the
I
idea.
kinda wanna
Gonna
be
get
here for it.
You
tagged.
can. You know, it's every Saturday.
Trying to eat some of that.
I would have to schedule a cheat day for that.
Samesies.
Oh
Samesies.
man, that's
like-
the yours are like. Your stuff, people talk about food porn, but you're literally like my like visual, like I can't eat this much right now, but I'm gonna vicariously
But
eat
just
it.
watch
Like I'm gonna watch. I'm not even gonna
That's
watch you
good.
eat. I'm just gonna watch the food pile up
Just
and be
look
like,
at it.
I wish I could do this.
Just the pile. Yeah.
It's like too much even for a cheat day for me. It's
Oh
like
my god,
lot.
it's so. It takes.
I-
me days to eat it
I
all.
have-
It's-
yeah.
oh,
Well, I
magic's a little
try-
bit ruined because I mean, I also am happy for your health now because
Yeah.
I thought you
I
literally
try real
every day
hard.
were like, whoosh, and I was
try,
like,
I
Tim's
try,
gonna die.
but there's no
Like-
way.
It's more about the creation.
Yeah.
Of
And
it.
that's I have
That's-
mad respect that you embrace how like decadent it is. And I feel like I can't even commit to that. I could, but I'm not.
Your
Don't get me
eyes-
wrong. My eyes lit up.
You're like,
I had this
You
realization,
saw it all at
but I
once.
could.
I could.
I
I have
just
the
like
freedom to.
I just saw the Matrix, man. That was like the food, the Saturday Matrix.
And it was
That-
delicious.
and it was delicious.
Mhm.
All
I can
right,
see food now.
that needs to happen.
I can see
Yeah,
flavors.
I'm already
Wow.
sold on it.
Wow.
picture it.
I feel like you're like in Ratatouille in the beginning scene where like he's talking about. You guys have seen Ratatouille?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Have
right.
You seen Ratatouille?
Yeah,
Of course, I was hoping, but you know.
Jeez, that was a
I mean-
close one.
Yeah. But
Weird.
It's been a while.
But anyway, so Ratatouille, the scene where he's describing foods,
And there's that fat.
And
guy
there's
who's
that-
like, the fat mouse,
and he's like, "Do you detect an oaky nuttiness?" But like before that, like he's like describing it, and they have like colors show up on the screen, like,
Oh,
like
yeah.
swirls of blue, and then two things come together, and shapes and stuff.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought that was always a great description, like depiction of taste.
Mhm.
And I was like, that's what I picture you and you have like synesthesia, but for food, for flavor,
I just
and
I
you see it all.
At
The
least when it comes
architecture of it.
to fatty foods, I can get that pretty.
Maybe we should do a
Mm.
challenge.
What, a fatter day challenge?
That challenge.
Ooh.
What?
What?
The-
Seeing foods. I
The
can't do
mountain-
that with
the
my
mountain,
brain.
The
Oh,
thing
yeah.
that you're gonna make the.
Oh,
That's
the peanut
actually
butter
something I
monster?
could get on
French
board with
toast.
because it's decadent, but it's not like some of them. I'm like, I feel like I would collapse just eating it. Like, and that's why I'm glad to hear you don't.
Well, there's a few.
And
that
I
I'm
do.
like,
It
oh.
was like I do collapse.
There was one I did. It was the dessert one. It was a huge s'more.
that was one of the ones that freaked me out, but it
that
was
one-
awesome. That was like epic
that's-
mealtime.
Yeah,
like,
it was. That one came out really.
When did you do that?
Oh,
a while ago.
yeah, 2 months ago maybe.
I'm gonna find it.
Yeah, you'll find
Mm.
it. You'll find it pretty quick.
Do
But
it.
yeah, it was a giant s'more. But on
'Kay.
top it had ice cream sandwiches because we just had a whole extra box of them from the ice cream truck.
Mm-hmm.
Why? How did I miss that?
Well,
what is
I don't know.
this one?
That one was from a long time ago.
Well,
That was just a bunch of-
Flashback Saturdays.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nice.
There's your Cookie Mountain.
Yeah, the Cookie Mountain was fun.
Was it pre-Cookie Mountain?
Yes.
Cookie
Oh,
Mountain
this.
sounds like something in like Dora the Explorer.
Yeah, it does.
So
Holy
yeah, if you
Christmas.
swipe.
It's
So yeah,
like-
it was giant. I used
Yo.
chocolate
Whoa.
chocolate chip Pop Tarts.
Chocolate chop tarts.
Yep.
That's so
So
hardcore,
that was
man.
all
See
the
what I mean? Like that
Crunch
makes me go
bars.
like it's on another level. Like I've eaten some massively decadent things. And it's
Mhm.
not like I think the amount of times that you do it is
Mhm.
what like it's not like I couldn't like pig out on something like that.
But because
it's weekly, I go, what?
Yeah,
Like,
there are some.
how do you? The creativity is what I have so much respect for.
Well, I appreciate it. There are some fatter days that I'm like, I have no idea what to do. Let's see what I got in the fridge, and I just slap a few things together. I'm like, yeah, this looks.
And then
good.
other days you have like a theme.
Yeah,
and it's like
like I-
art.
yeah,
it's
I-
literally art, man. It's
Yeah, there's definitely a
high
few
art.
I've made artsy fartsy. So
Mhm.
I'm glad you enjoy it. That's the idea. I just want
do.
people to see it. Like, there's a few people who told me they like to see. They look forward to it on Saturday.
Oh
so-
yeah, I will say I'm not a fan of it like this where I like follow it, but I because it just pops up on my
Right,
Instagram
it's
a lot.
just-
I'm like, oh, it's Saturday. Yes, you know.
Here we go.
But I'm sure I've missed a bunch of them just because I didn't see them in the feed. You
Yeah.
know?
Brett's like just looking at him for the
I know.
first time.
I'm so
That
hungry.
was one of the most artistic ones
That
where
was-
I went, I want to eat that
That one
right
was
now.
at work. That was just like one of the best salads I ever made at work. So I just thought I'd share.
Where do you
that
work
one.
again?
Pasquale's.
Dude, that looks so legit. Like
It's-
I was like, and that one I was like, this guy makes food art. Like this is so.
He
There are some
knows.
other ones that were like crazy, like fatty and like amazing that were very artsy, but that one was just like, whoa.
Oh, that's why I was like, oh, this is too good. I got to take a
Mhm,
picture, you know. And
Yep.
the people were hungry, and I was like, sorry, I got to take a picture. Oh,
Yeah.
Now
Lord.
that I'm starving,
Yeah.
can we go into TV?
That makes
Sure.
sense.
I don't know. we're gonna.
We're still in stupid questions, so even the
Sorry.
segues are kind of
We were just
stupid.
talking about food and stupid questions. All right, to television.
Television.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, sorry. Television. All right.
He had that pretty good.
I
think.
know.
I
Now you're
listen
gonna
to
do
the show a lot.
do all the transitions.
Television. All right. Television.
Television. What's wrong?
Brett, what are you looking at? All right. Who wants to go first?
I don't know. We all got stuff?
I got some television.
I got a little baby stuff.
Oh, do you guys want to do your baby stuff first? And I'll do my big boy television.
Brett baby stuff.
Which is ironically a kid's show, so it's not big boy television.
Oh, I'm excited. Mine could be super quick because I haven't finished it. I haven't gotten that far into it.
Ooh.
But for years I've heard tell of a show called, what's it called?
Don't say the one that I feel like you're gonna say the one I'm gonna bring.
I don't think so. Probably
okay,
not.
It's not a kid's show.
Attack on Titan.
Oh. No, that's definitely not for kids.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I was gonna say. I was
Okay.
like, it's like good stuff.
I think it is a kid's show.
Have you watched it?
No.
Okay. Attack on Titan.
I watched the pilot and I was
Okay.
in, but I haven't continued.
Yeah. So it's okay. So you'll at least be able to know what I'm talking about when I say it's so intense right off the bat. It's like no joke right away.
Yep.
And I have a lot of friends who are like super, super into it, and they vary as far as like their interests and stuff. Like some of them aren't even huge into anime, but they've seen Attack on Titan, and they're like, dude, you have to watch it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they're right. I have to watch it. I watched 4 episodes so far.
Okay, cool.
It's super intense, and they're building a story, like a narrative that I didn't really expect. I don't know what I expected. It's just like there's a lot more character.
Nice.
I don't want to say more character development. There are. It's a much bigger cast of characters than I expected. Because I expected the focus to all be on the Titans. Like I said, I'm only 4 episodes in, but the first episode is like, hey, here's the gravity of the situation. It's insane. Everyone's probably going to die. It's not a spoiler. You're thrown right into madness.
Having seen the pilot, I know that
It's
that's
like, that's all
in your face.
Yep.
And then the next 3 episodes, they spend a lot of time with individual characters, and they immediately build the cast like huge.
That's the
cool.
huge thing about that show is those characters, because they spend so much time getting you to love them, to know them.
And
to
then
have that Walking Dead Game of Thrones effect.
I don't
But you
like
don't know
that.
who it is. You don't
it's
know
like it's not even
I
a
can't
spoiler because I can just that show. It's like people are gonna
feels like-
die.
Yeah.
Do you feel it from just that episode? And my brother Isaiah, who he loves manga and anime, and he's the one who's constantly telling me, have you watched Attack on Titan yet? Like sit for like years, like, since it came out, and I'm always like,
I know it's been out so long at this point.
Yeah.
It's actually encouraging to me that you got into it and you're 4 episodes in, because I'm like, I could start this at any time. You know what I mean? Like,
Totally can. Yeah.
there's so many shows, but you know,
Yep.
you got to
Best
watch it.
thing
at some
about
point.
it is it's 30 minutes. That's always the huge thing. For
They're
Oh,
like
I forgot
24
that.
They're like 24
Yeah,
minutes.
Oh
runtime.
crap! Like
So it
that makes it way
so-
more easy for me.
so
Like
much
maybe
easier.
after I finish rewatching The Office, I'll watch that
There
because
you go.
tonally it's pretty similar, right?
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
same.
Okay.
It's the same.
All right.
pretty
It's
close.
like season 9 of The Office. It's
Yeah.
pretty dire, you
Right.
know. Things are looking bleak.
Right. The Titans
Emotionally.
are pretty much like Michael Scott.
All right. Oh no.
No, wait a second.
I'm picturing that. That's a hilarious mashup right now.
It really is.
Like they're crashing over the, but they're saying
But it's just
Michael Scott thing is just like, that's what she said.
I mean,
And the person's like, it's huge, you know, like,
Right.
and he's just like everything they say.
everything.
Ah! Okay, I'm not gonna go into it, but I could. But
Yeah,
anyway,
you could. But
The Office.
I will say what's extra. What is it?
Michael Scott.
Oh, yeah.
I suddenly want to quote The Office. Sorry.
Well, that's
This show,
makes sense.
this podcast, this also show makes me.
Yeah.
This video podcast makes me want to nerd out. So
Of course.
that's the
about
thing.
random
Yes.
things though, like
Right.
not even what we're talking about.
There's
Yeah,
I'm
nothing
trying to
that-
focus slightly.
Nothing
That's
that we are
why
offended by.
you've
Nerd-wise.
listened.
I
You know,
have,
like,
haven't I?
Hey, want to talk about this? Sure. And then we're over here.
That's true.
What?
Huh?
I'm a big fan.
Oh,
I got you.
Yeah, okay, good.
Took me a second. Did you whisper it earlier?
I did.
I thought I heard it.
Flipping them in like a little bit.
awesome.
But
I'm gonna enjoy listening back to it for that.
Yeah,
like,
now
I think
I'm
I only
freaking
did it
out
one or
because I
twice.
feel
no,
like
you did
I
it like
heard
2 times. We both had that like moment that where you're like, it's the corner of your eye, but with your
Yeah.
ears, you're like, wait, did I just? Oh, he just whispered something random. Whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or then
That's
someone else
exactly what it
starts
was.
talking, and you go, oh, what? Oh, okay, and you
Yeah.
start talking about
Right.
that.
That's exactly what
Oh.
that was.
Well
Good.
done. I didn't believe you'd be
Yeah.
able to sneak it in because we talked about it so openly.
I know, and we just like
That's the thing, time is your best friend during this podcast because so much happens.
So
in
true.
That, in that hour, 2
Time
hours,
is your
whatever
best
it
friend.
is.
1 or 2. Yeah, by the way, one
Wow.
of my bucket list is to make this the longest episode to keep up ever because I love long episodes. But I was not going to mention it because I don't know how you guys feel about it.
I mean, we'll just see.
I
how
love it.
goes.
As a fan, I love it. So,
I'm glad.
but I'm just enjoying the ride and letting it go how it's gonna go.
That's good. You should be.
It's a big moment,
That's
man.
what I want for our guests.
All right. Attack on Titan.
Real quick before we move on
Oh,
from it,
never
because
mind.
that's mostly what I have.
'Cause it's new.
on it.
Yeah.
It's new. I don't want to get
For
too
you.
into it.
Yep.
I want people to watch it.
I do too.
So again, super intense
Mm.
and
Dub or sub?
dub.
Okay.
Nope. Sub.
I'm watching Sub,
Sub.
or
Sub.
watched one episode
Yes.
of Sub.
That's what I'm doing too.
I think it's better for that show to watch it with the subs. You know.
Yeah. I'm enjoying it that way. I just want to mention how creepy the Titans are.
Holy
Yeah.
crap.
Because their faces are just unsettling. Like,
Yeah.
Not the wait. Are they? They're all Titans. What are the ones that just look like big people?
Well, those are Titans.
Those are the Titans.
They're
right?
all Titans.
But there are like special Titans.
What's the really giant one called?
I believe the Colossal Titan.
Okay, that's the one with it's
Because
like
not a major spoiler, but there are other giant Titans.
right.
later
No, I
on,
know
yeah.
that. But they classify them as certain.
Yeah,
but
Types.
I can't remember the term, but they're just special. Like they're just like special
Right.
infected.
They
from
have like
Left 4
armored
Dead,
Titans
you know?
and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But
Got
the
it.
initial ones that you see that just look like giant naked creepy humans.
Yeah.
Their faces are so.
It's something. I think what it is, because when I watched it, that like disturbed me a lot.
Yeah.
The thing. Okay, I won't spoil it, but the thing, because you've seen the first episode and
Yeah.
you've watched it. Okay, so the whole thing. But like the pilot, the death that happens,
Yeah.
the super visceral death
Yep.
of the family member,
Yeah.
that like wrecked me when I watched it, and I was just like, wow, this show's actually really intense.
Yeah.
You feel the stakes. It actually
Right
turned
away.
me off from it a little bit
Yeah.
immediately, because I was
It's
like,
whew.
wow.
Yeah,
'cause
like,
they're
is this
not
going to happen every episode? I
they're
was
not
like,
afraid.
like it was so, and it's like, and in that death, I don't want to spoil it, but in that, they kind of like cut away too. It didn't diminish any of the
No,
the
like
power of it and the
Right.
like serious and intensity of it.
Yeah.
And the feeling of like, like it felt like I had seen it,
right.
even though it's like blood splatter.
Yeah.
You know, I was usually in movies where the blood splatters off screen, you're like,
Yeah, right.
but it
right.
like you feel gypped of the emotional like rawness of it. But that was like,
No, it's all
yeah.
there.
and I bet you, the more you love the characters, I bet the more it sucks for people
I'm
to
sure.
die.
I'm
Like,
sure. And
It's, the
Tim's
show
having
just
flashbacks right now.
yeah, it
Like,
just gets heavier from there. It's
yay!
Like,
That's something to look forward
I'm
to.
gonna watch it tonight.
there's
Why do we
honestly-
do that to ourselves?
There's never a point where it really like lets up, where you're like, oh my god, they have a chance. You know, something's going good.
No.
You abandon all hope when you watch this show.
Awesome.
Because it's so it's
done.
because you have the hope that something good is going to happen, you know? And there are
I
like,
don't. Watching the pilot, I was like,
Well,
nope.
that's how
Seems pretty brutal.
It feels, it feels so like you said, you feel the stakes right away.
Yeah.
And I think part of what makes that death and probably others in the future so unsettling is like the faces of the Titans,
The
how they're
glee.
like kind of smiling.
It's like,
and like
I think what I was gonna say about it that I think makes it so disturbing is that it doesn't look like a creepy mask where it's like
Right.
just a frozen mask going like, ha.
Right.
Like, there's the uncanny. You guys know about the uncanny valley, which is like it's the experience of, it's a scientific phenomenon of like why we think dolls are creepy. Watch Vsauce for it. There's a
interesting.
Vsauce video on
Okay.
YouTube that's describing it. It's really good.
cool.
Random plug for that.
No,
but
cool. What's it called again? Like that phenomenon?
The uncanny valley.
Okay.
Which it's the valley between a real human and something that's obviously not a human.
They talk about it a lot with The Last of Us. There's a huge like not like a debate, but people are just talking about how ridiculously photorealistic everybody looks, and a lot of times people have a hard time telling the difference.
It's
between
like
the
it's
environment
but
and
it's
real
like
life.
it's a thing that is so human-like that it gives you the feeling of you're with a human, and yet is so clearly not human that your brain has cognitive dissonance and it can't handle it,
Happens
and
in
that's why
VR
you get
too.
disturbed.
Oh.
That's why you get disturbed by certain things. That's why a creepy doll can be creepy, and if you've seen a million creepy dolls, if it has a face that just for a second looks like it could be alive, but your brain is also yelling at you, it's not. But the other part of your brain is like,
Oh.
it is. That's the uncanny valley where that disturbedness lives. It's
That is fascinating.
yeah, I'm very fascinated by that subject. So, anyway, I think that those guys, the Titans, tap into that because on one hand, they're very human-like, and on one hand, they look so cold and alien and dead,
Yeah.
and so like, but yet there's this part where you go, they have a brain, they have a life. They seem to be like, they're not like just like a zombie with a dead face.
Right.
They're reacting,
Right.
but in this cold, clinical, and then sometimes mirthful, emotional way.
Right.
You're like, what is going on? Like, you just, because on one hand, you're like, these are just monsters. And then you're like, these are giant people. I think that's why it's so disturbing, because your brain is like, who are these like horrible things, and why are they doing this, and why do they like it? Do they not? You're not clear on their motivations.
Yep.
Do they care? Do they not care?
Yeah.
And
what to them?
Freaky.
What to them is just like this quick act of like what seems to be something fun for them,
right?
And
And just like chomping on a little like a human,
right? And you're watching all of the emotions that happen like on the smaller level with like that was kind of freaking me out.
And I think that's why they seem
like,
so evil, because and yet you're like, but maybe they don't even realize it's just like, you know, a piece of candy,
right?
But then you're like, no, they know,
yeah,
they know,
I know, yeah.
Their face right after they're done, they're all like this, just like, and then they eat the person, and then they're like, you know,
they're
like
just,
frozen
like
in that face.
Smile. It's like,
and you're just like, oh, it's just so horrible.
It's so unsettling.
The show
and
definitely delves into that too. Like
really
cool. It goes all over the place.
I'm intrigued.
That's exciting.
I'm intrigued. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, say no more. I'm in.
Yep.
I want to keep watching at some point soon.
Yeah.
The half an hour thing really makes me go, oh, I could.
Season
do it.
1's on
It's
Netflix, so you can. That's
the hard part. Is the other seasons not somewhere easy to find?
I don't think so.
Season 2, I believe, is on Crunchyroll and maybe
I got
Hulu.
that. Okay. And Hulu, I got too. There's a chance that we could continue. I think my brother has seen it, so I think he either seen it on Crunchyroll or Hulu. So
Yeah.
Okay.
That's cool.
Have you seen the movies?
The live action ones? No.
Okay.
I've heard mixed things. I've heard, you know, it's okay, but
Like it won't live up to your expectations.
Yeah.
For sure.
I have a hard time imagining they'd be good, but
Same here. I think graphically, the studios that have done it haven't been able to make it to the point where like the Titans would be
right.
disturbing enough or
Yeah.
realistic enough
Yeah,
to not
yeah.
just be like comical.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So that's all I had in TV.
Yeah.
Cool.
I have a
Whoever
baby
Thanks for
thing.
sharing.
Mine's very quick.
Okay.
I just wanted to point out to all these lovely listeners and watchers, Hey Arnold Jungle movie is coming out
I heard about that.
November 24th.
Whoa.
Next week, or Friday, this Friday.
Oh.
I mean, this podcast will be out way after that, so it already happened. But
enough.
I'm just stupidly excited for that. I can't tell you, like.
So at this point, you will have seen it already, I imagine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
What'd you think?
It was amazing.
Oh wow! Like you thought.
That's good.
Cool,
I've
man.
been waiting, I think, 10 years, maybe even a little more for this.
Wow.
The
That's
finale
cool.
of
Yeah.
the whole series. So.
That's what I was recently hearing from someone who's a big fan of it, saying that because I watched it as a kid but didn't follow it. Same with Doug
Yeah.
and Hey Arnold.
Yeah.
I watched it when it was on, but didn't like get to the end of it at all. I just one of the many shows I watched here and there as a kid.
You never expect it to have a big story, anyways, because it's a kids cartoon.
I remember
show,
liking it a lot, and liking the characters, but not in the way that I'm now psyched for a movie.
Yeah.
But what
Right.
I heard from a friend who really liked it was, that like it kind of was a cliffhanger, and it's like been years and years. Like you said, 10 years or something.
Yeah, maybe
That's
even
nuts.
more.
Could
I
be
don't-
more at this point.
Yeah.
Like 2007, was it off by then?
I think even before that, maybe
So-
2006.
So like, long time.
Yeah. So
Man.
it's incredible that it's even happening. Like, it blows
Uh-huh.
my mind. I thought, like, maybe I'd read about it someday where they say what the true ending is, but I've just never been, like, so excited.
So your
for it.
favorite
Cool,
show?
dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Favorite cartoon, at least.
Yeah.
It's,
so awesome.
yeah, it's, so excited.
That's yeah.
Nice.
That's it. I just wanted to talk about how excited I was.
I'm glad. I am glad that you're excited.
That's so cool.
I never watched the whole series either, and I
Mhm.
feel like I want to experience the movie the way it should be.
What's
Yeah.
funny is I actually like part of me, because I didn't like follow it as a kid, but I enjoyed it. Part of me, when I heard about it, was like, oh, that's not for me. Like I'm not going to watch that. I
Yeah.
don't have the whole history of the thing, and I'm not going to go back. And then I was like thinking back to the show and being like, that was a really good kid show. Like the characters like stuck in my memory.
Yeah.
It's not just like bland. Like certain kid shows are like that, where the characters are interesting enough and consistent enough
Yeah.
that you can watch the whole show, and you can tell there are writers who actually cared about it, and not
Right.
just people who are like, all right, what do the kids want? To the credit of a lot of TV shows, a lot of kids TV shows are like that. I mean, you guys talk about Ninja Turtles and
Sure.
other kid shows. There are some that obviously it's like it's not for adults and there's no interest, but
Right.
there are a lot. Almost it feels like more than there should be, and it's awesome. You
Yeah.
know?
Right.
Like you're like,
years.
why are these actually well written? And I think you mentioned while talking about Ninja Turtles one time, one of the shows, it was like, they're a bunch of adults who are hired to write these things, and they want to be interested in what they're doing.
Yeah.
They don't want to phone it in, if they're really into. And with Ninja Turtles, it's like, okay, there's a fandom of people who grew up watching it and now are, well, this is another thing I didn't know was going to be part of my experience, and I love it.
Very rarely.
Oh, hey, Oscar.
Hey, Oscar. Continue.
Yeah.
Okay. But I just think that's the cool thing about really well written kid shows. Is like you're like it gives you the nostalgic feeling of childhood, but with the feeling that you have of a show that you like, a well written show that you like,
right.
of actually narrative interest. Like you really want to know how the story ends.
Yeah.
And you'll probably also get to recapture the feeling of watching it that long ago.
Yeah.
That's like win-win. That's cool. I see why you're excited about it now.
It's seriously, it's like the culmination of my childhood. Like it's finally finishing off. Once I see this movie, that's it. I'm an adult.
I had
officially.
Yeah, nice. You gotta let go now. Finally,
Yeah.
I didn't say any spoilers about Inside Out. Ugh. Nothing.
Okay.
No spoilers. That's like my worst nightmare as a fan of the Keep Up, to go on it and spoil a movie. No. Edit it out, please.
On one that we haven't put out yet,
No,
I have
bleep
to
it out.
edit because I slipped and spoiled something.
And I never spoil things. But I got all loosened up, guys, and you just like, we're all chatty and we're talking about nerd stuff. Forgot I was
Did
in
you
front
say
of a
spoiler?
camera.
I didn't hear it.
It was quick. We were talking over it. but
Yeah, you guys were, and I still, please edit it out. Bleep it.
believe.
It was a spoiler for Inside Out, like the one spoiler you could give for that film. The one thing that happens unexpectedly.
No.
Yeah.
You said that?
Nope, we bleeped it out. It never happened.
Yeah, you didn't say anything.
I said nothing of the sort. I am not a spoiler of things, and I retain that, even though I feel like I've let everyone down now, and myself mostly.
You're fired.
Yeah.
All right,
wow.
I don't
Just
even
kidding.
work here.
Well,
Just kidding. What's your TV stuff?
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. I almost okay.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna start with The Thing.
The Thing.
All right,
Oh,
so
what's that over there?
I really overly hyped this thing, but it's something that I'm gonna give the explanation.
Okay.
The reason why, Tim, I'm like, you could be excited about it, but then I was like, oh, don't get too excited. This is for Brett, but there's an element of it where I wasn't sure 100% that what I got. This is a Christmas gift I got you last year, right before we like kind of stopped hanging out. So like, last time I saw you, I think was the Pillar Christmas party, and I didn't get it. I hadn't gotten it that early,
yeah.
so I was gonna give you a Christmas gift, and then I was like,
thanks, man.
no problem. But then I was like, well, then I felt stupid because then I was like, I didn't see you for a long time, and I was like, got this thing hanging around that you don't even want it because it's not even a thing you're a fan of. So then I was like, should I sell it? And I was like, I'll wait till I see him again. And then I didn't see you for a while, and then I was like gonna see you again.
Yeah.
And then I would have like probably given it to you when we got together and skateboarded.
Yeah.
And I won't now because I'm about to. But then I was like, I'm gonna be on the podcast. And then I listened to the last podcast that came out where a gift was given to you, or it was 2 podcasts ago. I don't know. I feel like who was the fan?
Nate.
Nate.
Oh, Nate.
Like brought something. I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Reptar bars.
That's right. Yes. I was like, it was nerdy food. Okay, so the Reptar bars. So
Nerdy food.
yeah. So this is not like I was like, oh, this is my gift, but I'm like, now I feel bad because it's not for you.
Oh, I'm taking it.
I don't know if you're a fan of it or not. What I did was I got something that I knew from past podcasts that you were a fan of, but I didn't know what characters you liked, and I was like, is this a stupid character? Is this a great character? Is this an awesome deep cut? Or like
so
the obvious character
excited.
that everyone like, oh, that character, I hate that character.
I'm not gonna say that.
And if, well, not now.
I can't.
'Cause- all right, here we go, guys.
Okay.
What is it?
Man, I like how our guests give us presents.
I know.
I have this.
What is
I'm glad it's not a guilt gift because I already had it, but it was like, oh, good, now I have a gift. So it is
the
a
dog.
show that I know you've said that you liked
Okay.
and talked about, but I have this fear that you're going to be like, I've sworn that show off.
Build
That
up.
show jumped the shark, and now I hate this
I
character.
hate it so
And this
much.
character was at the forefront of it.
I don't
All
think
right.
I've ever sworn a show off.
All right.
What is it?
Pablo.
Oh, yes! Awesome!
Yes!
Dude, that's
Yes!
amazing.
I feel
so
so
sweet.
good.
The cat ran away in
Got
fear.
Sorry, Oscar.
Good old Pablo.
This is incredible.
Oh, good. Yay.
All right, so for
This
all
is a year of
listeners-
built-up stress of like, maybe this will suck.
No,
He's
this
gonna
is
hate it.
the greatest.
Oh, good.
For all the listeners, it's
Is he an entertaining side character like I thought maybe?
He is hilarious. Yes.
Yes. I could have looked it up for so long and was like,
no, this is better. This is better. So it's a pop vinyl figure of Pablo from Ash vs. Evil Dead.
That's so cool.
And
Yay.
I'm too stoked about it.
the best that ever could have gone.
So great. Thanks, man.
No problem, dude. Merry
I'm
Christmas
so
early.
Thanks.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Oh no, I
that's
have to
so
get
sweet.
the rest of them.
That is the biggest release of tension I've ever had.
The whole
I was like,
story
maybe I should
can hear.
return this. Like,
Oh,
I don't
it's
know
so
anything
great.
about this freaking show. Like,
Who's Pablo?
yeah.
Pablo's great.
Pablo could be a
But
one-off.
now I understand everything that you said.
Yeah.
But he
I was like,
is-
maybe he'll be over it, but now Tim's gotten into it, and it'll be for Tim. I'll re-gift it to Tim.
Pablo's
Yeah.
gonna join us.
Tim,
for
have
the
you
rest
ever
of the
seen
show.
Ash vs. Evil Dead?
I haven't. But
All
I've
right.
seen
You haven't
Evil
seen
Dead,
any of
so-
it?
No.
Well, this is officially for Brett, so.
Yes.
But I'm glad you get to be a part of
Dude.
the excitement that, oh, you want it.
That
You don't
is-
want it. You don't know who Pablo is. You're like me.
He's that guy.
Dude, Pablo.
I know he's that guy.
Okay,
He's that
what's
guy.
incredible about Pablo, and I talked about it when we talked about Ash vs. Evil Dead, is Evil Dead's like this iconic property, if you will, and introducing
heard.
new characters later seems like an impossibility, but they did it, and Pablo's one of those characters, and
Ah.
he's awesome. And
Yay.
this is
Glad you like it.
so excited.
Dope. All right. Literally the best it could have gone.
Yeah.
Like, I had the worst playing out, the in-between, and
So
the
great.
best.
I mean, he could have given you $1 million. That might have been the best.
That's never the best because no one does that.
Yeah,
Unless you're on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and you're like, what's the best thing that could happen? And it's
Yeah.
literally $1 million.
Right.
Yeah, that is.
that's the best thing that could happen on that.
Yeah.
that
But this was pretty great.
This
Yeah.
is great.
I'm glad it worked out this way.
Yes. Oh man.
All right. Is that a show I should watch? First, watch the movies?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
You were
It's-
thinking about it. You're like,
Well, because the show is great. What's weird to me about Evil
Mhm,
Dead is
mhm.
like, it's like it's strictly horror comedy. So like, if you
Yeah.
have a taste for that,
I do.
then
so
yeah.
it's weird.
Like, I love Cabin
It's-
in the Woods, one of my favorite movies.
Okay. Oh
And-
yeah. You like Cabin in the Woods? Absolutely, watch Evil Dead.
All right.
Watch and 100% watch Evil.
Is this one of those, like...
Watch
this
all
is-
3 of them,
All right.
and then
I'm psyched.
watch the show. You should.
Yeah.
You should have the backstory.
I'm gonna watch with my brother Isaiah because which you've met,
Yeah.
like, and you've
Yeah.
met at
Yeah.
the at the gaming tournaments. I know you guys
Oh,
do.
that was
So
so sweet.
yeah, eventually I'm gonna have one again. But anyway, so point being that he and I do our own podcast together. Plug Discussion Roulette. Yes.
Heyo.
All right.
Hey, we can talk about it now if you want. I didn't know if you wanted to.
I didn't even come on to plug it.
No,
but,
I know, but we can if you want.
Oh, and he's taking out Pablo. I like the chunky hair. That's pretty cool.
It's legit.
It's actually a pretty legit pop vinyl
They're
figure.
real.
Yeah, we can totally.
And he's
Damn it,
dead.
Tim.
I broke his face.
Is that a spoiler for the show? Whack.
God, I hope not. I'm not caught up.
Oh, okay.
I
wouldn't know.
we can talk about the podcast if you want. I didn't know if you wanted to yet because it's not up yet.
Yeah, I can bring it up maybe a little bit later on in the podcast, but I don't have to go on at length about it. I want to stick to TV for now. But yeah.
I'm not gonna even ask.
Is this from the cat or something?
I don't know what it is.
Oh no.
There's something gross on me. I'm gonna put it in this
shavings of that?
can of nuts.
No, it's not. Okay.
All right. Anyways,
So yeah, I mean, there's no other podcast segment, but I will do the music for it or the voiceover for it if you want, which I don't feel like comes on a lot, but I'll plug it at some point. But I want to talk about my TV show because I'm
yeah,
psyched.
TV shows.
So yay, glad you like it.
Watch Evil Dead.
Watch Evil Dead.
Okay.
Ash vs. Evil Dead as well
Yes,
afterward.
After.
And also,
I'll watch it with Isaiah because he loves horror comedy as well,
Yeah.
and we just watched. Well, he had watched Cabin in the Woods, and then I watched it, and we talked about it a lot. So we've been talking about finally watching the Evil Dead movies at some point.
Has he not seen them?
No,
As a creative, maybe Isaiah is very creative as well. I don't know Isaiah
not
very
as much
well.
as me, but yeah.
Okay, appreciate the evolution of the series.
Yeah.
Because it starts off as like a
He is-
horror and then
Yeah,
becomes.
he's not as much a creative, but I can guarantee he is someone who. Sorry, did I cut you off?
Nope.
I did.
Tim's messing with me. No.
what am I doing?
Oh, maybe you did. I don't know.
What? I'm a big fan.
Carry on.
Okay. Yeah. So he is someone who I guarantee you, like, he appreciates film and not in even the way of like a cinephile, like the opposite of like a cinephile, like really, really picky person. He
Yeah.
appreciates all film.
Cool.
Almost. You know, like he's watched a couple that he hated, but like most movies he loves.
Yeah.
And I think he and I are people who we like to give things the benefit of the doubt of like.
That sounds like our podcast.
That's why what I love about you guys' podcast is like you're not just going to talk about the things that are like trendy to talk about or trendy to like, which is I hate. But the worst.
You like the Spider-Man movies too, right? Like the original 3 or some of those?
No, I like the original.
So Sam Raimi.
Part of why I'm interested in watching Evil Dead.
His style's all over those Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
So to see like what he did in Evil Dead first,
I mean, that's cool.
You'll enjoy that.
What is Tim doing?
Don't worry about it.
All right. Okay.
All right, what's your TV show?
TV show. So I'm really curious. I kind of quickly glanced back through the podcast, the titles, just to go, has this been brought up? But I can't think of one where it's been brought up. So you guys might have seen it, but I want to know, and if you haven't, awesome. If you have, we can talk about it. If you haven't, I am psyched to introduce you to it. I'm sure you've heard of it. I like that I give a big preamble to everything I talk about on the show.
The anticipation is great.
All right, so Steven Universe. Have you guys watched it?
Yes.
No.
You have?
I have.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
I haven't watched it like consistently altogether, but I've seen a lot of episodes like sporadically.
Okay.
So there are some arcs that I see like episode 2 out of 4. So I'm like, what's going on here? But I still sit and watch it.
I gotcha. Yeah. So I've become recently a big fan of it.
Yeah.
The reason I became a big fan of it is I'd heard about it for a long time, and
Sure.
I've watched a lot of these shows that are like they're kid shows, but adults can appreciate them too. I have enjoyed, but I have a lot of them I have like watched a bunch of episodes of it, but not like finished it.
Yeah.
And been like, it's great, but didn't feel motivated enough to keep going.
Right.
Nothing against them. Like Adventure Time, I watched like most of it, didn't finish it. Someday want to. They're really quick and easy to digest, but I think part of them being so short and easy to digest made me not feel pressure to like keep watching. I just whatever, you know.
Right.
Same with Regular Show. I love Regular Show. Didn't watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
Steven Universe, I think, is going to be the first one of those types of shows where I watch the whole thing front to back. The way I get into it was I teach a lot of students who, and the cool thing about teaching students like music, one of the neat things that you maybe wouldn't expect is like, like obviously you hear music that you know you might not have heard before because people bring songs and they go like, oh, I love this song, and you end up liking it. That's a perk. But sometimes I get into other things just because of what people talk about, and sometimes it's because I like teach them a song from a particular show, and then they tell me about that show, and I hear the music. And in the case of Steven Universe, music,
really good music.
Is it time?
Yeah.
Son. Tim, you
Nope.
Nope. This is gonna be the biggest tease.
It is.
I'm gonna get to the end and not get to hear
It's gonna happen
freaking
during-
Sonic music, and I'm gonna be so mad.
It's gonna be during End Babel.
Don't spoil it.
During.
No,
Now
I'm
I
not.
feel like
Spoiler
it's not
alert.
gonna be.
No
It's
way.
usually during games, but who knows where it'll be.
We don't
Whoever
know.
wants to be.
We don't know.
You know.
I'm thirsty.
I am gonna bring up Sega spoiler at some point
Okay.
in video games. So
We are
That's
gonna
fine.
talk about Sonic anyways.
oh yeah. So it'll come up at that point. I think.
I'm sure we'll
That
find
seems like
time.
a safe bet that it will
Yeah.
come up at Sonic Talk.
Yeah.
It better. Okay, so anyway, this kid that I have, really cool kid named Xander. He's
Such a cool name.
yeah.
Xanderbar.
Makes me think of Buffy the Vampire Slayer because there's a Xander.
Oh,
in
yeah,
Buffy,
yeah.
Sure.
And
Makes me think of X Return of Xander Cage. Different spelling. That's X.
Yeah.
He's a Z. This guy's a Z.
X gonna give it
this
to
guy's
you.
is a Z.
Gonna give it to you.
On your own with I don't know all the words to that at all.
I don't.
And
Oh,
does anyone else always think of the X-Men because of Deadpool, and they have that
Yes.
song running when the
100%.
X-Men are
Yes.
walking?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm glad that this is a podcast where I can go on tangents about nerdy things.
Is that why they use that song?
I guess.
Because
So.
the X-Men, yeah.
I never put that. in. Or
I
even
didn't when I
Weapon
first
X.
watched it.
Oh yeah.
Even Weapon X.
Yeah. The whole X-Force, X-Factor, not X-Factor. The whole X part of it is why they do that. It's
Come on,
okay,
Brett.
Brett.
Oh gosh.
He's embarrassed.
I'm freaking out, guys.
I'm a big fan.
All right, I'm back.
All right.
Steven Universe.
Steven Universe. So this
Steven
guy, this kid
Universe.
Xander, super cool. This other kid, Rachel, had also been like they're both like around like 12 or 13, which
Yeah.
is like the age demographic to like supposedly watch it. You know,
To
like
kinda
like a lot of
watch
those
it.
kids
Yeah,
shows.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like the 12 and 13 year olds are like or 11, like 10 to 12. It's like that's where you're. I really want to know what's happening. Things being hit. Are you being whacked in the arm?
No.
No.
Clearly, I'm not part of the podcast yet. Like I'm an honored guest, and things are going well, but clearly I'm not part of it.
I'm gonna flip out. Just kidding.
No, you're not.
So
All
12
right.
or 13.
So, thank you. I'm really trying to
Something
get through
about-
this, but I keep being distracted by what's happening, and I want to know. All right, but I don't, because every time I mention it, you're like, oh.
Oh,
Is this
okay.
it?
Is this it? Is there more? All right. Is this it? Is this what's driving you nuts, Brett?
This one's poor
Just
Pablo. to
want
stand
Pablo to hang out with us.
Oh,
Oh, the
hold
camera
on.
died.
I know. I knew it was coming up in a second.
Sorry. I wanted to be a part of it.
Steven Universe.
Sorry.
Steven Universe. Here we go.
Steven Universe.
I'm gonna try to get through this preamble because I keep saying it. This kid Xander, he like told me about the show and was like, we were learning a song from the show, and I was like, this is really good music. And he's like, yeah, this whole.
Do you know which song you were?
What was the first one we did? Stronger Than You, which
I don't know
is
if I heard that
that's
one.
a good one. But then we also did another song, which it's actually a spoilery song, so I spoiled a couple things about the plot and there's a song, the next song he wants to learn. He's like, you gotta catch up to this point in the show,
So you don't get
or we
spoiled.
can't learn it because it's a massive spoiler. And I was like, crap. But the show, oh, you're pulling it up, nice. The show has awesome music.
Can't you see it in our eyes? We're the one, we're the 1, 2, 3, 4. We're not like the other guys. By the way, don't go back in time, or you'll destroy yourself. Steven and the crystal gems, we're gonna make you smile.
Really great characters, good writing. I think he kept telling me this thing of like, watch it from the beginning. The first like 12 episodes are okay.
Yeah,
They didn't really know what they were going to do with the show. And then the story got really deep, and he said it's really awesome at that point. And I was like, I believe you, because I know there are kid shows like that where you kind of go, oh, it's a kid show, and then you get sucked in, and you're like, this story's really good. So the writer is somebody, it's a woman who like created it / wrote it, and I'm blanking on her name right now. Ruby Cherry. Crystal Gems, that's the name of the characters. I feel like Rebecca Sugar. I got it.
That's her name?
I stopped you on IMDb. Well, you're still going.
He's still going.
I'm pretty sure it's Rebecca Sugar, though. You can fact check me on that. Yeah. Oh, you're just looking on the show. Or I think it's.
Wow, that's cool.
Did I get it? Rebecca
Yeah.
Sugar?
Her name's Rebecca.
Yeah.
Sugar.
So anyway, so she created this show, and there's a bunch of interesting things about her kind of creative mind behind it. But she worked on Adventure Time. That's her like one of her things. It's kind of the claim to fame, why they gave her this show. But it's like all out of this woman's heart, and like all out of her. It's one of them. Here's the thing about the show. Without spoiling anything, I'm gonna say that it has an incredible depiction of all kinds of love. The show is about love, basically, but in the pretense, and this is from episode 1, of these characters called the Crystal Gems, who are these almost demigod-like, like mythical, like came from space, have gems in different parts of their bodies. Like this one girl, Amethyst, has it on her chest. This other one has it in her head, and this other one has it. Wow, now I'm blanking.
Yeah, where does she...
Where does Garnet have?
Is it just... Well, there's...
Is it like on her fist or something? Her hand.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, they have, and then there's this kid, Steven, that they're raising, who's this like chubby little boy who has it on his belly button. He has a gem on his belly button. It's so great. But their gems give them these special powers that have all these unique characteristics, and there's these personality traits that come out of the gems. The story starts with just Steven. His dad is also like really interesting family dynamics in it. His dad like lives in a van and is like this like washed up musician, and like isn't apparently responsible enough to take care of him.
Okay.
But like loves him and is clearly like in some ways a great dad. It's really deep, like for a kid show.
That sounds pretty complicated.
It's a show that does not shy away from, like, in fact jumps into all these like really emotional situations, deep like character like drama, while being a super goofy, ridiculous show.
Yeah.
And it's a really good story. But like the cool thing about it is that she basically said like this show is a show to show people what love is through a show.
Yeah.
And so each character's relationships are carefully crafted and thought out to show different personality traits and how they can like relate to each other in like a positive way.
Yeah.
So it's like really deep and very relational, and almost like similarly to, I think, to how like Inside Out like had like real things to say about like psychology and understanding it in almost a therapeutic kind of way. I think from a like relational way, this show has a lot to say about human relationships, which is a really big thing, right, to tackle in a kid's show. And not in a, the thing is, it's like not in a, here's a lesson at the end of the show, or here's a really obvious message that we've heard a million times that every one of these kids shows says about these things. Let's go into complicated, broken relationships, how they can be restored, how they can like live on. I haven't gotten to the end of the show, but like his dad, they don't like his, and this is again episode 1, his mom's dead. All the crystal gems had a relationship with her in some way. He doesn't know much about her. His dad, he has a good relationship with him, but there's these moments where you see like the dad trying to be a dad, but then there's this elephant in the room where Steven can't stay with him. He can hang out with him because he's a great buddy, but there's these moments where you see Steven kind of like drift off and be like, I want a real dad. It's really emotional. Like I'm getting worked up thinking about it. So, and there's just so much good writing in it, but it's veiled behind this super goofy exterior where the jokes are sometimes just goofy, silly. Also, similar to Adventure Time, there are certain jokes or plot points that are like really disturbing for a kid's show, but make for really interesting television. Like as an adult, like they go places without being inappropriate for kids. Some kids shows are like they really walk the line in terms of this really isn't appropriate for kids. I feel like most of the time it's like this is adult, but it's not. Most of the time it's like not really like just innuendo and stuff like that. It's like a topic that's really deep for kids to handle, and adults will get it more, kind of like Pixar movies and stuff like that. Or it is a like thing that is like it's technically appropriate for kids, but as an adult who's seen more either like real horrible things in life or just in like movies and stuff, who's seen R-rated movies and stuff, you're like, that's like it's hidden behind this kid's exterior, but it's like really crazy, you know, and disturbing. And so it's like I love it for that reason. The music also is really awesome.
That's cool that that's such a big element.
It is. That's one of the things that made me interested in it at first, because I hear these songs, I'm like, some of them are like they're from a musical, some of them are like, you know, like rock songs, some of them are like an 80s song, some of them are pop, some of them are there, and there's like, it's like a musical, though. There's like duets here and there, there's like a techno song, there's all these genres. Rebecca Sugar is very musical as well. One of the things that I think is super interesting about it, as well as I'm talking about like her motivations behind it, is that from a like cultural standpoint, it's the first. I don't know if is it the first. It's definitely the first. Couple interesting things. It's definitely the first kids show. Like you've got like shows like Powerpuff Girls where like they are, and I never watched that, but you guys did, right?
Yeah, I love
like,
Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah, I thought so. So like there's like powerful women in that, and there have been shows with powerful women who are leads, but these are 3 women who they're not in a relationship, but they are caretakers, and they are the authority figures in Steven's life, and they are the like people that take care of him. That's cool. And as like leading women, and the reason it's interesting, because like I've heard you guys talk on the podcast a lot about like female roles in movies and how it's not just like, you know, oh, you know, we got a character who kicks butt who's a woman. It's like it's cool when movies have, or TV shows have, characters that are more complex. They don't just have the one acceptable badass female role.
Yeah, right.
And these 3 characters are all unique, 3-dimensional. They have different personalities. They're very flawed, and they relate to each other in really broken but funny and interesting ways. Yeah. So like, it's cool.
That sounds great.
And she's also another just interesting factoid, because it is just new for TV. However, whatever you think about it, it's new for TV and kind of controversial, although at this point, in 2017, not that controversial, but it's still a big thing in TV, is that like there's like open lesbian relationships in it, which is like in a kid show, like still like
you
not
don't see it.
inexistent,
very touchy,
very touchy.
Which
and so
should it be,
but like, you know what I mean? Like that's like in and of itself kind of like surprising, and that it's like Cartoon Network greenlit it, and that so like there's so many adult topics being brought up in a very mature and like when I watch the show, it absolutely never feels like I or kids are being beaten over the head
It's
with a
so
message,
natural.
an agenda,
Yeah.
or
So
even
natural.
like just a really positive thing, but it's being forced through the channel of the show. Yeah, it's totally natural. When it comes up, it's not this like side wink that's like, oh, we just mentioned this thing. They deal with it, but it comes organically out of the character relationships. It comes organically out of the plot.
That's cool.
It's cool. I'm just describing like that's a good show, and
Yeah.
that's why I love it, because it's like very much appropriate for kids show, very much something I would want kids of mine to watch, but very deep and very like I can watch this as an adult.
Yeah.
I watched like there are 2 or 3 episodes I've watched where I get like super emotional watching it because I was like, and there was no wall in that moment except for my thinking like, wow, this is a kid show. Like there was no wall of like, for a kid show, this is really
It's just
emotional
in general.
It's just like any
Yeah.
other show I would watch. And so I think for me, like, that's what was cool about it was like there are a couple episodes I would recommend because they're so palatable. They're like, 10 minutes long. I'd recommend giving it a shot.
Yeah.
When I watch it, I tend to binge like the length of an hour show.
Yeah.
Like I'll watch like 6 episodes or I'll watch like 2 hours, but like I don't feel like I'm watching a ton.
Right.
The seasons are long, but whatever. It's just they broke it up in weird ways. There's like 52 episodes in the first season.
Wow, that's
Because
crazy.
there's 2 episodes per like actual episode. you know?
Oh,
Like
I
on
see, I
TV.
see.
Yeah.
Right, on Hulu, which is where I watch them. You can watch them on YouTube, but be careful because I started watching on YouTube before I found out it's on Hulu.
Yeah.
Do you have Hulu?
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then never mind because I watched it on YouTube and the playlist that was like the main playlist that I searched for and popped up, they were out of order.
Oh, no.
Which sucked.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
came to this kid and was like, I watched it, Steven Universe, and like it was great. And he was like, what did you get to this episode? And I'm like, no. And he's like, this one? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, that's way later. Like, what? And I was like,
Uh-oh.
And he was like, oh no, please stop. Like, you got to go back and watch them in order. Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna ruin the show.
no, yeah.
So, for those out there who watch it on YouTube, either get a Hulu subscription, watch it on Hulu, or like watch it on YouTube, but be careful to make sure you're going episode 1, 2, 3,
Right,
4.
right.
It is
Uh,
on Cartoon Network too. Like
Yeah,
you can
and it's
watch it.
currently right. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
currently ongoing.
I don't
so.
think it's off the
still
air,
going.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still going. So, but I recommend catching them on Hulu. Really liked it. Am gonna keep watching it. It's a nice show because you can get really invested, but because it's very bingeable and very like without watching like 20 hours in a sitting. Like
right.
you can binge it and be like, I just watched 2 episodes of an adult show.
Yeah, right.
Like so you can quickly get a lot of plot at once. Like watch
Yeah.
a whole arc.
That's nice.
And that's
yeah.
really cool.
Makes it a little more accessible.
Yeah, but I'm a big fan, and the music is really good, and just generally, I think it's a very important show, which
Yeah.
is one of those things to say that sounds really pretentious, but it's important to me. I think
Yeah.
it's going to be important to a lot of people. It's a good thing. I would want my kids watching it
Yeah.
because it tackles things, again, not in a shove our opinion down your face way, but like this is a real thing, and here's how it really is in real life.
Right.
But in a way that a kid could digest and not just be like, I can't handle this in my brain.
Right.
In a way that, and it's through characters that they relate to.
Yeah.
So it's better than just if they like through like after school special type or like 90s TV things where they like a random character would enter who'd never been there and was
Yeah.
like would introduce this issue and then leave.
Right. Yeah.
That's one of the
exactly.
issues with that is like you leave and then there's no like real application.
Right.
It's like, well, goodbye, police officer, or
Yeah.
goodbye. I said weird brother, but that would be a sister. 'Cause it's goodbye, like bad influence, like uncle or
Right,
something.
yeah.
It's like they just
Yep.
leave, and
Yeah.
whereas this is like ongoing in the show, so
Yeah.
it's themes that really can be dealt with in a more layered, textured, like nuanced way, and not just in a. And now is this episode's teaching you about this, and we're done. you know?
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think that's pretty cool. I would recommend it highly.
That's
Yeah.
super sweet. Yeah, I definitely want to. You've seen some, you said?
Yeah, and it's been consistently impressive.
It's just
Yeah.
great.
yeah. I think I got like a little less than halfway through the first season.
Okay, cool. That's about where I am right now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And it's been really good. I've seen, like I said, I've seen a few episodes way later on where I'm like, oh my god, what's going on? Who are all these other people?
Right.
But from what I've seen, it is like you said, it's very adult, but for kids too.
Yeah.
I
Like,
have like a growing list of those cartoons that are within that realm
Yeah.
of like I've never really invested time in a regular show. Adventure Time, Rick and
Gumball,
Morty.
I've really enjoyed.
Gumball
Is that a spin-off
hilarious.
of regular show?
No.
Or Adventure Time? Oh,
She has
wait,
its
that's
own
that
thing.
awesome. I randomly watched a YouTube compilation of kids shows that break the fourth wall.
Yeah.
And there was like random Sonic Boom on there, which was
course,
like
yeah.
the only reason I'd watch Sonic Boom personally was to watch Breaking the Fourth Wall.
Yep.
But we'll talk about Sonic later.
Uh-huh.
But I'm saying that to myself. I'm not saying I'm not trying to keep you guys on track. I'm just like, for me,
You're
it
like,
came
"Calm
off as
down, guys."
intense. Like I was like, calm down, me. I'm the guest here.
Oh.
I'm helping you out, Brett.
Oh, it's a little too far.
No, it's fine. Oh no,
You
no,
son of a-
this is dangerous.
But yeah, Gumball was on that compilation.
yeah, and it. I was like, this is a really clever kid show.
It's so
I want to watch it
clever.
as well.
I
Gumball's funny.
love the humor in it.
Nice.
That's
Favorite
I
one
just
is
know
Become a
on
Monster.
regular show, I think there's like a Gumball machine character. That's why
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
thinking that,
what's his name? Benson. He's
Oh,
just
yeah,
like an
yeah.
angry Gumball.
which is great.
Steven Universe is fantastic.
Yep.
Yay.
Everyone
Sure.
watch it.
Glad we
Watch
got to
that.
talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We are going into video games.
Video
now?
games.
Video
Okay.
games.
Video games.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome.
Hey, thanks,
to,
man.
To video games.
Welcome, guys.
Excuse me.
Video burps.
No, I feel one, but
Did either of you guys ever play any of the Lego games?
Oh, I thought we were burping. Sorry.
No,
My
we
bad.
were for sure.
okay.
Yes.
There we go. We all
Yes,
did it.
I have.
Yes.
Which ones?
Let me tell you.
Okay.
So, okay, so Lego video games.
Yeah. Yep.
Almost all of the, if not all of the Star Wars Lego video games. Those are like classic earlier ones,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
a little bit of the Indiana Jones, and
Okay.
a little bit of Marvel.
Okay.
I've
Tiny
played
bit
'em-
of those.
Okay.
I've
like-
played them all except for Pirates of the Caribbean
Mm.
and
Yeah, I never played any of that one.
Lego Rock Band, I think.
And I've played Lego Rock Band. I didn't know that counted. So
I don't know.
I have played it. It's nothing like any of the other ones. It's
Well, because
Rock
I
Band.
used to pride myself on playing and trying to perfect all the
Rock
Lego,
Band games?
well,
Oh,
no,
Lego.
all the
Okay.
Lego games. So I was like,
could've
does
gone
this
either
one
way.
count? Does it not? You
I
know?
see.
So I said it
As a
didn't.
completionist, you were
Yes.
like, it's gotta,
Right.
it's
So
gotta happen.
I nixed it though because
Okay.
it was a music game and those are tough to perfect. So why
Yeah.
do you bring it up?
Well, because
Why'd you
I've been
point at me and fart?
so,
That's
like-
not nice. So Brett. Let's not
My
make
bad.
that a thing.
You're right. I'm
It's
working
not-
on my
it's-
etiquette with the guests.
Yeah.
It's okay.
So don't do that.
Did it again though.
Right.
How dare you? All
So
right.
my kids are getting super into video games. They
Ah.
have been for a while,
Okay.
and it's hard figuring out. I had this conversation with you. Did we talk about the buttons?
Yes.
How we started with.
Okay.
I'm just gonna reiterate it because I think the concept
go
is
for it.
really interesting. Like when you start playing video games as a kid, for us, it was like 5 buttons on a controller.
NES controller and even the Super Nintendo controller. That was
As a
they
little
added
kid, I was
what, like
playing
2?
Super NES and Jaguar and these like systems that
Mhm.
were
There, fewer buttons.
Yeah.
You started getting like the Ultra controllers or whatever that would add the extra row of buttons.
or
that
on
the
like
Genesis would
PlayStation.
have.
Oh, even before that, PlayStation.
like
yeah,
the-
PlayStation. Okay.
So then
Genesis for sure.
right, and now like when my son who's 4 is like starting to get into games, an Xbox controller has like 150 buttons.
Yeah, Xbox
And-
One. It's like multiple. Like you got bumpers
Yeah,
and you got triggers.
yeah.
And you can click a stick. You can
Yeah,
move a stick around.
exactly.
You click another stick. Move a stick around.
Yeah.
You got select, start.
You got
I'm
the
gonna keep naming
D-pad.
them.
It's a ton. It's all of those
That's
things.
a lot.
Buttons, even the Jewel, the one that turns on the system.
Yep.
Pulls
There's
up
so
the-
many freaking buttons.
So many.
Right, and I'm called.
You made a
like,
good point. It
Yeah.
didn't used to be that way.
It didn't.
Right.
So
Push
now,
A and B.
now I got to
That's it.
figure out
Back
like
in our day.
what good. Exactly. That's what it is. Like figuring out what games are good for them to play.
Games used to
Well,
be simple.
It might be better for them to start on like the highest level of controller. You know,
good for
Not
the brain
for me.
function.
You know how hard it is to explain to a 4-year-old how
click the
many
left
buttons?
stick while pressing A.
Exactly.
You're
He's like, what? I say press start. It's not even called the start button anymore.
It
It's a
isn't.
menu button.
it's the 3 lines or something.
Yeah.
You're just automatically old person. You're like-
Exactly.
And you're supposed to be the one who knows.
Right.
And I will say too, as a gamer to
Mhm.
any degree, knowing what needs to be done and having to describe it and patiently await the buttons to be hit.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Over
press
and
B! Just press B!
this makes me think of with not just children but anyone who I teach to play Super Smash Bros. Like being like thinking that it's gonna be simpler every time. So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you just have A and you have B and you have directions and then I'm like, well, to do a smash attack, push A and
Yeah.
immediately push the direction at the same time.
Yeah.
To do a B attack, well, this one does this, and if you do this direction,
Right.
and
I
if you do
could
it
never-
neutral, I'm saying neutral B to a kid, like, and it's like, I don't know how to say this in a simpler way.
Right. I don't know how
There's
to
no
explain
way
this to
I
you.
could teach someone Smash Bros. Like that's just something you
I've
have
had to do it a couple times,
There's
and
just no way. I can't imagine.
it's
Like
took forever.
Yeah.
It's rough,
Yeah.
and you feel like a jerk because I'm like you said, I'm like, just push the button, just
button.
damn,
Yeah.
do it the right
Yeah.
way.
but we've been playing it for years and years, so we just got adapted
Yeah,
to
yeah.
it.
Right.
You naturally, and same with video games that you're teaching a kid. Like, not only do you know how to do it, it's second nature. So that you have to explain it. Is like,
Right.
how do I not
Explaining-
just do this
Yeah,
and,
it's like
and talk someone through step by teaching
Yeah.
anyone anything is like that.
Exactly.
And it's frustrating
Especially
sometimes.
with something like
As
this.
a teacher, I will say it's
Yes.
like
Right.
sometimes I'm like, just do it like this,
Let me
and
do
it
it
never
for you.
works.
Right.
You have to explain.
Yeah, and I
it
actually, Rachel and I both have like experienced. I've said this to you, Tim, already. I think we've talked about it on the podcast, but it's really interesting watching what happens in their brains trying to play a game.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool. So I don't want to just do it for them. I want to be like, here, press this button, see how this happens when you do this, and like watch them piece it together.
Yeah.
But it's funny too because, like you said, we've been playing for years. So you get like, okay, I'm going to start this game. It's this kind of game. It's a platformer. A is probably jump. X is probably attack. Y is probably to switch something.
Yeah, you
and
kind of have
know
an
what I mean?
automatic.
Yeah, where they're
knowledge
like,
of- Yeah.
what's this one do? You know?
Right. You don't
So-
have that
Yeah, but
baseline.
Exactly. But they're starting to get that. So enter Lego Pirates of the Caribbean. And I've never played any Lego
the
games.
one we haven't played.
Yeah,
Exactly.
of course.
So it was a game with gold. So I
Yeah.
just had it on my Xbox.
Nice.
And
is it still a game with gold?
no,
it was a
it's
while
Forever
ago.
ago. Okay,
yeah, it was
I
a little
missed
while
it.
ago.
This is all good.
I'm going through backlogs lately.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. So I was like, all right, let's queue up this game and try it because they'll play one game over and over again. We've
Yep.
played Turtles in Time probably 15 times.
Wow.
Like through. They play it all the time.
That
I'm
makes
like,
them sound like super nerds, but it's just
It's
because they've only played a few
it's that
over
one
and
game,
over.
and all I have to do is move and smash X.
But
I
we
get
totally
it.
did that as kids too.
Oh,
we only had like
absolutely.
2 or 3 games,
And I didn't
and
even
you-
beat the games.
No way. I
I
don't.
never
think,
beat games as a kid.
I don't think I beat my first
I've
game.
were
so
too
many,
hard.
I've so many times like recently talked to my brothers and been like, wait, did I never beat that game?
Yeah.
I swore I did because I played it
Yeah.
all day.
Nobody beat
all
the
day.
Lion King on Genesis. Nobody beat Aladdin.
Aladdin. I was gonna say Aladdin. Yeah.
The first
games.
game I remember beating was Super Mario Brothers. But it was the deluxe version on Game Boy, so you could save after you beat a world.
Right.
So, but as a kid,
I
that
remember
was
as a
like-
kid never beating it because
Yeah.
you couldn't save the one I had. And it
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah. Mega Man games.
No
Don't
way.
get out of here
Brutal.
with that.
Brutal.
Like, that's
So
torture.
brutal.
They're so tough now, even with the ability to save.
Yeah.
My
It's
brother Isaiah, like,
insane.
yeah, he went back through because I haven't played through the Mega Man. The earlier, I played Battle Network. I love Battle Network.
Battle Network's a good
so
one.
good.
Yeah.
Like all of them. But that's how I got into Mega Man. But the original game, watch my brother just be tortured by
The
this
first
game.
one?
Brutal.
I think it was the first one.
First
yeah.
one is like
It's the first one where it has
Can't even
the
slide.
unfair yeah, stuff's coming at you, you're trying to like climb a ladder into this place, and like there's like you can barely dodge even if you know exactly when it's.
Yeah,
the
'cause
game is
when you-
basically memorize the game.
when
Yes,
you transition
And the
into
yellow,
the next map.
what's that
is
famous yellow boss that I can't think
Oh
of?
my God, the
that
yellow
shoots
devil?
thing? Yeah, the yellow devil. Okay.
Impossible. I have a clip on Xbox
I saw
of me
him
beating it. 'cause
flipping out constantly, like I keep being, oh crap, he's on the same boss. Like
Yeah,
I walk
right.
down night 3, like I'm like, oh no, this is sad.
Yeah.
Like he's just doing the same thing and timing the jumps.
That's it. It's-
and the amount of jump and still screwing it up.
Yeah.
Ah, so hard.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
so
as a
tough.
kid, there's a lot of games that I thought I had finished because you just think I played it a million times. Like,
Right.
obviously, I finished
I
it.
must have
Right.
seen the end.
And then I kept being like, whoa, I gotta play this game again.
Yeah. So like my kids are experiencing games now with saving and being able to
I
actually
know.
beat the games.
Immediate like auto saves.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I
Less
put on
consequences for dying.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
They just come back.
Or in Lego, no consequences for
Yeah,
dying.
you come back, you lose
Oh,
like
that's
a,
true.
1,000.
Yeah, you lose
Yeah.
a little bit of
or
money.
whatever
Like
the
those studs.
Right, you just come back. So what's cool about this game that's been perfect for them is it's always minimum 2 players.
That's nice.
Yeah, so
Wait,
for
it
them,
can't
yeah.
be single player?
It can be,
Oh.
but if you're single player, you switch between different
Oh,
characters.
right,
to
right.
do
Like
different
all the
things.
Lego
the
games.
other-
So all of them are like that,
Yeah.
where they each
Yeah.
can do a unique thing. So
Yeah,
that's super
exactly.
cool.
That is cool. I do like that about them.
Yeah, it's really cool. And the kids really loved the Lego movies. I love the Lego movies.
Yeah.
So playing it now, they're like, oh, sweet, we're in this Lego universe and blah, blah, blah.
Pirates, I assume, is tough though, because there was a certain point where they changed the formula of Lego games where it initially, like, yes, there were characters that did different things, but there was only like 5 classes total. Like in the Star Wars games, there was someone who could jump really high. There was
Someone who could fit through small spaces.
Yeah, but there was like 10 characters that could do that, and that's it. But when we got to like Harry Potter or Indiana Jones, there was like 15 or 16 different abilities per person,
I see.
types of people.
yeah, like types of moves and types of things. So I don't. Is it complicated with that? Like, are there a lot of different?
There's a lot.
So each level is different, and I don't know how the other ones are set up, but you open, like, after defeating the first chapter, it opens all of the movies.
Yes.
Okay, so in each one, we've unlocked or rescued different characters, and they add them into your like full repertoire of characters.
Yep.
I have a wheel of characters that you can choose from. There are probably 1, 2, 3, 4, like 8 to 10 that you can choose from. I think we have 6 or 7 of them. It's not like full.
Yeah.
But what it will do is you'll go to a next level and it'll only give you Will and Jack Sparrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then some levels you have everybody, and there's certain people can only build certain things, and I think that aspect is really cool. The building is really neat. And what's cool about it is some of the more puzzly stuff, since we're playing 2-player, the kids are just like smashing barrels and like chopping each other's heads off, and I can do some of the puzzles.
Yeah.
And it'll do a
I remember
split
that
screen.
playing with my little siblings, like, who were a lot younger at the time, and it was a great game for them because it's like we could still finish the level,
Right.
Exactly.
even if they are messing around. Whereas some games that just ruins it. Like, you can't.
There's
You
no
can't,
way.
or you can't progress because they're going this way.
Exactly.
And you're like, just walk the other way, please.
Yeah, I can see the frustration
It's
when
so,
it's like, just literally just hold the stick this
Yeah,
way,
right.
not that, or stop turning around.
Let me
Right.
take it from you.
circles.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
I'll do it.
But
yeah.
with this game, they can have fun, and they can, like, there's reward, but there's not as much loss,
Right.
which is cool.
Exactly.
They can get better at the game without the constant failure.
Right. And what's part of it too is you can go anywhere in the map and it will just split screen for you. It's a little bit annoying the way it split screens. I don't know how the other ones are, but this one will just draw a diagonal line across the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
That's
used to
what
not be able to do that. It was
Really?
you had to stay in the same screen. at
I know
all
with the
times.
Star Wars, I played like the complete collection,
Yep.
and you could do it in that. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
But
Okay.
maybe not in the earlier ones.
Yeah, the earlier Star Wars you
That's
couldn't,
cool.
but then they started adding.
It's
it
a really cool feature.
It is.
It took some getting used to, and
Yeah.
honestly, like, the first couple levels were confusing. Like, we literally got stuck on the first section because I was like, what am I doing? There's no way to get out of anywhere, and now I'm getting used to, like, you have to smash stuff to build it and then build
Right.
things and move them.
Yeah,
and
it's funny to think that, like, if you jump into one of these more modern ones, there are just mechanics that have been the same through all of it.
Right.
So they teach you it in Lego Star Wars, like the first Lego game ever, and then it's carried on through all of them.
yeah.
Right.
So it's interesting to see someone jump in like you, Pirates
Yeah,
of the Caribbean.
and
You're
I'm like,
smash
I
stuff.
can't-
What the heck?
Like, I just beat XCOM and I can't build something in Lego Pirates of the
What am I
Caribbean.
missing here?
I'm like, I don't know what's going on. So, but it's been pretty fun with them, and it's super simple, and they laugh at, like, if you swim out too far, you get eaten by a shark, and they like love that, and then you just
Yeah.
come back. So it's been pretty fun to go through that. It's the
Yeah,
first
that's
Lego
cool.
game I've ever played, so
Nice.
that's pretty cool.
That's good.
The only
choice.
critique I have of those games, because they're really great
Yeah.
for what they are, is that they're just, a lot of them are very similar. Like,
Yeah.
after you
Yeah.
kind of get the game, so the first one I played was my favorite.
Yeah,
And I didn't
definitely.
feel the urge to play every single one, even though I was like, oh, it'd be fun to play a Pirates of the Caribbean
Right.
one. It'd be fun
Yep.
to play an Indiana Jones one, which I played a little of.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just because, like, there was nothing wrong with them. They're great, but they're the same kind of game.
It's
Yeah,
just taking
that
the
was my
concept
issue.
and putting
different things on it,
characters.
which
Yeah.
is a great model for them.
Sure.
They're great with that.
Right.
But, like, yeah, I didn't feel an urge to play all
Right.
of them.
Yep.
And are they all like with this one? It's just the movie. Like, it's exactly.
That's what they
it's-
do. Take the levels, recreate them in Lego form, and
Yeah.
then you just do.
Yeah, and they
like,
have all sorts of hijinks and different things, but it's
Exactly,
the
yeah.
essential plot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it is.
That's what it
Okay.
is.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's cool.
Yeah, that's where I learned the Star Wars story initially from those.
Really?
That's awesome.
Because as a kid, I never I saw the movies, I watched them, but I didn't get it. I had no idea. So playing those games, I got
the deeper story,
right? The premise of it, and then as I obviously watched them as I got older, I was like, oh yeah, I remember that from Lego Star Wars.
Dude,
that was
so
a great
hilarious.
Yeah.
I like
So
that.
It was pretty funny. I had the reverse.
Yeah.
Wow.
Showing of it, But
That's so great.
It's kind of cool.
Funny.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah, there's been some other stuff I've been playing, but I can leave it at that because there's a lot of us today.
Well,
So many more than the usual.
So many more. So many more.
Can't imagine.
I just imagine we all have video games to talk about. I don't know.
always.
I definitely have one to talk about.
I sure do as well.
Awesome.
Okay.
Oh yes, and I want to talk about what you want to talk about. I'll get mine out of the way because I don't know if you guys even know it, and so it depends on how much
That's
we'll
fun.
talk about. Yeah,
I'll
we'll
know
find out.
Yeah.
I'll know it.
You probably will.
Yeah, I know it.
What is it?
It's Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
You wish.
It
It is a less big game than that. It is a cult game, a fan favorite game. It's by Sega. It's Shenmue. You know Shenmue?
Oh, yes.
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 I don't.
That's a tough one to get into.
I'm curious if you're gonna know even what's going on about it. Have you played the first one at all? Like
I've played I have it over there. I've been slowly working on it, but
okay.
I not very far at all. But I like it.
You have it on Dreamcast or do you have it on Xbox?
I have it on Dreamcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same here. So I have been trying to get my hands on like an original American copy, like as in like
It was tough to find.
Yeah.
GameStop, I got super lucky. They were selling it for $30 on GameStop, and I was like,
that's awesome.
That was awesome.
I was similarly just like psyched because my friend Ed, shout out to Ed. Thanks, Ed.
yeah,
Yo,
Ed.
Ed
Thanks,
rocks.
buddy.
Now I got to tell him to listen to this episode. Something great happens in the middle. Just enjoy it. Listen to the whole thing. But anyway, so he like found it at like a retro game store that just happened to have it in that day, and I was like, oh crap, like do we have the money to spend on it? It wasn't that expensive. I think it was $30, but I was like, I wasn't gonna spend money on a game, but like I need to get that game, and it's like rarely around in an affordable and working condition. So I was like, I don't know, and then like he sends me another picture, and it's like holding in his hand, and he's like, happy birthday. So
nice.
Super nice. So
That's
he gave
awesome.
me, and it's like a 4-disc thing because it's a big game for Dreamcast.
Yeah.
Plus, it had online capabilities,
Which is crazy for the time.
yeah,
It was a
insane.
very groundbreaking game, but a very much a cult game. It's not a game that like people who love it were like, oh my gosh. And I grew up, I played it as a kid because we had a Dreamcast and played like everything that was available for Dreamcast because it was only around for so
That's
long.
my favorite system ever. I love
Dude,
Dreamcast.
Dreamcast.
Absolutely.
Loving it.
Oh, you guys.
Oh, we're gonna bond even more over Sonic eventually, but so I've wanted to talk to you about Sonic for so long.
Oh, great.
So more bucket list things.
Yeah.
Yes.
But anyway, so the game basics of the game. There's 2 of them that have existed for a long time.
Okay.
One came out on Dreamcast, one came out on Xbox. I got them both. And that was one of those things where I now realize it's perfect synergy because this was the game that I remember recently being like, I beat it before. And then going, I haven't beat either of those games. And I was like, and I was so into the story as a kid. But I was a freaking kid. And as a kid, you just like play the game every day.
Yeah.
And I had beaten some, like a lot of games, but like there are some that just when I was young and I just like never did.
I mean, in that game, it's like a simulator almost.
Yeah.
Because you can walk around the city, you can do mini games.
You
and
can
all that
spend
stuff.
so much time and never get through the story.
Yeah.
Really?
It is what's cool about it. I became obsessed with it as a kid because at the time, Dreamcast was this weird, unique, revolutionary system, but that didn't have a long shelf life, right? So some of the games that came out were like unique and very experimental, and that's very cool, and that's what a lot of people like about it.
Yeah.
And Shenmue was this game that was like an open world game in 99?
I think so.
Yeah. An open world game for what they could do with that system at the time. And they had to put it on a bunch of discs, and they had to create this like world that like you can like go through your things that now in like GTA is normal.
Yeah.
But like you could go through every single room in your house, and you could open every drawer, you can look at every picture, you can do random crap, you can take pictures off the wall.
Oh yeah.
You can, you know what I mean? Like
Be a
just
huge deal back then. Yeah.
Oh, exactly.
There's
all
like-
these.
Just the things you can do. It's so like well thought out. Like you can go. There's a cat you can take care of, like, and feed it and pet it and do all this.
I love
stuff.
taking care of cats.
I'm just saying, like the attention to detail of that game is insane.
Yeah, it is. And at the time, it was. What the? Is just throwing around this toy I got you. Like,
Pablo.
disrespect.
Dropped him.
Merry
just
Christmas.
tossing him. Neither of us would ever knock over that toy, but
Yeah.
you,
Yeah,
you,
of
Brett.
course.
You're a
I guess
monster.
you own the toy, so it's fine.
Yeah.
It's my Pablo.
All right. So,
Taking care of cats.
taking care of cats.
Yeah.
There's like you have money and it's yen in this case. So
Yep.
like you have like a money that you can keep track of. You randomly find like was it a tape? I think a cassette tape like in a drawer.
Yeah.
You can play it on a
You-
cassette
yeah,
player.
you can listen to music while you're walking around through the city and stuff. Like,
It's crazy. So there's all this stuff that like would even now be like a feature in a game.
Yep.
Not a taken for granted kind of thing.
Mhm.
And it was this massive game at the time. And there was this, I don't know if you know about this. I'm curious what you know about it, Tim, because I recently found out more about it. But like the creator had an 11-chapter story
Yep.
that he created.
Yep.
And they were only able to make 2 games at the time. And they've been talking forever about making a 3rd game.
Each game being a chapter?
ideally,
But I think his
but with
idea.
the third one,
Yeah. So you know about
I
this.
do, yeah.
Oh man,
Oh.
I agree with you so much, Tim. Like the thing about the game is it's ahead of its time. It's an open world, and yeah, like the things that are in that game, you go even today.
You play in an arcade?
You can also play in an arcade.
Yep.
You can
Other
play
Sega
other
games.
Sega games in that game.
Yeah,
You can
It's
like
the
for real
biggest
play
game
them?
ever.
Mhm.
Yeah. Isn't that so
dope.
crazy?
it's like yeah, ahead of its
As a
time.
kid, I was like, this is incredible that a game could have this. And as an adult, I'm now like, still incredible.
Yep.
And considering, even more so, considering what the Dreamcast was.
Yep.
Like,
Wow.
they really pushed the limits.
Mhm.
It looks pretty big. Even
Yeah.
like
Yeah, there's just I don't know. Is there more than just the one environment of the like whole town you walk around in?
I haven't gotten that far in it because I
Okay.
literally spent an hour the first time I sat down. I got it recently, and I spent an hour just going through everything in my house.
That's I did the same thing. I was like, what's
Yeah.
in this drawer?
you
Oh,
can drive a forklift.
I guess so.
Oh, spoilers.
Yeah, you have
I haven't
jobs.
finished this game now.
Sorry, man.
It's all good. No, I mean,
I didn't know you didn't get to the forklift part.
clearly that's a major plot point.
That's actually DLC. That was the online.
Fair enough. How dare you ruin the forklift scene?
Come
the
on.
most horrible scene. Oh,
So you're talking about the third game. He had a 11-part series in mind,
Mhm.
right?
and the 3rd game potentially I think is gonna like wrap up multiple chapters.
Yeah, he said 4, 5, and 6. I think
Mm.
maybe 7.
Wow.
All
What
in
about 8?
All in one game. No, 8.
9?
No,
Not 3 either. Just 4, 5, 6, 9, and 1 again.
Yeah, well,
go through
we'll
one.
We're gonna
do
do
a
one
recap
again.
of 1 and 2. But yeah, I was just gonna go off what you said.
Yeah.
He kickstarted it. He decided to run a Kickstarter for it to see if people are interested, and destroyed records. It did amazing. People are like, we want this game real bad.
They even have still been giving after the Kickstarter is done.
Yeah, they have
They
like
made it available on the website because people still wanted to give because they were like, we need this game.
Yep.
Wow.
And even
And I
more
was blown
so-
away because I want this game so bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people. Same thing with like the Hey Arnold situation. People have been waiting years and years for it to even like have a mention. And it got so big that Sony personally is backing it. They completely
Really?
funded it on top of all the other money
No
they're
way.
making.
That is so freaking awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So they
Wow.
so it's so far only coming to PlayStation 4.
I think
and-
computer also.
Yeah, I think so at a later date though. I think,
Yes.
'cause it was
I don't have a
technically-
PlayStation 4, so I'm like, I got to get it on PC when
Yeah.
it gets on PC.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, it's
but I have
coming-
time because I'm going to play 1 and 2 again.
Right, which that'll take you 50 years. So.
Yeah. It'll be on all platforms by the time I
Yep.
get there.
But it sounds like it'll be a while till it's out. Like he does do regular updates, I guess. I haven't been reading it because, like I said, I need to beat.
You
the
can't
first
read?
two. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's such an interesting game.
And such an interesting story of how it's still going to continue.
Right.
So I'm excited because as I'm playing this game, I'm like, one, I don't remember many of the details of the story. I remember the basics, the very beginning of the game, the premise. You're this character who you just know you live in this house.
With a cat.
There's a cat involved.
But not in the house.
Not in the house.
Yeah, somewhere else.
Game
It's an outdoor
sucks.
cat.
Yeah.
The game does suck. My bad. I'm sorry I brought it up, guys. What was I thinking? So he basically, like, there's this mysterious event that happens where someone is killed, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And I won't say who it is just so you can, like, if you ever play it
Is it the
one
cat?
day, it is the cat.
I'm not playing this game.
This game sucks.
Yeah, you already know the story.
All right, so the cat dies, and then he drives a forklift.
Yeah.
For vengeance.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's chapters 1 through 2.
Yeah.
There's
That's why we're
more
waiting for the third game.
Right.
because nothing happened in the first 2. And we're like, there's got to be more if he wrote 11 chapters. Like, is each chapter just one thing happens?
Does he ever get off the forklift? People have been waiting 20 years for that.
It's like Lost with the Island. They're like, when's he gonna get off the forklift? We have so many unanswered questions.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hijack your description. I was just trying to.
Oh no, it was great. I think that's all I want to say about it is like I freaked out. Is all like for example, I'll bring another example up. I freaked out, a month ago for a split second because I saw an article like The Office is gonna be back for 3 episodes.
Oh man.
And then I was like, wait, I should really fact check this. Oh crap, why you gotta be a skeptic, Andrew? Why you gotta? And then I looked it up and was like, this is an old article that's not true. Recycled. And I was like pounding the desk like, yes.
I did that with the Legend of Zelda Netflix show.
Oh yeah, I did that too.
I was so frustrated because
And I
it
did
looked
it with
legit.
the Netflix Star Wars show that was going to come out. Now they actually are going to do, but on their Disney streaming service because now Disney owns it. But at the time it was like a Darth Maul show, and I was like, yes. And then it was like a fake show.
Yeah.
No.
It was the worst.
Yeah. April Fools. I was like, April.
Yeah, it's not funny.
She always
Screw
tricks
you.
us.
April sucks.
April's the
Just like Shenmue, April sucks. Any game where cats die.
That's the
Can't
end.
abide it. So yeah, I just got. But anyway, I felt like that way when I saw the Shenmue Kickstarter. I'm like, there's no Shenmue 3, Andrew. Don't get your hopes up. This is clearly. I saw the prototype animation. I'm like, it's not real.
No way, it's fake.
It's
Has to
all
be.
faked. And it was real.
It was
real.
real.
And I flipped out. And I was so ecstatic. And it was right when I got this gift of Shenmue that I
Yeah.
saw it. So I was like,
That's the best. Because you
Wow.
start looking into it, you're like, oh, I wonder whatever happened in the third game. And then you get confirmation.
Yep.
Um,
Pretty nuts.
yeah, it looks good so far.
Yep.
So you're definitely a guy in a jacket.
Yes.
The jacket is a big part of it.
Very
Chapter
big.
3.
Okay.
Chapter 3 is going to be exclusively about the jacket.
All right.
He gets it dry cleaned. That's
Yeah.
chapter 3.
Yeah, he gets off he drove the forklift
Gets
to
on
the
the
dry
forklift.
cleaner.
Oh, yep. Chapter 4, I think, is him just like using his rotary phone and calling a lot of people. Which in the game, that's the thing that you do.
Yep.
And I was somehow entertained for 30 minutes
Well, because you can
calling
sit there.
every number that I had picked up in my book. Like,
That's awesome.
it's amazing that a game can be so detailed and like a life simulator
Yep.
that you actually want to do mundane things.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't feel like I wasted my life doing that. How is this possible?
How is it possible?
Yeah, I like it so much because I've always been into Japanese anything. So
Mhm.
seeing that, I was like, I want to play this game every
You
day.
get a vibe of the culture,
Yep.
and it's very like immersive.
Yep,
which
very
I
much
love.
So.
So I'm looking at a screenshot of comparative art from 2000 and 2017, and I
Oh,
just
yeah.
want to say like the 2001 doesn't look that far off.
That's the first game.
Yeah.
That's like pretty good for being 17 years old.
Agreed.
Compared to the graphics that we have now.
Mm-hmm.
One of the many reasons that like the game was ahead of its time.
Mm-hmm.
They really put work into it that most games don't.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah, the game sure is a beauty.
Well, I'm intrigued.
Yep. I can't, and it makes me want to like go home tonight and play it.
And
Like I'm gonna be back into playing it. I bet I have. I don't know if you guys do this, but I have. I think you guys do, but I have like, running list of games in order to go through, and I'm currently beating the story in Injustice 2. I'm almost done with that.
Nice.
I was replaying through Sonic Adventure 1, and now I'm replaying Sonic Adventure 2.
I play Sonic Adventure once a year.
It's a tradition.
It is
You
a
gotta
tradition.
play it.
Yeah, it is. They finally brought it to Xbox One backwards compatible.
Did they?
Nice.
Yep. So
Nice.
I
have them on Steam. So
yeah, I have it on pretty much everything. Dreamcast, GameCube, all. It's my favorite
Yeah.
game ever.
Yeah, come
well,
on.
that and Kingdom Hearts, but
But yeah, Sonic Adventure, man.
it's
classic.
the top. So anyways,
I've been enjoying Sonic Adventure 2,
Yep.
finishing that. But Shenmue's on my list right now, and I'm like, I'm going to finish these shorter games, and then I'll dive in.
Yeah.
Because Injustice 2,
quick.
short story, video like fighting game story.
Yeah.
Long for a fighting game, but all fighting game stories are short. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get through that. I think finish Sonic Adventure 2. Quick video game note, there's a super great game called To the Moon that's on Steam. Highly recommend that.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what kind of game you like. It is a like mostly text-based. Not just text-based, but like it's mostly telling the story, and then you have moments where you walk around and talk to people, and Beautiful music,
I
beautiful
think
story.
I have that. I don't think I've played it, but
I
I might have
recommend
it.
playing it.
Sorry, you were closer than appeared.
Yeah.
Hey.
Also, you by engaging in that, you created him falling out of their pocket.
That was it. It was all your fault.
It was this time.
Mhm.
No, usually yours, Tim.
Yeah,
but-
yeah.
Did you ever play Her Story?
My brother has, I think. Got to play it.
That's
Steam or
yeah.
okay.
It's free, right? $5.
It's not free. I think it's I don't know.
$5.
Her Story. I will listen to this again when I listen back
Yeah.
to it. And I'll remember to check it out.
Yes.
Did I get it? I got it for super cheap.
Yeah, you can.
On Steam Black Friday last night, because Black Friday started with Steam, for $3.74, I got Broforce.
Oh,
so happy.
Dude,
On the recommendation from so long ago of you guys on the podcast.
Yeah.
And I was
So
like,
good.
and me and my bro Isaiah,
play
we
it?
just played it last night, and we were like, this is so fun.
It's so
like,
much fun.
Oh my God, we had such a
I
great time.
love that
Mhm.
game. How fun is it every time you get a new character?
Ah,
It's
every time.
That's the
When we
best.
got Bro
So
in
good.
Black, we were like, this is so dope. Bro in Black is so great.
Oh,
What's your
love it.
favorite characters? We really like was it Brode or the Blade? Bro.
Oh, he was good.
He was
He
great.
was great.
Who was the Ash one? Ash
We haven't gotten him yet.
Brochly, maybe.
Brochly? I don't remember what it
Mad
was.
Max was my favorite.
Oh, he's coming.
Yep.
There's so many characters.
That
We
was
really
good.
started it. We're like on the third level.
There's so
yeah.
many.
It
There are
feels
so many.
yeah, it feels like the characters never end because
Yeah.
you just keep going through the game and you're like, oh my God, this guy, oh him, her, what?
Yeah.
I love fun little games like that where there's a million characters.
Right.
Yeah.
And they all do different things.
Yeah,
And they
exactly.
just keep popping up.
Yeah, there was a DLC, The Expendables. They had a Expendables
Oh,
DLC.
nice.
Yep.
So that
I
don't
can
know if that
picture
came
us
to
getting all the
consoles, but-
DLCs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we haven't, right?
No, I don't know if it's available on consoles.
You have it on console?
Yeah.
Ah, hooray for Steam in this case. I literally paid $3.74 because it's not that expensive anyway, but
Yeah.
it was like 75% off. So
Mhm.
Yeah, I just
I
bought a
gotta
couple
look that
games.
up.
hooray
No.
for Steam Black Friday.
Yeah,
Steam's nuts.
I just downloaded a couple too because Microsoft's doing a Black Friday Xbox.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's like if you have gold, it's like an extra percentage off
Mhm.
of everything that they're doing. So I bought
What'd you
a
get?
couple. I got Life is Strange,
Mm.
and which I've played the first chapter, but it's the complete game.
Nice.
And then I got Brothers.
Oh, it's a good game.
I haven't played it yet.
Emotional.
I'm
Yeah.
excited. It was $5. So
Worth it.
pretty stoked about
Yeah, I
Obviously worth it.
for
Also,
it.
I meant to mention this on the last episode. Speaking of Injustice, so Hellboy is now
Yep.
Yes.
a playable character,
Oh.
and the announcement of the
Ninja
Turtles.
Turtles. Ninja
Yo,
Turtles.
I'm freaking out because I've said to Tim before,
For years he's been telling
I
me.
just want them to show up in like Marvel vs. Capcom or
Smash
some
Bros.
fight. Yeah, Smash Bros.
Yep.
Any fighting game, just give me any turtle.
Mhm.
You get all four of them, right?
Oh yes, you get all four of them. But what's interesting is nobody knows how they're going to be played yet because Injustice 2 said there were going to be 9 characters.
Uh-huh.
So the two, this is the final announcement. These are going to be the last ones. So the first 2 that they show, honestly, I forget who's even.
It is.
Oh, wait. Black Manta? You're talking about the bonus characters?
Yeah.
That was the first DLC. This
Yeah.
one is I can't remember now.
Have you seen
Raiden's
the promo
in
video
it.
with
Yeah, I
the?
have. Raiden is he in the latest one with Ninja Turtles?
Well, yeah, there was the Black Manta, Raiden, and
Hellboy.
Hellboy, and then the one before that was Starfire, Red Hood,
Yep.
and
Yep. I got Red
Sub-Zero.
Hood, which I have enjoyed very much.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. And then the newest one is, I think, Enchantress.
Yep. Yep, that's right.
Enchantress
Oh, okay.
and who's the other person? It's a guy.
Yeah.
I'm blanking all
They're
of a sudden.
fighting and
Adam.
Adam.
Yep.
Adam.
Yep.
And then
Atom. Yes.
Yeah.
So-
and then the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, so the promo shows them fighting, and then plus, like as a fan, they do it perfectly.
Mhm.
And
I
the-
literally was thinking of you when I saw it.
Oh
I was
my
like,
gosh.
seems like they got the personalities
Yeah,
nailed down. Brett's probably freaking out.
I was freaking out. It was funny. My
I knew
friend,
it.
my friend DJ tagged me in a video, and he doesn't tag me in a whole lot of things, but he's a fellow Turtles enthusiast.
Was
Dude,
my
that might
picture
be-
the first one you saw, or did you see the video first?
The video first.
Ah,
I don't think I saw your picture.
Well, I sent you a picture, and I was like, check out who's coming out.
No, you sent that to me. I saw the video on Facebook. I went to text you and saw that you had texted me. So multiple people
That's
are like,
awesome.
hey, Brett, hey, Brett,
Yeah.
hey, Brett.
Ninja Turtles.
So what's funny is like DJ, I hadn't seen him in a little while, and he tagged me in that, and I'm watching. I'm like, okay, sweet. Like I know we've both played Injustice.
Yep.
That's cool because the whole first bit of the trailer is just these two fighting, and I'm like, cool.
I'm surprised you didn't get spoiled by like a thumbnail that was on
Nothing.
it.
No,
Nice.
it didn't say it because it just said new Injustice character.
That's
Like,
awesome.
Okay. So then the Psy comes down,
Oh,
and I'm
man.
like, shut your mouth, shut
And you're
up.
like, one Ninja Turtle.
Yeah, and then he walks
Comes
in
out
the
in
trench
trench
coat.
coat.
That's like, because that's the first. I mean, they've worn the trench coats since forever, but that Raph is like Raph from the movie,
Yep.
and
And
so
that's
good.
what you love.
That's what
Yes.
made me think of you when I
Then
saw
they all
that.
show up. The personalities are dope. I love the character designs. I think it's actually a solid mixture between like the old school designs and even the newer movies. And I think it's like all the best elements of both. So I think they look great. They sounded really good. And then they do the thing where, actually, quick side note. I guess there was a rumor that one of the DLCs was going to be, is it Melina from Mortal Kombat that uses the size?
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that
okay.
Psy was actually like, oh, like some people had heard it was going to be Melina.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
there was a split second where you're like, oh, it is Melina. What? Like total
Nice.
curveball.
That's really clever.
Right?
So they throw it down and everyone goes, that character we heard about.
Right.
Ninja Turtles.
I know, like complete curveball. So
But for you, it was a curveball because you didn't see any thumbnail.
Nothing.
You just were like,
new characters.
your brain was not even in that area.
Not at all.
That's awesome.
And I didn't even know about Hellboy. I found out about that afterwards.
Yeah.
And I
It's
love
also cool.
Hellboy too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then in the trailer, they, Mikey's like, oh, I get the magic lady or whatever,
Yeah.
and Leo's like, Mikey, we all fight together. You know that, or we fight as a team or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what I was saying earlier is they are technically the 9th character,
Yeah.
DLC character.
Yep.
So nobody
Right.
quite knows how you're gonna play. Do you choose a character? Is it gonna be like I forget what you call it, but like a stance character where you can
Right,
change your
because
style?
in Mortal Kombat, you have those like different versions
Yeah.
of each one.
Yeah.
But there's
Mortal
four,
Kombat X.
so
Four of them.
because a lot of the times when you have that stance character, it's either one or maybe two, like
Yeah.
different moves. So to have four
Yeah.
characters, it's a lot to cycle through
Right.
in the middle of a fight.
Now Mortal Kombat had
the stance in Injustice, but also like in Mortal Kombat X, there's also the different versions or modes
Oh, yeah,
that you
the-
can start from
Right.
of a character,
yes.
which has different move sets.
Right,
Right.
right.
So it might be like that.
Mhm.
Where
That'd
at
be
the
weird if
beginning you
they
go,
implemented
1,
it
2,
just
3,
for
4.
one character. Well, I guess they could. There wouldn't be any reason not to.
They got to
but-
do something.
Yeah.
So clearly we just
Yeah.
don't know
Right.
how that will be different.
Right.
But it won't be. You can't be like all the other ones because they don't have that.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know how they're gonna implement it. I hope it's not like a wonky, weird thing that ruins it. Where like
Hopefully not.
obviously they have a plan for it, but sometimes like you try to put 4 characters into one slot,
Yeah.
like you
best
just wonder.
intentions, Yeah, it doesn't always work out.
But I'm crazy stoked for that. I don't
That's
own the
cool.
game yet. My friend did, and we played it for a while, and then
Yeah.
he got rid of his Xbox, so we don't have it in the
Oh,
house
You
anymore.
got rid of the Xbox?
Yeah.
The original Injustice you're talking about?
No, 2.
Okay.
Injustice 2. So I haven't purchased it yet, so I got to get the Ultimate Edition because
Yeah.
I just want all the characters anyways. I know there is who's the character in Mortal Kombat X? The big character with the little
Yeah, I
Um,
forget his name, but that guy.
Farah Tor? Or
Farah-
Terra 4?
Something like that.
I
Tora
think it's
Fair.
Farah
For a
Tor.
Terra-
Ferrator.
Yeah.
Turf affair.
Perfect
Um,
Nugan, Perfect stuff.
That's like yeah.
That thing.
That's like a character that has, kind of dual functionality. There's
Yeah.
2 characters in one. I can't see the turtles working the way that character
Or like
does.
in Injustice 2, there's the Red Lantern guy,
Yes.
Atrocitus,
with the cat.
was the cat.
Yep.
But that's not what I picture it being like.
No.
Hopefully not.
Yeah.
Right.
Hopefully it's not like you're like Raph or something,
Yeah.
and you just like every once in a while a turtle jumps over your shoulder and is like, I'm also a turtle.
Yeah, right. I
That
know.
would suck. Or you push B and it's like all the other turtles come in and they come back.
Yeah.
It could be a thing where they're each different moves, like where you play as Leo, and
Oh,
then
that would actually be better, I
It could
think,
be,
than
yeah.
just it coming over your shoulder.
right.
But the ultimate would be cycle between any of
Yes.
them and play
Yeah,
as
like
them
4
and
different costumes,
That
but
would
each
be
one has their own
move
moveset.
sets.
That'd be crazy.
Please, Lord, let it be.
Hey,
I
at
want
this-
that
at this
so
point,
bad.
You've already got at least one turtle,
I know.
and
I
in
know.
theory, you've got all of them. But just how will they manifest
How will they do it,
themselves?
right.
Will it be for unique characters or just what
Mm-hmm.
It can't just be different skins with no different movesets because
No.
they obviously do different stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Have
Mortal
different
Kombat
weapons.
/ Injustice is all about
Yeah.
movesets.
Yeah.
So
Right, exactly.
I think
they're
gotta be putting some thought into that.
I can't believe it's real. Literally, when I watched it, I went, no way. I think out loud, I went, shut up. I was like, because it's something like when you want something so bad, and then someone actually did it. It's like, yes. And I love that it's in Injustice 2 because I honestly think what NetherRealm has done with their fighting games is like top notch.
Yeah.
Like, I
Always fun.
It's so fun and such varied. The move sets are a big part of it.
A good way to introduce Ninja Turtles, where they do each have their own move sets and they have their own weapons and they have their own personalities.
Yeah.
You could get these really cool interpretations of each character. And Smash Bros is, I also think, way up there in terms of how fighting is like played out. But it's different.
Yeah.
Because you would still get that in a way with each different special move and attack move. But it is something unique about Injustice / just NetherRealm games in general.
Yeah.
I just call them NetherRealm games, like, because it's the same
what they
thing,
are,
different like costume, but different skin. But like the thing about them is something unique, like you said, about how they put the personality of the character into each move.
Right.
And you go, every move that I'm seeing, it's not just something they do as a function, but you see the personality in every move. So that would be cool for the Ninja Turtles.
Yes, which reminds me, the special is going to be incredible.
Oh my god!
Because it's going to be all 4 of them involved in some.
Oh man,
I can't.
That's going to be sick.
I can't wait. I'm so excited.
I'm like equally excited to get Hellboy and the Ninja Turtles.
Yes, yeah.
So cool.
Love it. So many universes coming together, and I'm a sucker for crossovers.
Yeah.
Talk about it at length.
I was gonna say, you've talked about the literally multiple Ninja Turtle crossovers that you love. So here's another one.
Here's another one.
Awesome.
All right. Thanks for letting me talk about that.
Oh man, that was fun to talk about.
Yeah, definitely.
I think we're all excited for that, even though you're the most turtley fan and the turtley fan. That's rude.
Fan.
I'm sorry.
I am a turtley fan.
You know what you are.
It's
Embrace it.
You know, it's kind of like when Sonic was put in Smash. I was like, I was like, what?
Oh my god.
Like, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like I never thought this would happen in this awesome game. It's very similar to that. Good point.
So cool.
So fun.
I love playing as Sonic.
Yeah.
He's kind of wacky though.
He's one of my secondaries.
In
I used to be
Smash.
my first main as Sonic. And now it's I'm playing with. We gotta play Smash Bros again sometime. I'm playing with Pac-Man and Little Mac. Pac and Mac. The two most like. Well, one of them, Pac-Man, being the most like weirdly technical character.
Yeah.
But once you know him, like,
I am thrilled. Like I have been doing some weird ass traps.
Yeah.
Like, where I'm like, this is fun, and I should also make sure that I like do it right so it helps me.
Yeah.
But it's just fun to watch and fun for someone to fall into. Little Mac's like the opposite, where he's like just fight, go as fast as possible.
Yep.
Pac-Man's like stay back. So I picked them because I almost won a Smash tournament, like a local, not like a big one, but like a local one that my friend puts on, and we have like 15 people. You guys should come to one sometime. I will let you know about it afterward. But we're just doing on December is going to be our 1 year, because we did one in January all the way once a month till December.
Oh, nice.
It's going to be great. I'll let you guys know about it afterward, like the details, because you guys should come if you can.
Yeah.
But it's awesome, and I got third place in the tournament with Little Mac. That was I focused on Little Mac for a month, because I'm like, this character's gotta be able to win something.
Right.
And so I just like went crazy. I'd never just focused on one character. I'd always had like a secondary or two.
Right.
And I just played nonstop Little Mac every day for a month, and then I got third place. So I could have won, I think, except that my goal was to stick with Little Mac, and I fought Jigglypuff, who basically just buffets you off the stage.
Oh, yes.
So I freaked out and stressed out. My brother Isaiah was doing it to me, and I was just like flipped out at the end. I was like, no. But I was like, then afterward, I was like, but I got third place with Little Mac in a tournament. Like, I feel good.
Yeah.
So
good.
My goal with getting Pac-Man was to find a balance for that. Like I like doing underdog characters, weird characters that aren't super high tier.
Yep.
Right.
And I have a couple that are more high tier that I like Corin, he's mid to high.
Yep.
But and Bayonetta's high. I like Bayonetta.
She's
But
tough.
yeah, very technical. I like the technical characters. Sonic's also very technical.
Yeah, right.
And so I love that stuff, and finding weird, janky things about it that like you exploit it, and then you're like, people don't know what's going on.
Right. Because it's a character that's like way out of their range. Like,
I did that with Mega Man a little bit.
Oh yeah, he's great for that.
Yeah.
Who do you main, by the way?
a Samus.
There you go.
Yeah.
Like Samus is like in between there, where it's like not super high tier.
Yep.
I think kind of should be, depending on, but everyone's high tier depending on how you play them.
Right.
For sure.
Exactly.
It's all about what you can do with the character. So Man, we could just talk about Smash Bros. For
I'm
a
saying.
while. But
I've always wanted to perfect my Zero Suit because when I'm on.
I have wanted to too. Zero Suit's like a mixture of like Sonic and Sheik, kind of.
Yes.
Which is awesome.
Yes, exactly. And Tim's seen, like, you've seen me on and off with Zero Suit.
He can pull some amazing combos.
Because I have certain combos that when I can land them and I can get them in succession, it's like the most beautiful thing, and I feel like the best Smash player in the world.
Yep.
But then I have off games where I'm like, I can't land anything.
He keeps doing the
That's how I feel with
backflip.
Pac-Man
Yeah.
right now, because I'm still kind of new.
Yep.
And I have all these moves, but sometimes it's like, I can't even move. I'm getting hit. And other times I'm like, I'm in control.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
And then when you can't land something, like, do you ever, like, I'll get caught in a loop of, like, now I just want to land that one
oh my God.
attack.
I'm
and then
so relating to this. Like, that's
It's
my
just-
struggle
It's the
as a
worst.
Smash player. It's
It's the worst.
stubbornness about
Yes.
landing a
like,
move
I'm
that you
gonna
made
land
up your
it.
mind you were going to land.
Yeah.
That's how I die a lot of the time.
Right, me too. It's
And
total
I keep being
suicide.
like, I gotta stop doing this because I'll sit with Pac-Man. My brother Isaiah is like playing me with Jigglypuff, and I'm trying to learn how to beat Jigglypuff because that's a big, for both matchups, is a tough one. I do much better with Pac-Man. I want to be able to beat him with Little Mac because it would just be a challenge.
So Jigglypuff is made of sandwiches.
This is not in Babel.
Oh.
Yeah, good try, though.
Again, not to run your podcast.
So,
but this is not in Babel.
my bad.
I'm really coming down hard on the person who like helped start the podcast. Okay. Jigglypuff. I was just basically saying that with like Little Mac, my goal was to be able to win against Jigglypuff.
Yeah.
But what I kept doing, like you were just saying, what I
Yes.
kept, like you were just saying
Just
a second
now.
ago.
Yeah, just now a minute ago.
Inside baseball. Yeah. I'm part of the inside. Okay. So what I was what I was saying was that with Pac-Man, what I keep doing is it'd be knocked off to the edge.
Yeah.
And Jigglypuff's thing is float, kick you, float, kick you until you just
Oh,
off
yeah.
the stage.
annoying.
So
It's hardcore.
I'm mad just hearing you say, like,
and then
onomatopoeia
right.
it.
And then my stubbornness
Yeah.
is me. I want to charge a fruit because with most characters, Pac-Man has his fruit he charges up.
Yeah.
And then you throw them at people, and they all have different, very cool, nerdy, technical the traits.
Yep.
One angles down, one goes straight forward, one is slow, one is fast, etc. One freezes you. It's great. So I want to throw out a fruit because every other person can't get out fast and far enough to hit me. So I always do that. They always come for me, bam, and then I like block them, and I can get back on stage.
Ah.
I have the impulse every time to freaking like charge a fruit. So like
Yeah.
do and pick the right fruit and throw it. And no matter how fast I do it, Jigglypuff always comes over, then boom, red lightning, bzz, I'm off the stage. And like I get so pissed at myself because, and I can feel you being pissed in solidarity.
I hate Jigglypuff.
Yeah. So
I like
when you
Jigglypuff.
play Isaiah, he is like the best Jigglypuff I've ever seen. He's an incredible DDD and incredible Jigglypuff.
You
which is
play
very
DDD.
infuriating.
Oh, DD. No, I don't play DD.
I know, right?
What?
What are you talking about?
What are you
Like,
talking about,
what the heck?
Tim? Of
No,
course you don't play.
my second would be Ness. I love
Nice.
playing
Oh,
Ness.
Nice.
yeah.
But like, so anyway, like I have to stop being stubborn.
Dress like Ness right now.
Okay.
Can you please say PK Starstorm?
PK freeze.
Okay. Yeah. So good times. So the frustration is with him and with myself and with Jigglypuff in general, but with myself being like,
Jigglypuff.
don't do it, Andrew. Like throw out a forward air, throw out anything other, or like just like dodge, air dodge.
Right.
But I just sit there like I'm gonna do this again because it'll work.
You have to hit him. You just
It's
have
like
to.
it's
do
like dealing with like crippling addiction. It's the same
Right.
because it's like
Yep.
you always think that the outcome's gonna be different every time. That's the definition of insanity, my friend.
Yep.
Is expecting a different outcome when you do the same thing over and over.
Yep.
And I'm insane I'm an insane Smash player.
But then when it actually happens, does it defeat the idea of insanity?
Stupid questions, and my stupid answer
'Cause
is
you're expecting a different result. What if you get that result?
So you're not crazy anymore? You're
yeah, you're not crazy. That's like in every movie with the person like you think they might be going insane,
Yeah.
and they're like, "I'm not insane, I promise." And then you always are hoping for that moment where we're worried about one thing, and then you're like, "It's okay." And then in the part, usually in those movies, it's all a conspiracy, and then you're like, "It's all good."
He wasn't
You were
crazy at
pretty
all.
irrational and erratic and like really like
Whoa.
dangerous, but you're fine because It was a conspiracy.
So then, are you insane for expecting that that's going to be the outcome?
You're asking if I'm insane?
Because you're doing the.
Oh, just.
I used the word onomatopoeia wrong earlier. It's bugging me.
Wait, didn't I go? Boom, boom.
No, you went float, float, kick.
Oh.
But I'm glad we cleared that up.
Wait, what's the word for that again? Float, float, kick?
I think
Isn't that well? I was using it like onomatopoeia.
onomatopoeia is the sound representing, or a word representing a sound, right?
And
like
by
buzz?
when I said float, float, kick though, it was kind of in that way. I was like float, float, kick.
Right.
Like it was the way I did it. It sounded like onomatopoeia.
So what is just making noise? Are those onomatopoeias?
No.
That's just making noises.
That's just called sounds.
Right.
But
Aha!
We've come to the bottom of this.
Right. Onomatopoeia.
I'm an anemone.
I see anemone. What?
Big fan. Yeah, me too. We're all big fans now. Wow. So glad you guys are fans of your own podcast.
Big fan.
Yeah.
I'm also a big
Gotta
fan.
be a fan of yourself if you're gonna be a fan.
That's true, man. First, be a fan of yourself, then be a fan of others. Self-respect. The more you know. Finger guns.
You heard it here
Sign
from
of
Snaps.
a sure sign of self-respect. Finger guns. You gotta love yourself if you're gonna throw those out all the time.
You gotta.
And we do. Yeah. So Smash Bros is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely want you guys to come to one of these Smash Bros tournaments to do. But if nothing else, we just gotta play Smash Bros.
Who are you gonna play as at the tournament?
My goal is to do straight pack and to throw in Mac only if I'm in a matchup where it just doesn't make sense to do Pac-Man.
Okay.
But Pac-Man has a lot better matchups in general against like general fighters than Little Mac. Little Mac, I win a lot on just people not knowing how to deal with a good Little Mac player who doesn't side B off the edge immediately. And like I have actual combos, which it's hard to do with Little Mac because a lot of them have either nerfed or just non-existent because he has no good air combos, anything. But like I do stuff like grab, down throw to up B, stuff like that where it's like guaranteed combos. And so like I love that, but I have been just like with Little Mac, I focused so much on him that I kind of lost my core and my Bayonetta and my Sonic for a while.
Yeah.
I want to get him back eventually, but my goal this month was just focus on Pac-Man.
Yeah.
And I actually I pulled him out and pretty much played him most of the time. I played a couple Little Mac rounds in the last tournament this past month. But my Little Mac really wasn't up to snuff. My Pac-Man wasn't, so I didn't do that great. I had gotten third place last time, which was the highest I'd placed.
Yeah.
And then I went back to like fifth, which was okay. I tied for fifth. But it's like, I'm hoping that with 2 months of Pac-Man, I'll be like good to go.
Clutch.
Ace.
Yeah. But
Who are you
then
gonna
my
play
goal after that is to just like start to work in the old characters again because I miss them. I miss being able to do these like 10-minute combos with Bayonetta.
Yeah.
And like annoying people with springs as Sonic is always nice. Don't you
Springs are
love just
great.
running up and then dropping a spring
That's the
right
best.
or like spin dashing and then spring and then just like ugh. Or
glorious.
like stage spiking with a spring. Ugh.
I mean, you know what else I love about Sonic? It's his music.
Sonic music!
Yes!
Together we can show the world what we can do. You are next to me and I'm next to you. Pushing on through until the battle's won. No one's gonna give something to us. Into each other we put our trust. Standing united after the fight. All alone we will never be. The two of us are holding the key. We see today a world we couldn't see. Before I say goodbye to you, one more last fist bump.
Somehow I didn't even expect that because we hadn't got to Sonic Forces yet.
That's the thing. I had to wait for the time, and it came. It came like thunder.
It sure did. And like thunder, it shook the heavens.
It sure
was
did.
beautiful.
I mean, look at Brett. He's.
I'm going to watch the Vodcast, Tim.
Thanks. I
to
appreciate
to
that.
get that sweet, sweet Sonic music in my life. Because I can't just use Spotify.
Yeah.
But
Well
no,
done.
it's not the same.
Well done.
You gotta experience it
you gotta
within the
get it
video
in.
podcast.
Right.
Right.
It's special.
Right.
Thanks for that, Tim.
You're welcome.
That meant a lot.
That was a good one.
I knew you'd be looking for it.
And you're off the hook for having included in this episode because it is not 75 yet.
You still got
Two
2
more.
episodes to do.
Only one actually.
Yeah,
true.
after this
24,
of being off the hook.
Sure.
Yeah.
Being off the hook, then I'm on the hook.
This was
Enjoy
your
your
idea,
free
not mine,
ride.
my friend. Your
Yeah.
idea, not mine.
Yeah.
Just Sonic music, not everything else.
No, sure, just Sonic.
Just Sonic.
fine.
Yes. Yes. All right.
It's pretty good. Maybe I should put it in this one.
You good?
Who are you gonna
I
play
would
as?
not be sad.
I would play as I think Samus. I mean, I'm good with her, Little Mac, Ness, and Mario. Those are
Oh, you play Little Mac too?
Yeah.
Nice. In a tournament, you mean? You'd play Samus probably mostly?
Yeah, probably. I know the last one we did, I did pretty good. I think did I get second place or something?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it was second place.
but it was Smash Bros that screwed me over at the end because I was fighting.
His name's Matt.
Matt?
That he runs the tournament.
Uh-huh.
And you guys gotta come to this tournament. It's so fun. But we've done like 12 of them now, and it's really cool because people join in all the time. Like there are people who come for like 1 or 2 tournaments, and there are people like me and my brothers and Matt and some other people who've been playing for the whole year. And it's when you have a community of people who are playing Smash Bros, it's that much more motivating to like work on the characters.
Yeah, plus you guys learn each other's like moves and tactics, so then you know how to.
It elevates the competition. I'm gonna get you guys in there.
That sounds awesome.
I like being a wild card, like going in and like.
Yeah, that's fun too. Someone comes in for the first time and is like, no one knows how to fight them, what the matchup is like.
We gotta practice.
Yeah.
All right, we're doing this.
All right.
We're fighting either way, but hopefully you guys can make it to the tournament.
That would be sweet.
And we have them every month, so it's like even if you can't make one,
Right.
we have people who do it every couple because it's just what they can schedule-wise do.
Do you normally do it on Saturdays?
Oh, we do it on Saturdays generally. We only sometimes do Sundays if no one can do this a Saturday that month or whatever. Like, so
Sweet.
Saturdays you guys might be free or not.
Yeah, maybe.
Saturdays are tough for me because I work at a restaurant, so.
Do you work like all day Saturday?
Yeah, well, I work nights, so 4 to close.
It would be around 4 or 5. So
Yeah.
But
Sundays, I'm always
sometimes we do Sundays, and maybe one time you'll be able to make it, maybe you, maybe both of you eventually. But I'll let you guys know when each one is happening.
That was a really funny moment of the podcast where you were just giving out your schedule for work.
I'm glad everyone knows.
like it.
It's great.
Let's schedule talk. All right.
Yep.
What else you got?
Do schedules.
Oh, there's a game that came out.
Nice.
That'll be at the end of the sound clip.
yeah.
Nice. Oh, let's not make that a part of the schedules.
Schedules. Well, this week I'm working.
Tuesday,
It's
Wednesday,
the most boring
Thursday.
part. Everyone skips that part of the podcast. We're just
It's
like, well, I'm 3 to 10, and Tuesday I don't have to work as late.
Right.
But Friday I might be called in, so
We'll see.
this has been schedules.
Got an hour lunch yesterday, so that was
Hey,
fun.
that's
Oh, we can talk about it's
Cool.
unusual schedule
Right.
anomalies. Yeah, good stuff.
Went to Arby's. It was expensive.
You have a
So-
game, Tim.
Yeah, I do have a game.
Oh, a game.
What is it?
What game could it be?
My back is killing me right now.
Sonic Forces.
Sonic music. We already did
Yeah,
that.
it already happened.
I'm content with it.
So the reason why I say it
In that voice.
is because it's very, very, very middle of the road.
What?
That is a really good description of it.
That's all it can be. Is
I'm looking up screenshots.
It looks nice.
I like
It
visuals.
does look nice.
It's so sad how it's not even like a failure, so they almost made it,
Yep.
but it is not what we were hoping it could be, a turnaround for Sonic games.
Not
A
even.
real planting the foot in the right direction.
Yep.
And it was so many. The way my brother, we've all talked about, my brother Christian is like somehow almost a bigger Sonic fan than me, which is tough. But we all compete in our house. But like Christian and I are the most. I have 3 other brothers, 3
Yeah.
brothers and 1 sister. So Christian is the biggest Sonic fan, and I'm up there with him. And so he described it as, unfortunately, while they got a lot of things right, they seem to be fixated on concept and like mechanics and concept as the measure of a good Sonic game and not just gameplay.
Right.
And so like the concepts are actually really ambitious and cool in the game, which makes it feel like adventure in these games that us crazy Sonic nerds. So what Sonic games have you played? I feel like you're compared to Tim, you're not a Sonic fan, but you are a Sonic fan.
Yeah. I mean,
What
I
do you play?
played.
I probably played Sonic
Sonic
1 and 2.
I played
Sonic
all the
2
way
and
up through
Knuckles? 3
Sonic and Knuckles as they were coming out.
Okay.
Those games, I played them.
Dope.
Sonic, Sega Genesis
Then you're a
with
Sonic fan.
Sonic was like the first, one of the first consoles I
Same here.
like I remember getting it for Christmas and being like,
Yeah.
what? So Sonic and Knuckles was my favorite growing up.
I love
because
that one.
The introduction of Knuckles was like a big deal.
Yep. Great game.
And yeah, and then I played I know I played Sonic Adventure.
Maybe didn't finish it. Or
I
did?
don't remember.
That's okay. A lot of people stop when you have to play as Big. Cat.
That's
Yeah.
tough.
Because you have to fish. And
I was
it's-
livid
tough.
playing it this time.
Couldn't beat it as a kid for years and years
Ah.
and years. I've learned to
I was
enjoy it.
livid.
Yeah.
It's like a fine wine.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean it's a
Sure it
terrible
is.
wine, but it's a fine terrible
Fine,
wine.
terrible wine.
It's
that is
aged, it's an
Big the Cat.
expensive.
All I think of
bad
when I
wine.
think of Big the Cat is being like two things. I think of a sigh, and I think of and like the beginning of the song, which is the silliest song in
It's
any
so
Sonic
good,
game.
though.
It's nice. It's nice.
it's a
There's
good
that
one.
music's all great,
Yeah.
but it's like every time I hear it, I'm like, and now I'm playing as Big.
Now I know where I am.
Now I'm
See
a
that?
stupid cat.
Oh,
Literally stupid cat.
Yeah,
He's literally what's the character's name from Mice and Men?
Lenny.
Yeah, he's literally Lenny
I can't
from
believe I
Mice
freaking
and
pulled
Men.
that one out of my
Good
head.
job.
Well
But just
done,
this
sir.
dumb guy, instead of like was it rabbits? I think in that he's in. I think that's what it is. Oh, the rabbit frog connection because of Princes and Princesses. I
Oh
made a
my
connection somehow
Goodness. It's there.
of Mice and Men and Big the Cat. Oh,
Yes.
we got to click. Yes. All right. So, and a finger gun snap.
Nice.
All right. Nice. So so yeah, Big the Cat.
Big the Cat is terrible.
He's there. Is he in this game? He's in Forces?
Nah.
No.
Oh.
But the thing
Thankfully.
about Sonic Forces is like it's ambitious.
Yeah.
And it has a scope that is what we've missed in a lot of Sonic games. They all seem to be focused more on being simplistic and silly for kids, and
Yeah.
and just sort
The
of like
power of friendship.
instead of the power of deep story, the power of like angst and all these cool 2000s-y things.
Yeah.
Mm.
Not there, and it
Yeah.
just like all bright and colorful and silly, and they just went more and more. I don't know how you feel. I grew up playing it. I really like Sonic Heroes personally.
Yeah, that one's
some
pretty
people
fun.
don't like it
Mhm.
at all.
I can't play it now, but
Some
as a
people say
kid,
it's
I
the
really
turning
loved it.
point. I'm gonna replay it at some point. Maybe I
Mhm.
won't like it as much,
Yeah.
but I've always liked it a lot. And that's like a turning point where it started to get more. People have commented that that's where they started like voiceover of characters being like, "Sonic, go this way,"
Yeah.
like basically like do a barrel roll, Sonic,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
which is
There's-
great and adorable in Star Fox, but it's like kind of overly silly.
Yeah, and that's-
loses all emotional impact.
And they changed all the voice actors too.
Yep,
like
yep. That was also a turning point.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So-
hard when that
Which is tough, and I like Eggman.
Yep.
Otherwise, I can go either way. Kind of like I don't like the new Sonic Boom Sonic at all. That's just me
No way.
personally. Ugh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tails just has
Tails-
gotten dorkier and dorkier.
He gets
Ugh.
worse.
So anyway, Knuckles is okay in the new Sonic Forces. I feel like
It's okay.
decent,
Yeah.
not great, but concept is
Mhm.
huge in this game.
Yes.
All these new mechanics, they've like shoehorned in every mechanic from every game.
Yep.
Like, oh wow, you can get these like stupid like little blue creatures in one game, and you can, what wisps. or
Yeah,
whatever.
wisps.
You can get. Why are they in the game? Who
'Cause
knows?
They've been adding them
You
in
can
the
get
games
wisps.
for so
You can
long.
get rings.
They're
you can
terrible,
get.
too.
They
I
just
don't
have
know what a wisp
every
is.
possible. You don't want to know.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
I'll
every
stay out of
every possible like random idea they tried in an old game, they're like more is better, and they just shove it in for no reason. And the game doesn't feel like Sonic Adventure, Sonic Adventure 2, which are not perfect games. I love them.
Yeah.
But they managed to, with what they had at the time, execute gameplay that was super fun, levels that were super fun, and story that was super cool.
Yep.
And these games, it's like they almost have all those things, but they don't
Almost.
have any of them.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it feels like it's almost there, but they're so
You just
far
see it
off.
so far that you go
Yeah.
like, crap, it almost was a great Sonic game.
Yep.
Except their direction was way off.
Way off.
Like,
Bummer.
Like one
Yeah.
of the biggest drawing points of this is all the villains, like all the
Mhm.
villains you've loved throughout the series, and it's like, oh, you're gonna fight them all. There's gonna be these awesome battles, and you're gonna go through levels that involve them and stuff.
And it's
Like,
Yeah.
you fight one of them, maybe two,
for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
like-
and that's the other thing. The levels are so short.
That was my biggest complaint, like, in terms of, like, okay, overall, it's middle of the road. I don't get these things that we've never got since then. Like,
Yep.
we're like, this is just one of those things as, like, a hardcore, like, from a Sonic Adventure fan. Like, I love the original side-scrolling games and even some of the newer side-scrolling
Yep.
games. But, like, there's something about that Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2 story and even some of the other smaller games that came along during that time.
Yep.
I love Sonic Battle. That's a really small, or Sonic Rush is great.
Yep, Sonic Advance. All
Yeah,
those
Sonic
were
Advance,
awesome.
love those. But like, there's something about the feel and of the complete commitment, and it's kind of like overblown in a great way because they actually deliver. They make it work.
Yep.
And these games, it feels like they played it safe with everything that mattered, with the gameplay, with the levels design and the character treatment, and they went all big in this flashy way.
Yep.
That's why when we watch the trailer, I'm like, I don't want to get my hopes up, but it's like, looks like the first epic Sonic game in a long time.
Yep.
And then, I don't know about you, but I started to get a little nervous as, like, Sonic Mania was awesome, but then you start seeing more level stuff from Sonic Forces, and you're like, this looks a little bright and goofy, doesn't all seem to connect.
Yeah, because the environment
tones seem to not match.
Yeah, and as it was so tough because it was under the shadow of Sonic Mania. Like, it had to be the best Sonic game in
And Sonic
such a
Mania
long
is like
time.
the opposite kind of Sonic
Right.
game, and it nails it.
It's amazing. It perfects.
It nails that type
classic
of Sonic game, and you love it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get this game, which honestly, some of the levels were okay.
Yeah, there were a few cool concepts,
but they're like a minute long.
Yeah, and
they're not that
Weird.
replayable.
I know, and they force you to replay it because there are collectibles. There's these red rings you have to get now, and if you get all 5, then you unlock, I think it's the number rings. So then you have to find 5 number rings, and then you have to replay the level again and get silver moon rings, and then you finish the level. Then you get all the collectibles.
So you're just playing the same level over and over
Yeah,
again?
but you can't get all 3 collectibles in one play. Like, you have to get all the red rings to unlock the.
And that would be great.
I'm allergic to that concept.
And high concept, low substance, right?
Yeah.
And it would be great if like they were very replayable levels.
Yeah.
Like I've played some levels from like Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, like
Yeah.
the multiplayer levels, like a gazillion times. And even like recently, I was replaying Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, and I'm like, I go to this moment in a level, and I'm like, I've never jumped to this exact place.
Yeah.
Or I'll watch someone do a speed run and be like, I didn't know you could make it to this place.
Right, there was.
With these levels, it's so boxed in and so short and so one route.
Yeah.
That you're like, all the things that could have been great about this expansive looking game, it's super limited and plays it safe and like so limited, and it seemed like they put so much work into it.
Yep.
But I feel like Sonic team was really funneling the stuff towards their outsourced like Sonic Mania.
Yep.
And the team didn't really have enough ideas to
Yeah.
deliver on what could have been a main release Sonic game.
Yep, which could have.
But
had the
Sonic Mania
potential.
became the main Sonic
Yeah.
game,
Which, I mean,
makes no sense, but it's great.
I'm happy we had one at least. One of the 2 were good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Um,
hoping for both.
I know.
And it does
that's what we've
suck
been
that it's
wishing
so
for
middle of the
years.
road because it almost feels like it won't drive them a failure. It's not a full failure.
Right.
So it feels like it won't. You ever see like a director make a movie, like they used to make great movies, and you go, maybe they'll make one that just bombs. Or like
Yeah.
Transformers movies. I love the first Transformers. All the rest of them, I'm like, they make so much money that no one has any motivation to make a better film.
I know.
Right.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
they
That's
make
the
a
thing.
stupid amount of money.
Yeah.
With Sonic games, Sonic fans will get the game no matter what. No matter
Yep,
if it's garbage, if it's
yep.
the best game ever.
They just want to re-experience. It's like we're drug addicts, like searching for that high that'll never be as high.
Sonic Adventure, that's what everyone's looking
as-
for again.
Yeah.
They'll never be as high as Sonic Adventure. And even when you play Sonic Adventure again, you like see the flaws, but you go, this game like is still fun to play through.
Yep.
You play through one of these. If I feel like I go back and play Sonic Forces, I'm not gonna feel like, wow, there's so much still here.
Yep.
You know. To be fair, okay, so you've played through the whole thing.
Yep.
It's a short story.
Very quick.
But my brother has a Switch, Christian, who does not live with me. My other brother does live with me.
Yeah.
And so I haven't played the whole thing, but we almost played the whole thing just sitting down right after we got it.
Yeah.
Because it's so small.
Yep.
Wow.
And that's great in a fighting game where you want the longevity of playing a fighting game multiplayer
Sure.
over and over, and you can play online and you can play with friends and it never gets old. With this, it's like, what am I gonna do now?
Right.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
yeah.
It's
that
over.
money has kind of gone to waste. And I this is the stupid thing about being a Sonic fan. Like, kind of want to buy it
Right.
just to be like,
'Cause
find the moments in the levels that are
Yeah.
kind of fun.
Because
and
there are a few levels that I can play through like 4 or 5 times, and I'm like, this is still fun.
Yeah.
it's just not as good as even close to what it could be.
Yeah, yeah. And they tried to run off the high of Sonic Generations, which We'll talk about that in a second. So yes, I believe they're running off the high of Sonic Generations because they're like, there's a lot of gameplay elements from that they're like trying to implement. Like they brought back Classic Sonic for really no reason.
I know. I was like,
And he only has what 3 or 4 levels.
they
in the
made
game.
it seem like it would be like
Huge.
similar generations. Like,
Yeah, I
for
thought
the-
Generations too.
It's incredible. They're reunited.
Oh,
Sonic,
right.
like, but you'll get double the game.
Right.
Not half the game.
No.
Like
Mm.
a
No.
quarter of the game.
Yeah, seriously, he has like 4 levels. There's like 7 or 8 levels where you play, or maybe a few more where you play. You get to customize your own character in this.
Okay.
So you get to play as that character,
Which was neat.
It was neat. And they
It
have
is
this,
a gimmick, but it's neat.
yeah, it's a cool one. So there's some where you work with Sonic as that character,
Mhm.
and then there's some where you just play as Sonic.
They kept some mechanics were cool. They
Yes.
kept drop dash from Mania.
Yeah,
which is dope.
Which
Like,
was super cool.
they have some neat things, but
they're
it was
there,
all
but-
style over substance, and that's what sucks.
yeah.
Well, I want to make one quick point about Sonic Adventure
Mhm.
because I just recently replayed it, and to be fair, the story is
The best story ever.
the best story ever and way shorter than I remembered.
It's
And the
yeah.
world is way smaller than I remember as a kid.
Yes.
Which I didn't play it as a small kid last, but like I hadn't played it in a couple years,
Mhm.
and I was like, it's been too long, and I
Yeah.
played it again. But what makes it not matter is that the open world areas are fun to run around in.
Yep.
The levels are super replayable. On Adventure 2, the multiplayer is replayable. It doesn't matter if it's like the Sonic Adventure story. Hold on, audio. Yeah, so I think the moral of the story is, like, Sonic Adventure, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, those are so replayable that even if the story is, like, not the longest story in the world, it's
Yep.
still a long story, but, like, I was surprised at how fast I played it. I also knew it really well at that point. I played it a
Yes.
million times, so I literally was watching speedrunners and being like, maybe I could do this.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a game
'cause-
that I'm with you. I've played it so much that watching speedrunners, I'm like, oh, I could pull that off easy.
because it's like it's fun enough to redo that you wouldn't
Yes.
mind. Whereas
Yep.
this game, it's like you feel like you're speedrunning it even when you're playing it normally.
yeah, there's some
you
levels,
can't savor enough of it because there's
Yeah.
just not enough there.
There's some
Yeah.
levels where you press X and you beat it. Like it's a boost, like automatic, which X is boost in that game. But it's like just
Yeah.
an auto level. Like it beats it pretty fast.
What is the point of that? Just to
Not
watch
much.
them do cool stuff?
Stimulate
Making
your
money.
eyes, yeah.
Making some money with a Sonic game.
It's weird, like-
Hooray.
Making a product people will pay for.
I feel like
yeah.
you got to put those portions within a level, like even playing.
That's part of Sonic games, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like those are the moments that give you a break, maybe, and you're like, oh, cool. But then it's like you need to be in control again and actually
Yeah.
do something in
Not
the
the
level.
moment that is the whole thing, the whole level. You just, like
Right.
you said, hold X. It's like it's just not enough variety. There's just not enough to make you go, wow. You know?
Yeah.
A couple levels were okay. They're
Yep.
pretty cool. Sonic Generations, love it.
Yep.
My favorite modern Sonic game, besides Mania, which my favorite like 3D modern Sonic game. Oh, totally.
Yeah,
I'm gonna play it again soon after
Yeah.
Sonic Adventure 2 Battle and Heroes. I'm so psyched. But like, yeah, Sonic Forces, I agree. It is a huge disappointment because it's so middle of the road. It isn't a failure that makes them go, this is it. We have to go with Sonic Mania type stuff or with a different kind of 3D game. We can't just do it again.
Yep.
And they even Sega even said, like, our goal is to now not to try to recreate something like Sonic Adventure, but to keep making new things. It's not working, guys.
Yeah.
Make different new things, at least.
Consistently not working. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. If you're gonna make new things, literally that means for them make a different gimmick every game and
Yep.
not just make a good game.
Yeah.
Style over substance. It's like we want new mechanics, not like working hard on the story and the characters and the gameplay.
Yeah.
If only Nintendo owned Sonic. They do that stuff great.
They do.
Yeah, they do.
They
every
really
game,
do.
Man, if there was like a
Man, that's the solution.
That is.
Buy
That's it.
out Sega. I wouldn't have said it in the past, but right now it's what I want.
Right now.
it's what we
It's kind of like
need.
Disney buying like Marvel.
Yeah.
Or Star Wars. I wouldn't have said it a long time ago. I'd be like, that's a horrible idea. But now
Right.
I'm like, they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
let them do it.
Yes, they got
Right.
it.
They'll make the money and make the good stuff.
Right. Yeah. Right.
They'll hire the right people. Whereas Sonic's like, our team still has it. We can still
Hooray.
do
yeah.
it.
We're still scraping.
We're
by.
all old.
Yep. we
We don't know how to make a good game anymore. And we fired all the people who made the old
Yep.
games.
Oh.
Ugh.
Oh,
That's how.
such a
Let's
situation.
just end it on that. A
Yep.
collective.
Ugh. I'll just jump
Just
in.
remember
I'm
that
playing
fond Sonic music from earlier.
That's all we need.
It's all we can cling to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really
I
the
want to be
dream.
listening to Sonic music on the way home,
Yep.
like to feel better about myself. Play an old Sonic game. It's hard to be a Sonic fan.
Today,
I
anyways.
feel bad, guys.
It's okay.
Speaking of Sonic music,
uh-huh.
we could go to music.
Musical instruments.
Music stuff.
Go.
I meant like the category.
You
of
guys
music.
trying to say?
Let's go to music.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. Ooh, let's go to the music. Wait, that's the wrong one.
Wait a minute.
Just use that for
My
everyone.
bad.
What are you listening to?
I just enjoy that timing of that one.
I'm glad you like that one.
Yeah.
That was a total like I don't know.
Gotta throw something in there.
I was like, oh, let's try this, and then I did that.
It was fun.
That's what happened.
All right, welcome to music. What are we talking about?
Ooh.
Real quick, did you guys listen to that Kimbra song?
Yeah.
Yes.
3 times.
Thoughts?
I listened to it 3 times because the first time, I'll be brutally honest, I wasn't super into it.
That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And you were like, it's my jam. And I was like, why is it his jam? Listened to it a second time. Was
Yeah.
like, I think I see why it's his jam. Third time, I was like, song's just not hitting me. But it seems like one of those songs where it's just got to hit you
Sure.
because it's a vibe. It's not like
Yeah.
a incredibly deep song,
Sure.
even in terms of, well, I don't know about lyrically, maybe, but like, I didn't really pull anything deep out of it. But like, musically, it's not a massively deep song.
Yeah.
I think it's got to just hit you.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't hit me. I could see why you would like it. I want to hear more
Interesting.
about why you like it.
Sure.
Please
Yeah.
tell me, and
I
I'll
will.
listen to it even again on the way home because
Okay.
I want to like it, but I want to know what you like about it.
Sure.
I listened to it and I really liked it. It's
Cool.
Nice.
it's mostly my style because I love female artists. So
Yeah.
Fair enough.
it was right up my alley. I watched the music video too. Have
oh my
you?
gosh.
It's
Would that be fun? Would that add to it if I do that?
It's unbelievable. So I'm biased.
Mhm.
Kimbra is like one of my favorite artists on the planet.
Ah.
But go ahead
I
and
was
say what you were
curious
gonna
to
say.
listen to more.
I was just gonna
'cause I
say-
was-
I find that watching music videos with the music always makes it much better. At
That-
least for
yeah.
me, I need that visual like.
it does add a lot
stimulation.
to a
Yeah.
good video. Will
Yes.
add a lot
And
to
that-
a song.
That's the thing with this one. It's really cool because it's like it's really the same shot. It's like spiraling around her, but like her environment and her clothes and her movement all change like,
cool.
sporadically. Well,
Well, I would enjoy that. I think I
Yeah.
might watch. I
Yes.
might listen to it and watch it at the same time
Mhm.
to get a little more.
You
out of
should.
it.
Mhm.
She her videos are overtly artistic and
Yes.
like so
Oh wait, did we say the name of the song?
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
The name of the song is "Top of the World"
Right.
by Kimbra. So Kimbra is I don't even know how to describe her style. This track actually is very unique for her because
Okay.
the vocal stuff that she does in this, the like kind of pseudo rapping that she's doing,
Yeah.
that's I've never heard her do that before.
That was the most interesting part of it for me.
Yeah, so that's not that kind of
It's kind of different for her.
Yes, she doesn't do that a lot. She's an unbelievable vocalist. She's from New Zealand. She's put out 2 full-length records
Cool.
and 1 EP.
Mm-hmm.
Rachel and I had the pleasure of seeing her in New York a few years back.
Nice.
And she was unbelievable live. She does a lot of really cool stuff with like vocal loops live and stuff like that.
Cool.
So she has a new record coming out in January, and she's put out 2 songs. The first one was called Everybody Knows.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's called Everybody Knows.
Sure, it's not called Weird Top of the World, aka Bottom of the World.
Yeah.
Alternate
that-
track.
right? That might
The other side
The
of the record
the
there.
upside down.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh, Stranger Things.
I
Wow.
want to confirm that it's called
The weird side of the bed. What? No, the weird upside down.
The Weird Upside Down.
The we-
Everybody Knows,
Which
was
is the right
first
side up.
single. Right. That's what that is.
Fair enough. I'm really trying to make this a thing.
Tim's confused.
That's breaking me.
So the first single was called. The first single was.
I broke Tim.
Yeah, he's broken.
And Babel's gonna be great if he's broken. So
Oh man,
I'm all for it.
it's gonna be brutal.
Who are we?
Uh-oh.
First track was called
Too broken.
Everybody Knows. And this song, Top of the World, came out recently. I listened to it. She does so many interesting things vocally, like all the time.
Uh-huh.
And I was talking to Rachel the other day about how it blows my mind when she puts out a new single and she does something unique with her voice that I can't even nail down.
She's like
what I'm
always
listening
doing
to.
different things with her voice.
Yes. So
Cool.
her range is crazy, and a lot of her influences are just like anything from like gospel, old-timey jazz, hip-hop. She's like kind of all over the place.
Nice.
And on this track, that like weird chant that she does at the beginning
Yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
is like just the first time I heard it, I was like, "What is this?"
Yeah,
Like,
it was very
so-
hypnotic at first.
Uh-huh.
I was,
Right.
like,
And
mesmerized.
I wasn't
Now-
sure where it was going at that point in the song.
Right, yeah. And so the record's not out yet. So
Okay.
I tried to find lyrics, and that section I can't find lyrics to. I don't know if it's just like a chanting sound that she created, which wouldn't surprise me.
She's that kind of artist where she might just
yes.
go for that.
Yeah. But the rest of it lyrically, she's very like, I'm a huge fan of her writing because there's a lot of, I think she's speaking in this song from a certain perspective. You know, she says things like, I don't know, I'm speculating, but to me, I think it's a lot about fame and about like the facade of fame.
Okay.
And if you watch the video, it kind of gives off a certain vibe too. I don't know if you got that at all
This
from it.
totally seems like one of those songs where because of how I came at it,
Yeah.
for you, it was just up your alley and you just liked it.
Yeah.
For me, there was nothing offensive about it, nothing I didn't like.
Sure.
But I think like it didn't hit me, and I feel like it's one of those songs where you'll love it even more. Like it could be just like a hit single and people just hear it and they're like,
Sure.
yay, as like a simple song that
Right.
they like. But like I feel like if you're a big fan of her, then it would have more significance because of all the different things she does.
100%.
She's trying something different, whereas to me, some of the elements of it were very unique.
Right.
And some of them just felt very trendy and very like of the now.
Right.
So because I didn't know she did anything else, I felt like I don't know if I'd like this artist if this is all she does.
Right.
So that was and I thought this may not be fair, and I almost listened to more of her stuff, but I was just like, for now, I'm just gonna go with my gut reaction and share
Yeah,
it honestly. And
that's
then
cool.
like, cause that is my reaction to the song.
Yeah.
Which is not a negative.
Right.
It's not the sonic forces of songs. It's not that middle of the road.
Yeah.
But it's because I think I just was like, if all her songs sound the same, then I won't like it. And it some of the vibes, like even the drum beat in the beginning,
Yeah.
like boom, 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 reminds me of songs like "Lean On" by Major Lazer,
Uh-huh.
which I like, but they are like hits that I don't feel like are gonna stay around forever.
Right.
And they're and same with like certain Sia songs, which I really like Sia, but certain hit singles that like they're really big at the time, and I don't know if they're gonna last forever.
Yeah.
She's not the best example because I think some of her songs will last a long time, but other ones like there's just a certain vibe of
Sure.
now where there's certain like kind of Indian borrowed beats, and there's certain like vocal chant styles that a lot of like female led like pop groups do, and I like all of it, but it made it feel like kind of samey to me. And yet there was this element of it in the production of like how these little effects came in and out.
Yeah, that was a big part of it for me.
Yeah, that were really cool.
Like the swelling, like
Yeah.
synths and stuff
There's
like
even
that.
like one point where I don't know if it was a phaser or if it was auto-tune, but something like flitted in and out of her voice.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's cool.
Yeah.
And so like clearly I was like, it must just be like there must be more to her as an artist.
Totally.
But my impression, unfortunately, was that I was like, this sounds like just a song that kind of was like tapping into what's right now. And maybe with like which I liked the hip hop-ish type delivery. I liked the vibe. I called it a vibe because I feel like it's a song that there's all these little things, but there's also this overall, the chant aspect of it, the simplicity of the chorus, like
Yeah.
where it is supposed to be a song that you just feel and groove to, and it's not like a super, in some ways maybe you feel like, because you know the artist more like, and you have that context, maybe it does feel like in some ways a complex song in
Right.
terms of the little details, the little production moments, the things she's doing that she hasn't done before.
Yeah.
But to me, didn't have any of that, so at face value, I was like, it's okay.
Yeah.
That's how I felt.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting hearing that perspective because
Because it's opposite of your context, right?
Yeah, well, having the context, like the history with the artist, even hearing the lyrics, like where she says things like, feel like I made it, I feel like a god, like all these different things that are very different and like very strongly different from some of the lyrics that she's written in the past.
And I
So-
was just like, it's like Royals or something. Like I was like,
It sounds like that
none of
kind
those
of
songs.
thing, right?
I have a problem with these ones I'm mentioning.
No,
but,
for
like,
sure.
I just went, okay. It feels like it's just like, I don't know. Like it just, if that was all she wrote about, I wouldn't be interested. I
Right,
didn't know
and
if it was
she has
satirical
no
or if it
other
was
songs.
what,
Exactly.
You know?
Like I've never heard her write a song, and I know like all of her catalog.
right.
write a song with lyrics like that. So it immediately in me is like, oh, what is she writing about here? Because you know what I mean?
That I have
So-
that with other artists where I've shown someone a song and they go, and I go, are you taking it at face value? Like, I wouldn't even thought to do that. I realized
Right.
later they are. And why wouldn't you? Because you just
That's
hear
all
the
you
song
know
out
of
of the
them.
blue.
Right.
And I like you like it. I like that you like it, and I wish I could say I liked it more, but I think I just enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But not in a this song is awesome kind
Sure.
of way.
Yeah.
Like this song is nice, like other songs are nice.
Yeah.
Like some pop songs that I like that just they're okay.
Yeah.
But I have artists that I listen to where similarly I have this context that makes me actually read into the song different things that for me, I picked out a couple of lyrics here and there, but I didn't grab anything specific. But if it had been this artist who did all this other type of songwriting and then did that, I would
Yeah.
go, what's this really about?
Right. Yeah.
Not just, I assume it's just a very basic, simple song.
Right.
I would read more into it, and I do that with artists, and I kind of get bummed that like other people don't already have that context and
Sure.
hear the depth in it, and they think it's the most like face value kind of song.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I would definitely suggest listening to Vows. That's our first full length, and
Cool.
then The Golden Echo is right after that. And they're both so like insanely diverse.
I'm
There's,
into it. Yeah.
especially the second record has a lot of 80s influence.
Sick.
But still a lot of jazz, and she's amazing. So
I might just totally love it. Like I kind of feel like I might love it because, and I might actually maybe I won't, but it might actually make
Yeah.
me in the past, in the future, like it may not happen, but it could happen where then I go back to the other song and I love it more because now I love the artist.
I'd be curious to know. Yeah,
I would be curious
sure.
to know if it happens. It may happen.
And now you had us listen to an album
Yeah.
that I don't even understand.
This is the part I was the most excited about discussing because I
Yeah.
expected your faces to be kind of like this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I so
feel like your brains have been messed with.
is it Kirin J. Callinan?
I think you got it. It's a weird name. Callinan, maybe? Callinan?
I
think
kept
it's
looking at
Callinan.
it like I'm gonna say
I
it wrong.
continually
I couldn't
feel like I say it wrong
My
because it's a
brain-
confusing name.
My brain didn't wrap around it. I was like,
And-
I'll just listen to his music. I don't have to say his name.
Who cares
Yeah.
about his name?
Kirin J. Callinan.
Callinan, which you expected to be Callahan or something.
Mhm.
But this is again where something like this is actually something similar where knowing the context of the artist makes you think things about him. Knowing what I know about him, I'm even like, even him choosing to use his full name
Yeah.
speaks to who he is because he just like seems to embrace the awkward and doesn't quite work but make it work really well.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I even feel about his name. Like his is a hard to remember name, but because it's so hard to remember correctly,
Yeah.
you'll remember him.
Mhm.
Right.
And I feel like that's just who he is. He does weird stuff that whether or not you love all of it, or even if you like it but you don't know why and it makes you feel weird,
Mhm.
you will remember him.
Yes, and I definitely will with the songs
Yeah.
I heard. They're so out there. They're good, and they have this like 80s synth.
Yes, this big 80s power ballad
Yeah.
feel, and yet they don't quite land in any one thing where you can go, he's clearly going this way with it.
Right,
Yeah.
because the songs
It's
are
very
so.
strange.
I feel like you
drastically
have
different,
been the
too.
most just like mind wrecked by this. So tell me
Well-
what you're confused about, and it's probably I won't have an answer, but I want to hear it.
So what's interesting about it is like from the beginning of the album, it's
Mhm.
like his vocals are so overbearing, and the production on the whole album is super huge. So it's
Mhm.
like a very
super hard hitting.
yeah. So it's like a really seriously well produced record, and this particular album is called Bravado, right?
Yes.
And
Oh, it's a good song.
the whole
I like that
thing,
one.
the whole thing that's weird to me is like it never lands on like, is this a joke or
Mhm.
is he just seriously so unique that like it's hard to even
Is he being
comprehend?
totally vulnerable or totally ironic?
right? And
or a
some
mixture of both.
right, and sometimes lyrically it's like, okay, this is obviously a joke, but then it'll be like,
Mhm.
actually that sounds like super deep, and his whole delivery is borderline comedic because it's so weird.
Over the top.
Yeah.
And yet, when he lands in some of those pockets where he says a line that feels deep, you feel like shook by it. And you're like,
Right.
why am I? Because I also felt ridiculous
Right,
earlier.
Yeah.
like not that long ago,
That's
and
why I love. I'm so glad we're talking about this. 'Cause
I
it's
will-
such a discussion. Thing.
Yeah, it really is. And I'll also add, like, from a songwriting perspective, there are a couple, like, timing things with his vocal patterns that are you can't like deny the musicality of it because it's like, okay, you don't do that by accident.
You know,
what I mean?
you know, like this guy's gotta know music.
Yeah.
And yet some songs you're like, this is the most like one of the ones that I don't know how I feel about still
Yeah.
is I think it's called Live Each Day. The one that's like live each day like it is your last.
Yes.
And that song, like, it is the most like schmaltzy, like in the
Yeah.
middle of this album,
Right.
the most like, and I love the line where he's like, he had a sandwich. Oh, he loved that sandwich. Like,
yeah, like what
that's
is that
the most
line?
like stupid comedy
love
line.
that sandwich?
And then like, and in that chorus, did you notice the lyric that's like, live each day like it's trot off the urge to systematically kill.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
that-
yeah,
like
I
that's
was
a
listening
joke.
for that line again throughout the song because it's during a chorus point. So I was
That's
like, is that
yeah.
that's the like a joke, and yet like I feel like that's one of the songs. There's a couple songs where the joke part of it is really clear,
Yeah.
and what I like about that song, sometimes I'm like, this is just kind of lame. And then there's like moments like the musicality of like that chord that comes in and the timing of like it is your last,
Yeah.
like is unusual and clearly intentional and interesting,
Right.
and
Mm-hmm.
subverts the otherwise super boring, predictable poppy song that's like everything's
Right.
great. And that song is an example of where I think one of the things I like about him, and similarly with some of his like super over the top 80s type songs, which I actually love songs like that.
Yeah.
Unashamedly. Like I love like it's from the Guardian soundtrack, so people do like it, but like 10cc, what is it? I haven't listened to it in a while. Crap. I'm blanking. That super airy song at the beginning, where like
I know.
he's yawn.
Guardians
It's fine.
2?
All right, we're good.
Guardians
Sorry.
1, where it's the beginning and he's going into the hospital with his mom, and it's that like,
I'm not sure I remember that one.
I'm not in love by 10cc. I'm not in love,
Okay.
so don't forget it. That's in. I like songs like that, which
Yeah.
are like that's 70s, but it's like super over the top, kind of schmaltzy, but it's so epic they pull it off. Or I like 80s power ballads, like I Can't Fight This Feeling kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I dig that stuff, and I don't feel like I like it ironically. I feel like I'm aware of the fact that it's kind of like some people feel like it's cheesy or it's over the top.
Yeah.
But I like it. And I think what I like about him is he manages to make music that's like really well made and do styles of songs that you might be like, well, this is too much.
Yeah.
But love it because it's riding this line between like really good and really weird and really goofy.
Yeah.
And like that's one of those songs where I'm like, I wouldn't necessarily listen to that kind of song if it wasn't him.
Yeah.
And there's a couple songs in the album like that, and there's a couple that I'm like, I would because it's just good.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to hear you guys' thoughts. I have plenty of thoughts, but like,
I did enjoy all of it. Like I only listened to 4 songs because that's
okay,
all.
which ones did you hear? Did
It
you
was,
hear SAD,
yes.
Song About Drugs? Okay.
Yes,
That's one of my favorites personally.
that one was really good. I see. I'm not.
And you're big enough.
Yes. Yep. Big enough. And then the other one was I can't think of any of the names because I'm terrible with them. But
Down to Hang.
Bravado.
Bravado.
Did
and
you
then
hear Down to Hang?
I didn't hear that one.
Oh man, that one's a trip.
Down to Hang and Family Home. were
I
my
assumed Down to Hang was what you were saying at 3 a.m. I'm tripping out on this song. I imagine you being overwhelmed by that song.
Yeah.
favorite. It's, fair.
Yeah. And it was the other one. Live Your Life. Like.
Yeah.
So those
Live
were the
Each
4
Day.
I listened to. And they were like so different from each other. Like.
Yeah, I
like
highly
they s-
recommend you listen to Family Home.
Mhm.
That one like gets me. Like that one, that's one of the one where I feel like, do you feel like some parts in it feel like over the top, like
Yeah.
what the heck, and some feel like this is actually deep. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that one-
That's the one that I listened to multiple times.
me
I
too.
was
I
like,
listen to that one a lot.
what just happened
What's
here?
happening in this
Yeah.
song? Because sometimes he's singing like in the song he sings. I mean, you should totally listen to that one, and the whole album is great and a trip. Like
Yeah.
Down to Hang is nuts, and I want to talk about what you think. That's all. That's a.
It's just like all the metaphors, like,
Yeah,
and it's funny,
compounding,
and it's
and
like,
yet it's like almost disturbing.
Yeah.
an uncomfortable feeling.
Yeah.
and yet entertaining.
I'm trying to remember. There's one line in particular where he
There's
says,
a lot of lines.
he says something, and then political career.
Oh yeah, like
uh,
oh crap. I wish I had my phone. I'd pull up lyrics, but like Something.
I'll look it up.
Look it up, 'cause-
there's a particular
And I'm gonna say
line.
the Family Home song. It is this like subtle in some moments where like there's these background vocals that are like these super layered background vocals coming
Right.
in. There's this the soundscape just draws you in, and he's singing. But sometimes the way he sings, just because of his delivery, like sometimes it feels silly because like he sings like in the family home, and then he's like ice cream cone, and
Yeah,
you're like,
I-
you're like
it's just
what?
like-
And then a second later, he goes like, you know, sharing a bed with my girl's best friend, and he's like, it's funny now, but it wasn't then, and you feel like you're being taken back to this weird family dynamic and friend
Right.
dynamic, and like when he sings like plasma screen, I get emotional because for some reason he's setting the stage of this family home.
Yeah.
And he barely, what's so powerful about his music is sometimes in some of these songs, he barely says anything that makes coherent sense, like a full thought,
Yeah.
but you get all this layer that could be behind it. And the ambiguousness of it makes you go, what is there to this that makes me feel this way? Like, and then other songs like Down to Hang, which we're talking about over here, you got to listen to that one. That one is crazy. But that one is one where I also feel like it's more of a clear joke because it has a concept of just being like, this girl is down to hang, and then the whole song is these metaphors of how
Every single
things
one.
that hang.
Like
And-
this one, punching bags beat in a gym, she's down to hang. Like puppets on a puppet string, she's down to hang. A chandelier, a political career,
There you go.
she's down to
Oh
hang.
my God.
Fresh load of whites on the washing line, she's down to hang.
And
And
then
then
the meat hooks one.
the next, so the coat on the back of a rack, she's down to hang. Like Malibu in the 60s, she's down to hang. Peking ducks at the Chinese buffet,
That one,
she's
yeah.
down to
I
hang.
love that.
Like a greenhouse full of fern, she's down to hang. So,
Jeez.
and that's 2 out of like 8 verses.
Yeah. But the most disturbing, uncomfortable part is when he says, what's the meat hook line that goes into, where is it? Wait, can I see? I feel
Yeah.
like it's a little earlier. He says, oh man, that's right. That part's weird too. Oh yeah. So this verse is the most like it says a disco ball in a dancing hall, she's down to hang. A carcass in the butcher's fridge, she is down to hang.
Oh.
An asphyxiated man with a belt in a van, his dick in his hand, she's down to hang. Like Jesus, she's down to hang.
Wow.
So it's
Which is like
Holy.
ah.
That
By
one
that
come out
point
of
in the
nowhere,
song,
too?
I just
pretty much
not
yeah.
only by that point in the song is it musically like overwhelming because the music is like crashing in on itself.
Yeah.
Like there's this digital artifacts that are hanging in and this static and these chords that are like brr, and then you're just like whoa, and then it goes back to goofy and you're like ah
Yeah.
like,
What the heck?
It's really, it's like,
it's a trip. It messes with your brain
yeah.
and your what to feel.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the most arresting song I feel like in that way. There's a couple that I just love. Song About Drugs I love because that song I feel like it's what has some of the most like overblown moments where like he sings stuff like the way he does it. It actually feels like Flight of the Conchords doing that song that's like people on the street, like they do this
Oh,
like
yeah.
there's problems in the world today, like they
Yeah.
do, it feels like that kind of joke on
It
like
does.
the 80s,
yeah,
like
totally.
you know, but also like I'm like listening to, if you listen close to those lyrics, can I pull up lyrics actually?
Oh, yeah,
my
go
phone
ahead.
is still way over there.
Oh, it's alright.
Thanks. All right, so if I go, let's see, yeah, lyrics for, I'll just do song. It's SAD actually, SAD lyrics.
That's Oscar.
Oscar the cat. Okay, Kirin. There we go. I had to put his name in there too. There's a lot of songs that say sad. There we go. So, like, I love the thing of production and how those chords hit midway through that song when he goes, just another song about boom, and like the chord hits, and if I recommend cranking it in a car.
Yeah.
Because
that's
I
how
have listened to that
it.
multiple times that way, and it's like
Yeah.
so good. But like, if you just don't think about his delivery, which has this kind of awkward, sometimes it's really good, and sometimes he's clearly just like purposefully like kind of going silly with it.
Yeah.
And you're like, but you're always like, how much is intentional?
Yeah.
How much is not?
It's
How
so
much is it his
strange.
style and just him embracing who he is, and how much is it? And from what I hear of fans, people who've seen his live shows, people who've interviewed him, they're like, he 100% is authentic and 100% is ironic. Like
So
he
weird.
100% knows that it's not cool to be this 80s type thing, to wear no shirt underneath the jacket and to like he like in the videos he's all like, yeah, like
In front
he
of the
doesn't
ocean,
know.
like-
He knows
Yeah.
he's not a sex symbol.
Yeah.
He knows he's not the coolest guy in the world, but from what people say, they're like, but he embraces who he is and he does not care at all. Like
Yeah.
he loves who he is and that's who he's gonna be.
Yep.
So it's like not in a way if he's playing a character completely.
Yeah.
I think he leans into it, but I don't know if he completely is playing a character. More, he doesn't care that it's out of style and is gonna make it work
Yeah.
with who he is, and is self-aware enough to make jokes on the album.
Right. Right.
So like the lyrics, if you don't take away that persona and you just read them, they're pretty deep. Like he goes, but it's always on the edge of seeming like a cheesy song.
Right.
Sweet dreams and high hopes, black sleep and no hope, deep breaths don't choke, mom's got your hand, understand every man's someone's son. I didn't know he says I love you mom early in the song, because at the end he's like I love you mom, and it just cracks me up.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He
that's
goes like
right. I know.
just another song about drugs, and then he goes I love you mom.
Yeah.
It cracks me up. But he says get a lung full of dope smoke, now you're laughing at my joke, laugh louder at my sick joke, we're getting deep again, life begins at 1 a.m. So nobody's gonna leave tonight till dreams come true, just in this song about drugs. And like there's one other part, wrapped up in plastic, thrown down the stairs, feeling fantastic. Strip me down to my underwear, because I'm that kind of guy. My higher self-aware, aware enough to know my choices are my own. But I can't breathe again. I can't trust my friends. I might even die. Now my second one is coming on strong. I think I might be high. Like that's pretty like
Yeah.
real
Yeah.
life.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
yeah.
like real life. From what I hear, again, from people reviewing it who like know more about it, like
Right.
where he is, which I think it's Australia. The drug scene is very much like he describes, where it's I mean, it seems like universally relatable to people who know people who are like in a drug scene, but like he says, like it's a very like depressing scene where a
Yeah.
lot of people are just strung out all the time,
Right.
doing all different kinds of drugs, and it's very empty. But it's very much a lifestyle there for a lot of people. More so normalized maybe than like in the States.
Right.
And so that's interesting to me, because as I'm reading it, I'm like, that one I connect to a lot, and yet it's one of the, again, most overblown songs on the album.
Right.
But I just think it's a dope anthem. Like
Yeah.
at the same time as it being like the moments where he sings like the wrapped up in plastic,
Yeah.
run down the stairs.
Right.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
feeling fantastic. I'm just like, what? But then you listen, you're like, wow, that's deep. So
Right.
that's why I love it, and that's why I'm like, I will gush about it to someone and go, but I don't know how to explain why I love it.
No,
Yeah.
I
it's-
just have to be like, listen and come to your own conclusions.
Right, exactly. It's one of those
Like,
that you just gotta
you-
take with a grain of salt.
Yeah,
that
you
just-
may, and I feel like for almost anyone who listens to it, some parts they may like more than others. Some parts they may go, I don't know if I like this one, but I
Right.
know I like this one.
Right.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
that's I think how that album is.
Yeah.
And I haven't yet listened through his other album, Embracism, which I've maybe heard one song.
Yeah.
I hear it's great, but I hear this one was his real like fully being himself in that crazy way.
Yeah.
And I don't know yet how much of the rest of the album is that much, you know,
Right.
like that. You gotta find some sponsors.
Well, after this 3-hour one, they're gonna be looking.
This is prime real estate. There's a lot of room for ads here.
I know we got space. No, I'm super stoked that you had us listen to that album, because
I'm glad I did too. I was questioning it, but then I went, even if they don't like it, it is such a thought-provoking,
It is.
discussion-provoking
Just
thing.
strange all over.
Gotta talk about it.
well, and like it puts me into, now this is with any with any form of like media, like as like the three of us dudes here who consume things.
We do.
What
Also
blows my
media
mind
sometimes.
also
Yeah.
sometimes there's like so much music out there, so many genres, so
Yep.
many different kinds of
Yep.
things that I've never even tapped into, you know what I mean? Like my brain knows what it knows and knows the genres that it's heard, but is also well aware that there are things out there that I am just not familiar with.
Yeah.
And this falls under the category of something I've never experienced.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when I get to hear something like that, like I would have never found that if you hadn't
Sure.
suggested it.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think I'd ever stumble upon that.
I don't know how I
Right.
stumbled. Oh, it was the meme. It was that the song
the-
Big Enough.
Yeah.
I just heard or saw this guy screaming
And
from
you're
the
like,
clouds,
what?
and I'm like,
Yeah.
I gotta watch the whole video.
Yeah, like what
Just
what
see
is
it.
that?
And then I listened to the whole album.
Yeah, and now like I don't know, it's just something different. And one of my favorite things about streaming services, like go to the artists like what's under that? I don't even
God.
know. You know what I mean?
I haven't done that yet with him.
Me neither. I'm just thinking about it
we
now.
gotta
Like,
do that.
what's gonna be under there? But that just blows my mind. It's with anything. It's with
Mhm.
literature. It's with video games. Like there are
Yeah.
subcultures of games and like different, especially nowadays, where
Even
every
like
creator.
movies where like
Yeah.
you
Oh, yeah,
one
absolutely.
movie you find it by accident and you're
Yeah.
like, wow, this director does all this crazy stuff
Exactly.
and there's this fandom and
Yeah, even looking
What?
through like the Criterion collection, the things that are like, oh,
Oh.
this came from this corner of Europe, 80 years ago,
Yep.
and
you realize how
you
much
know, it's-
media you are oblivious to. and
you
how
have
much
no
of
idea it
culture
existed.
you
Yeah,
are not
culture,
involved
creativity,
in.
like all the things that people have created that you have
Yeah.
no idea about. And
so much.
like you said, if nothing else, listening to something like this, you might not be like, oh, I love this record.
It
but
opens up your world a
But
little bit.
I would say you got to get through the whole thing too. Like listening to the
Yeah.
whole album, by the end of it, I was like,
A journey.
I need to revisit a couple of those tracks.
Yeah.
A couple
And
I may
I
be
have-
done with.
I
but
have was Down to Hang one of the ones you were done with.
I actually really liked Down. Sonically,
Nice.
I was like, that one captured me because
Yeah.
the
Sonic.
first
it
few,
builds.
the first few songs
Sonic music.
feel like a mess. Like the first few songs to me felt
The
like
first one, I'm like, what's going on?
what's happening, and then so when you get to when you get to a track like that has it's more structured, and that might be contextual. I don't know, but
But I know
overall,
what you mean it's the first song with the whole China thing. Like,
yeah,
I was like, is he
so
commenting on Trump? Is he
weird.
like,
that also crossed my mind.
is he just trying to make one of those like again like the calling out the country is in big enough? Is he just trying to do this like? This is a very like foreign friendly song.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, let's get people in here. Like Transformers filming in China. Like, is he just
Exactly.
like China? Like,
I know, yeah,
it doesn't make any sense.
so
And you
weird.
go, what's going on here? And
Yeah.
part of you is like, I didn't totally enjoy that as a song, but part of you is like so curious about what's
Yeah.
going on.
How does someone create something like
Mm-hmm.
that? Yeah.
Well, we're gonna did more of that thought. Sorry.
Nope. That's
Okay.
it.
Cool. So I want to know which songs you didn't like. Was it song about
Um,
drugs?
No, actually, I
The
guess
First time I listened to a song about drugs, the key changes, and I love key changes,
Mhm.
threw me at first. And the song felt like it wasn't finding its voice at first. Like it felt like it kept changing and it felt awkward every time.
It was a couple near the end, so maybe
Okay.
my attention was waning.
Now when I listen to song about drugs, I like love the key changes.
Yeah.
The first time it felt weird and
Yeah.
directionless, and then I'm like, oh, it totally is on purpose.
Right.
Anyway.
I didn't love This Whole Town.
Oh, and that's not one of my favorites. I listened to it again and it was okay.
Yeah.
Not one of my favorites.
Friend of Lindy Morrison is the one right after it. That was like whatever.
Yeah, it wasn't as deep as I thought it was going to be when it started.
Living Each Day was interesting. I know you guys talked about it already.
Yeah.
But I was kind of like, oh, that's whatever. It's a little weird. But it wasn't as sonically interesting
yeah.
or as strange as the other ones.
Agreed.
So, and those were the two things that would pull me in. Like, hey, this is actually kind of interesting sounding, or this is so weird, I need to see how it plays out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Now, what do you think about? So I love Family Home. It's one of my favorites.
That was probably my favorite.
Do you like Telling Me This? Because I dig that one.
That one I don't remember very
that
well.
one I had to listen to a couple times to get into
Yeah.
it because it was less of a gripping. Like that's why I think I really love Down to Hang because
Yeah.
it's like there's no song like it, and
Yeah.
you're like, whoa!
Right.
Like even as it's so weird, you like that it's weird because it's
Right.
so interesting to listen to, and it changes. The musicality of it evolves throughout the song, each verse.
Yeah.
So cool. And then yet it's all building. So like I think with Telling Me This, that one is totally feels like it's ripped straight from the late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah.
And I dig it as a song. And later near the end of the song, there's these cool chord choices he makes that are
Yeah.
really interesting. So musically, it is cool, but it is one of those like kind of drifting through like the sonic soundscape. It's not as like clear things that are like to grip you. It's sort of like just
Right.
this mood that just like keeps going. So it feels a little aimless, but then I listened to it again. I was like, I like this song.
Yeah.
But that one was again it didn't feel like a joke at all.
Right.
And so that's both nice,
It's a
but
roller
also
coaster.
it's a roller coaster.
It really is.
That's why I've listened to the album multiple
Yeah.
times, and that's why I was like, I love this album
Yeah.
because it is, similar. I'm gonna keep bringing up Sonic Forces. Similarly to how I would rather Sega make a weird kind of screwy, kind of like different, confusing, maybe not perfectly executed, but really does something that's interesting game. and not a play it safe, kind of lame, kind of short-lived, can't replay it.
Sure.
I want an album that makes me. I love finding albums that I can replay it, and each song is a journey.
Yeah.
And I'm in one mood, I can listen to one song. I'm in another mood. If I want a weird song, I can go with Down to Hang, or I can go with like Big Enough.
Yeah.
If I want or Big Enough, I listen to if I want to just like pump up in a kind of a goofy way.
Right.
Because there's the whistling, there's like the dance groove along with like the other vibes,
Yeah.
the screaming. That one is a funny little amalgamation. And I see why that video went viral.
Right, yeah.
Song
me
about
too.
drugs if I want to just hardcore like and get emotionally invested. Down to Hang if I want that weird, interesting, arresting vibe. Like the first and last songs I'm not super into. They're okay, but they're kind of just so weird, but not in as interesting of a way, I guess.
Right, yeah.
Where it kind of doesn't seem to go anywhere.
It's almost the least accessible aspects of the album, I guess.
Yeah.
Where it's like
where you
could
just
call
go
any of them
where-
accessible.
But with I think the other ones are accessible in that you go, something's going on here.
Right.
But it's so hard to tap into the first song
Right.
and the last song that you go, I don't even know if there's anything there to
Yeah.
like I don't know where to start, so I'm not that into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But overall the album is like a journey. I know I'm never gonna forget that album.
Yeah, that's
And
definitely back that.
for better or worse.
Yeah.
Like it's like
It's
some
in there.
parts I will listen and just shake my head, some parts I will be like, yeah,
Right.
But that's cool because
It's cool.
that's an artist doing something that no one else does.
Yeah.
And those are the people who stand the test of time, not the people who do one thing okay and safely
Right.
and fade away.
And
you
that's
know?
it, yeah.
It's people. He
true.
breaks ground, some ground I don't think many other people are gonna dig in.
Mhm.
Other stuff, it's like that's actually really unique and cool, and I've
Right.
never heard that, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
And that's why
That's
it's such a cool album because it leaves you going,
Yeah.
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 ah,
Yeah, right.
all over the place. Your
It's
brain is
true.
your emotions all over the place. You're just like, I don't know, it was cool.
Yeah.
it was interesting.
It was.
So one more time, what was the name of it?
Bravado by
Bravado.
Kirin J. Callinan.
Nan.
Kirin J. Callinan.
Kirin J. Callinan.
What a dude.
Well, there you go, folks. That is, it's a very interesting album for
Yeah.
sure.
Worth listening to just to experience something
Definitely.
new and form an opinion on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe have a party with your friends and listen to it all together.
I kind of want to do that with
Right?
certain people.
Maybe
Like maybe not everyone. Some people might
Yeah.
just be like, "This is the worst day of
Yeah.
my
It's
life."
It's like, why
is
am I
right.
here?
Others would be like, "This is the best day of my
Right,
life."
right.
So you pick the people, but
yeah. Find the right people.
Yeah.
and just listen to that. Have listening parties, guys.
Speaking of listening parties,
Uh,
we've officially just recorded the longest podcast.
Hands down. What's the time at? Can anybody see it? Officially?
325.
45.
3 hours
Oh,
and
baby.
25 minutes.
I know. I'll listen to the whole thing.
I will too.
Super fans,
There
well,
was
you'll
some
have
fuzz.
to.
Yeah.
You guys have no choice.
Ooh.
I'm
I have a
stretching
choice.
it out.
That's a long one.
Man, something
no.
else.
I first of all, Andrew, thank you for being on the
Guys,
podcast.
so much.
Thank
This
you.
was awesome.
Not only was it being the longest, like, I'm sorry, but it was on my bucket list, and also like, it was so many good things were talked about. I
Yeah.
feel like you guys, we all brought like
Yeah.
things that were so discussable,
Yes.
Pretty
That was
discussable.
pretty discussable.
Now,
Not disgusting.
you're not
but just
quite
disgustingly discussable.
you're not quite done yet. I'm gonna go
Yay.
home,
Yeah.
and you guys can end babble for as long as you want.
As you just get up and leave, we'll just are we unbabbling now?
I mean,
Wait,
mean, I'm
thank
done.
you guys, and also like, love to do it again.
yes.
Can't wait to have you guys
For
on my
sure. Yeah.
podcast. It is a blast. Podcasting is fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
And here
because I got sweaty hands.
here
does.
comes
That's
pounding
my
those sweaty palms.
Yeah.
And babbly time.
So,
Some say end babble. I say why not friend babble?
see, I like to think of it as friend babble, but only when the hot air balloon market is going high.
If the market is going up, do you dip your toes into the hot sauce?
No, you can't, because you know the hot sauce at that point already became barbecue sauce. So the bumblebees are like, I'm sick of this.
The bumblebees blow their stack and are like, I'm not appearing in any more of these films.
But then they feel like the films are a representation of Legos.
As in a French cigarette.
Yes, exactly. And if you smoke those wrong,
Oh.
then the market's already gone.
So you get a lung full of dope smoke, and then you choke on your own rope, and when you rope your own scope, then when you've scoped, that's a no-scope 360, 420, blaze it, Mountain Dew.
Well, that was just dope. And remember, if you don't ride the ponies, don't flip the duck.
And don't do drugs with those ponies, because that sucks.